boy is so wild. The Kunpeng besteered girl patted her chest and said guiltily. She had never touched a man in thousands of years, but what happened just now actually made her feel very excited. It made her heart, which had been sealed in ice for 1,000 years, beat violently for the first time in such a long time. To her chagrin, she seemed to have very bad luck and never found a solution to her template problem. He took out a crystal stone with a special aura from his pocket and said regretfully, "There is only one piece left. I can only summon Kunpeng once. I don't know where to find it. But the immediate goal is to recruit these 3 SSS levels into the Magic Capital Beast Tamer Academy. There are 3 super base cities in Dragon Country, including Magic City Base City, Imperial City Base City, Jinling Base City, Lingji Base City, and so on. Each super base city has a top Beastmaster Academy. There are 10 top Beastmaster Academies in Dragon Country, and Magic City Top Beastmaster Academy is one of them. There are no more than 10 SS level awakenings in the whole country in a year. But who would have thought that 3 would awaken in Manyuan Base City at once? Suddenly a faint sound came from the wall. The soft and delicate body of Kunpeng besteered girl lay on the soft bed, covering her ears with her pretty face slightly red. Good boy, an hour has passed. She was shocked, so powerful. This made her even more determined to recruit Xiaoyan to the Kunpeng Combat Department of her own Beast Tamer Academy in the Magic City. As time passes, half a month has passed, and tomorrow is the day of the college entrance examination. In the main hall of the city lord's mansion, Yunbing was explaining to Xiaoyi and the other to what they needed to pay attention to in the college entrance examination. At this time, Yunbing was no longer in the form of an animal-eared girl, but had turned back into a human form. In her human form, she had a hint of freshness mixed with her charming temperament, making her feel different. For the college entrance examination, each base city will take the exam in its own base city. You will take the exam in its own base city, will take the exam in Manyuan base city, but the superior base city will send invigilators and exam equipment. Needless to say, the invigilators will be absolutely fair and just. Here I will focus on introducing the invigilation equipment. First, the first one, the testing equipment to test the level and realm of the test takers, summon beasts. The second one, the virtual god tower, which is equivalent to a virtual world. It allows each student to enter the virtual world and fight against monsters to test the student's combat level. But it is said that this year's Warcraft battle has changed and is more difficult than before. Xiao Yi, Cheng Bingxi and Nangong Xiao listen very carefully. Yunbing stopped talking here and said to Nangong Xiao mysteriously, "Ya Yao." Nangong Xiao asked in confusion, "What's wrong, Grandma?" Yunbing's pretty face darkened. "Call me Sister Yunbing." "Sister Yunbing, what's wrong?" Yunbing's pretty face regained its mysterious look. She called Nangong Xiao aside, leaned in and hugged her, saying, "You applied for the Kunpeng Combat Department of the Magic City Beast Tamer Academy in the college entrance examination. And I will tell you about the changes to the rules of this year's college entrance examination regarding the Void God Tower. Insider information, how is it?" Nangong Xiao's beautiful eyes lit up. Yunbing saw her move and became excited. I didn't expect to recruit an SSS level player so quickly. It was too easy. If we recruit one of these 3, since these 3 are originally one, isn't it equivalent to recruiting all 3? Just when the charming and majestic Sister Yunbing seemed to see the dawn of victory, and she heard Nangong Xiao's rejection. "No, I will go wherever Xiaoyi goes. How can I decide which college to go to on my own?" Having said that, Nangong Xiao returned to Xiaoyi and the others under Yunbing's stunned gaze. Xiaoyi looked at Yunbing with a strange expression, thinking to himself, "Why are there always beautiful women who want to hug my wife?" Yunbing's mouth twitched wherever Xiaoyi went. She would go? Yunbing thought to herself, "I don't believe it," so she pulled Cheng Bingxi aside again, hugged her and whispered in her ear, "Join my Magic City Kunpeng Department. I'll tell you the inside information of the college entrance examination, which will definitely be helpful to you." "How about it? Inside information? Isn't that cheating?" Cheng Bingxi, the top student who ranked second in the school, was not interested in this kind of game and rejected it directly. "Sister Yunbing, do you think I need to cheat for my SSS level summon beast?" "No." Seeing Cheng Bingxi wanting to go back, the charming Queen Yunbing twitched her lips, hugged her again, and said temptingly, "Join my Magic City Beast Tamer Academy, Kunpeng Combat Department, and I will let you be the president of the student union directly. How about it?" "Student union president, you are not worthy. You have to do all the hard work for me." "Sister Yunbing, please don't make things difficult for me. I listen to Xiaoyi. Yes, we all listen to Xiaoyi. Whichever university he goes to, we will go to that university." After saying that, Cheng Bingxi went back. The charming lady was stunned. Wow, 2 SSS level beautiful girls followed the same man so firmly. Xiaoyi looked at Yunbing with an increasingly strange gaze. "Another woman who likes to hug my wife. You hug my wife now, and I will hug you in the future," Xiaoyi thought viciously. "Woman, You should be glad that you are a female, not a male, otherwise, you would have been stabbed. The charming and domineering Sister Yunbing saw Xiao Yi's wary eyes and couldn't help but rubbed her eyebrows in distress. If you want to recruit these 3 extremely rare SSS level ones, you have to start with Xiao Yi. Thinking of Xiao Yi's strong endurance, her pretty face blushed. Chapter 3. For Xiao Yi? No. I can't bear it. The charming Sister Yunbing stared at Xiao Yi with her beautiful eyes, and said with her red lips slightly opened, Xiao Yi. You. Wait. Xiao Yi raised his hand to interrupt Yunbing before she finished speaking. Sister Yunbing. I know you want to recruit us into the school, but we want to take the normal college entrance examination. A charming Lady Yunbing was choked and asked in confusion, why? All enter colleges and universities. Special recruitment does not require fierce competition. Our Magic City Beast Tamer Academy is also one of the top 10 universities in the country. Xiao Yi stood up. A powerful aura bursting out of him, and spoke rapidly. The purpose of the college entrance examination is, of course, to get into a good university. But, the 3 of us took the exam not only for grades, but also for the future of Mangyuan Bay City. Our college entrance examination scores every year determine the amount of advanced resources that Mangyuan Bay City can enjoy from the superior base city. And these advanced resources can improve the combat power of many summoned beasts, and can even play a role in turning the tide of the battle. Nan Gongxia and Cheng Bingshi both agreed. That's right, we take the college entrance examination not only for ourselves, but also for Mangyuan Bay City. That's right. Mangyuan Bay City has been ranked last for 10 consecutive years. This time we must be ranked second to last. The charming and domineering Lady Yunbing froze, with a hint of embarrassment on her face. There is indeed a rule about the allocation of new resources based on college entrance examination scores. She has been staying in Kunpeng Battle Academy for many years and doesn't pay much attention to the outside world. She actually forgot about this. Only after being reminded by Nan Gongxia. Only others did I remember it. Isn't her special recruitment of Xiao Yi and the other 2 equivalent to destroying the future of Mangyuan Base City? Then Yunbing said apologetically, sorry. In the past, each pair of summoned beasts of the contractors were assigned a separate space to fight against a magical beast, and the points were based on their performance. In fact, the rules of the college entrance examination in the Void God Tower had been changed. It is based on the base city. All candidates in the base city are placed in the same large scene and resist a wave of beasts. At the same time, then the battle points are calculated based on the performance of each candidate. Xiao Yi and the other 2 suddenly realized that this was the case. Nan Gongxia said with a grin, this rule is great for us. Xiao Yi agreed very much. If they were to fight against a wave of beasts together, he was 80% sure he could complete the system task. The charming and domineering Yunbing sighed. She couldn't stop these 3 people from taking the college entrance examination for special recruitment. She could only take action against Xiao Yi from other places and let Xiao Yi apply for the Magic City Beast Tamer Academy. Okay, that's all for today's explanation. Tomorrow is the day of your college entrance examination, which will last for 1 day. The content of the college entrance examination is testing the level and realm of the summoned beasts, and entering the Void God Tower to resist the beast tide. She finished and asked everyone to disperse. The fruitful girl Nan Gongxia immediately became excited, stared at Xiao Yi with shining eyes, and ran towards the villa with Xiao Yi in her arms. Xiao Yi's legs were shaking, and he stood on the ground, not wanting to move. He said, Xiao, even an iron lastox can't stand your daily torment. Let me go today. Nan Gongxia shook her head violently and said, no. Seeing Xiao Yi's distressed face, Cheng Bingshi felt a little sorry for him and said, Xiao, just let Xiao Yi go today. Xiao Yi pushed Nan Gongxia's hand away, and said with lingering fear, yes. Tomorrow is the day of the college entrance examination. You don't want us to fail the exam because we don't have the energy to perform poorly, right? If you don't do well in the exam, your father will beat you up, Xiao Yi added. Nan Gongxia thought about it and felt that something was wrong after exercising with Xiao Yi. Her mental state became better and better, and her skin was more moisturized when she woke up the next day. Unable to figure it out, Nan Gongxia wanted to ask the mature elder sister Yunbing for advice. She has lived for more than 1,000 years and should know a lot about this matter. Then Nan Gongxia pulled Xiao Yi aside and asked about the charming and domineering Sister Yunbing. Sister Yunbing, does it really mean that your energy will deteriorate after exercise? After hearing this, the charming and domineering Yunbing stood still and said in disbelief, what? How can such a question be asked casually? Nan Gongxia thought that Sister Yunbing didn't hear clearly, so she asked again. Yunbing looked embarrassed and stammered, Should I? She was going crazy. How could she know about this kind of problem? She had never experienced it. Nan Gongxia felt disappointed and a little regretful after hearing this. She said unwillingly, Sister Yunbing, is what you said true? But every time I wake up the next day, my skin is more moisturized. The charming and majestic Yunbing was shocked. Could this kind of thing help maintain the skin and have a beautifying effect? How is it possible? Yunbing felt that a new door had been opened in his cognition, and he had gained an additional point of knowledge. No wonder I was woken up by Ningong Xiao every night. It turns out that this girl regarded this kind of thing as a beauty and skincare product. Yunbing pinched the skin on her face. She hadn't moisturized her face recently, and now it was a little dry after applying moisturizing cream. Seeing Sister Yunbing silent, Ningong Xiao left with a look of regret. Xiao Yi breathed a sigh of relief, as if he felt much more relaxed. Who knows how he got through the past half-month? He couldn't bear it. The next morning, before going to the college entrance examination venue of Mangyuan College in Mangyuan Base City, Xiao Yi set a rule for Ningong Xiao and Cheng Bingxi. You have to behave well before I can do exercise with you, especially you, Ningong Xiao. The two women were a little reluctant, but still agreed to Xiao Yi's proposal. Cheng Bingxi was okay, but Ningong Xiao was obviously dissatisfied. Her lips were pouting so much that a watermelon could be hung on them. Xiao Yi, I will definitely perform well and make you willing. Ningong Xiao made up her mind to perform well. After that, the three of them entered the examination room. Mangyuan Academy in Mangyuan Base City is just a low-level college. A large square here serves as an examination room. There are about 2,000 college entrance examination candidates from the three high schools, so there is more than enough space. In a classroom at Mangyuan Academy, a middle-aged man in an examiner's uniform said respectfully to two young-looking people, Mr. Yu, Ms. Huo, borrowing land to take the college entrance examination is not allowed, but I have already taken care of everything. You can take the college entrance examination as students of the No. 1 high school in Mangyuan Base City. The man called Yu Xiao looked arrogant and said in a very proud manner, such a remote base city. If it weren't for the extra points for getting first place in the college entrance examination in each base city, I wouldn't have come to this backward mountain valley. Miss Huo, who had acne on her face, also looked disdainful and said, that's right. As the pride of the Demon City and SS level Sum and Beast contractors, it is their blessing to be able to come to the Wilderness Base City. The examiner subdued the middle-aged man and smiled. Yes, yes, yes. You can just take the extra points, don't worry about anything else. Even if you are the mayor of Mangyuan Base City, you have to give me face. Even if he knows of your existence, he won't dare to say a word if a low-level Base City Lord reports you. I will stop him. As far as I know, they have been ranked last for 10 consecutive years. If nothing unexpected happens, this year will be the same. Arrogant young man Yu Xiao and acne-ridden Miss Huo burst into laughter upon hearing this. So rubbish. Ranked last in 10 years? Are you going to make me laugh to death? Plus this year is the last in 11 years. I'm going to broaden my horizons. Chapter 35. The college entrance examination officially begins. The middle-aged man in the examiner's uniform was sent by the superior base city to supervise the examination. His own realm was above that of a grand master. When he saw Yu Xiao and Miss Huo laughing so hard that their stomachs ached, his expression did not change at all. When he first heard the news a few years ago, he also laughed out loud. But as everyone got used to it, he got used to it. Among the higher-level base cities, everyone called Mangyuan Base City the last nail house. It has taken root in the last place and cannot be pulled out. Miss Huo with pimples smiled with disdain. With my SS-level female dinosaur template, I will definitely take first place in this base city. Then she transformed into the form of a bestiared girl, a dinosaur against girls. The female dinosaur girl's two ears changed. A tail stretched out from the back, and her teeth became protruding, turning into a buck-toothed dinosaur girl. Woo! She roared twice with her teeth and claws bared. Good, as expected of the dinosaur fighter, with a ferocious look on his face and extraordinary fighting power. The examiner in uniform clapped his hands and praised. Yu Xiao Zhi's mouth twitched, and he said, I was also thinking of collecting the list of talents of the Awakeners in Mangyuan Base City this year. But now it seems that it is not necessary. A middle-aged man in the examiner uniform echoed, don't worry about what kind of genius the last-ranked base city can produce. Okay. Mr. Yu, Shuo. The exam is about to start. You guys go to the exam room first. I'm going to be the supervisor too. Well, let's go. Toothpick. The girl with dinosaur ears pulled Yu Xiao to the examination room. In the huge square of Mangyuan Academy, 10,000 meters above the sky, a flawless and beautiful girl with Kunpeng steers was lying comfortably in the white clouds and said happily, it's so warm. I finally slept well last night. Sai Yao finally stopped making trouble yesterday. Suddenly she gritted her teeth and said, Si Yao is really something. She knew that I was a 1,000-year-old bachelor, but she still asked me that kind of question. But it be that Xiao thinks I'm some kind of immoral woman? She thinks I'm a 1,000-year-old virgin for nothing. As she spoke, the girl with Kunpeng steers turned her gaze to the examination room below. Below, on the flat ground, The candidates are numbered one by one. The candidates stand according to their numbers, with each candidate about 1 meter apart. Xiao Yi brought the two women to positions 95, 96, and 97, with Xiao Yi at position 96, Nan Gongxiao and Chengbing Shi. As the most beautiful girls from the No. 1 and No. 3 high schools attracted the attention of all the candidates around them as soon as they appeared. It's Qian Jin Xiao Shi's standing in front of me. I'm so excited. Is this the devil's school? Her face is actually healed. Holy shit, she's such a pretty girl. Your No. 3 high school's devilish school has already been taken, but I wonder which bastard will get our rich school. Why don't you go and try? Maybe she falls in love with you at first sight. Suddenly a candidate from the youth training camp standing not far away interrupted and said, "What the hell are you chasing after? Qianjin School already has a boyfriend, you should call her a young lady." What? I lied to you. Everyone in the youth training camp knows about it. Yilurin knows about it, right? The goddess was taken away by someone else, and he was so angry that he didn't even want to attend the youth training camp. The examinees from the surrounding high schools were stunned, and the male examinees from the high schools even wailed. My goddess has become a young woman. Who the hell dared to sleep with our daughter? At this moment, a pleasant scolding voice suddenly rang out at the scene. Everyone be quiet. The candidates looked towards the source of the voice, and saw Ngong Saya, who had a huge body, with her hands on her hips, saying, "What's wrong with becoming a young woman? I'm proud to be a young woman. If you say anything about Xiao Yi's husband again, I'll hang him up and beat him until his butt is split." What? The goddess stood up to stop people from talking about Xiao Yi. Who is Xiao Yi? Damn it, isn't Xiao Yi the boyfriend of our No. 3 high school's devil's school? Damn it. He really deserves to die. He took down both schools. The students of No. 1 high school were all shocked. Xiao Yi, a scumbag? No, the great master. The male candidates from the 1st and 3rd high schools wailed collectively. A girl with dinosaur ears led a boy in exquisite clothes to the front of Xiao Yi and Nan Gongxiao. After hearing the discussions around them, the girl dinosaur looked disdainful and murmured, "A school of riches, a school of the devil. What nonsense. These candidates are discussing the exam content and talking about this. No wonder they always rank last every year." The exquisitely dressed man Yu Yapian nodded and said in deep agreement, "How beautiful can a remote and backward high school like Mangyu on base city be?" The girl with dinosaur ears nodded in agreement. "That's right." Yu Yaqian followed the crowd's gaze and moved his eyes to Ngong Saya, and Chengbing Shi in the back. He was stunned. Awesome. To awesome women. To extremely beautiful girls, like lotus flowers emerging from water. The female dinosaur-reared girl looked back. Her eyes were blank, and she said in a sour tone as if she had taken lemon acid. Yu Yapian was stunned by what he saw. The female dinosaur lady forced his gaze back and said dissatisfied, "Lie, you damned bastard, you are still looking at others when you have a wife." Yu Yapik shook his head, glanced at the female dinosaur girl, and thought to himself, although the candidates from Mangyuan base city are rubbish, their looks are pretty awesome. But, no matter how great one's appearance is, it can't change the fact that the candidates are rubbish. He looked disdainful. Half an hour later, all the candidates were in place and 5 pairs of male and female teachers in examiner uniforms appeared. One of the pairs mobilized the power of the contract and transformed into a summon beast. An S-level template pterosaur. 2. The pterosaur with a size of 100 meters spread out its wings and soared into the sky. A muddy voice came from it, echoing throughout the venue. All candidates from Mangyuan base city are in place. The college entrance examination consists of 2 exams. The first one is to test your level, and the second one is to test your combat ability. A first game begins. The circular cylinder that the pterosaur was holding onto with its feet burst out with dazzling light, which shot downward and hit all the candidates in the super large square. All the candidates felt a warm current flowing through their bodies, and the first exam was over. Each examinee was enveloped in a dazzling light, and then the voice of the pterosaur was heard. The first exam is over. The second exam begins. The virtual world of the Void God Tower resists the beast tide. As it finished speaking, all the candidates saw a flash of white light in front of their eyes and found themselves in a plane. A battle ability test begins. In the process of resisting the beast tide, there is no limit on human form, beast girl form, or summon beast form. Points will be scored based on the combat performance of each pair of contractors. The muddy voice of the pterosaur echoed in the ears of all the candidates. Next, all the candidates felt that the heaven and earth shook at this moment. A cloud of black dust rose to an infinite height in front of the plane, and dense groups of monsters rushed towards them. Chapter 36 Shocking, a golden dragon against millions of troops. It was a mixed group of magical beasts, rushing towards this side fiercely. The first to bear the brunt were a group of 20-meter-tall mammoths, running towards them step by step, making deafening noises of bang bang bang. Under his feet, a pack of nimble night wolves shuttled back and forth, emitting cold light, and their sharp fangs could crush steel. There were several more groups of beasts behind them. The first to react were the talented students in the youth training camp. They immediately mobilized the power of the contract and transformed into summoned beasts. Devil Disc, Black Wolf King, Python, Sword-Armored Crocodile, etc. Some of the young contractors who did not participate in the youth training camp transformed into summoned beasts, while others had dazed faces and did not react at all, standing there at a loss. Roar, Dinosaur Girl and Toothpick transformed into summoned beast forms. 10-meter-tall dinosaurs, they roared and hurriedly looked for a gap to hide. The group of monsters is less than 100 meters away from here if they are stepped on by the mammoth. If it happens in the real world, they will probably die on the spot. Even in the virtual world, they will be eliminated and get a low score. Current mission: win the national top scorer and make Mangyuan Base City's total college entrance examination score among the top 10 base cities in the country. Xiaoyi looked at the candidates who were standing there in a daze, and became secretly anxious, and couldn't help but worry about them. If he didn't intervene, a first wave of mammoths would have eliminated half of the candidates. By then, Mangyuan Base City would probably be last again. Yin, Xiaoyi and the other two immediately mobilized the power of the contract, communicated with the template rules, and summoned the beast to descend. Grandmaster level to Tailed Holy White Fox. Grandmaster level 3 to Ed Golden Dragon. In the past half-month, the City Lord generously gave them for Grandmaster level crystal cores, allowing the 4 of them to upgrade to the 1-star Grandmaster level. The 10-meter-tall giant dinosaur slid under a mammoth, opened its fang-filled mouth, and bit a 3rd-level Dark Knight Wolf to death in one bite. Then 4 3rd-level Dark Knight Wolves pounced on him. Roar, the giant dinosaur's innate skills were useless. It swept them away with a tail sweep after they fell heavily to the ground. They vomited blood and died. The 7th Order SS level dinosaur summoned beast crushes the 3rd Order Dark Knight Wolf. Miss Huo and her mind sneered in disdain. A 3rd Order Demon Wolf. Trash. There was only a 5th Order mammoth she needed to be wary. It is a giant dinosaur with dragon attributes. Bang! Suddenly at this moment, the mammoth above the giant dinosaur was swept by the tail of a golden dragon that was emitting sacred light. Its huge body flew backwards as if it was hit by a meteorite. Bang, 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 on the way. It hit 10 5th level mammoths and 63rd level Dark Knight Wolves, all of which flew backwards, hit the ground hard, and slid out of a 500-meter ravine. Broken bones, shattered internal organs, dead. The mammoths and Night Wolves at the back that were not hit showed fear in their eyes and split to both sides, creating a huge open area in the herd. The candidates 100 meters behind us avoided the first wave of attacks from the beast tide. The dragon is actually a divine dragon. All the candidates were shocked. In front of them, a golden oriental dragon with rabbit eyes, deer horns, ox mouth, camel head, tiger paws, eagle claws, fish tails and a snake body was hovering in the air majestically. One move to stop the beast tide. Shock and disbelief flashed in the eyes of the 10-meter-tall giant dinosaur. This aura is from the Grandmaster level. There are actually Grandmaster level candidates in the Mangyuan Base City. The consciousness entities Miss Huo and Yu Yapian in the dinosaur's mind felt that their cognition had been subverted. There is a base city for Grandmaster level college entrance examination candidates, and you tell me that it has been ranked last for 10 consecutive years? Making trouble. It is no exaggeration to say that his summoned beast alone is enough to resist the tide of beasts below the 9th level. One beast, against millions of troops. Xiaoyi, how did I perform? Nangong Xiao's consciousness was very active in the Golden Dragon's mind. Well, you did a good job in that wave just now. The consciousness that was originally in the mind of the 2-tailed white fox transferred to the mind of the golden dragon and answered. Since I performed so well, will you reward me after the college entrance examination? Nangong Xiao said with anticipation. Xiaoyi felt weak after hearing this and shuddered, saying, no, that's not enough. It's just one good performance. You must perform well 3 times, and then I will reward you. That's what you said. Nangong Xiao was excited, looking at the group of monsters in front of her with shining eyes, and said, here I come. The golden dragon soared into the sky and took the initiative to find the group of monsters rushing towards the front. Seeing the golden dragon's actions, the giant dinosaur was stunned. Others don't even have time to hide. But you take the initiative to move forward. Toothpick, this dragon is really fierce. It looks like we won't be able to get first place. Well, it seems like I have come all the way from the Magic City to the Wilderness Base City for nothing. Does the second place in Base City get extra points? No. The aura of the Grand Master Realm burst out from the narrow body of the Golden Dragon. Invincible Golden Body, the already powerful Dragon Drive. After the skill is activated, the attack power is increased tenfold, and the defense power is increased tenfold. Talented skills, full power. Start. The Golden Dragon had no hesitation at all and rushed into the group of monsters rushing towards it. Bang, 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 bang. The dragon wags its tail, the dragon shakes its head, the dragon charges. A 5th level mammoths and 3rd level dark night wolves that were sprinting from the front flew backwards in all directions, with blood foam flying everywhere and making miserable roars. After a while, the first wave of beasts in front were all cleared out by the golden dragon. More than 50 5th level mammoths and more than 200 3rd level dark night wolves were killed. A second wave of beasts is still 1,000 meters away. Nan Gong Xiao, the conscious body in the golden dragon's mind, said to Xiao Yi, "Second good performance, one more good performance left." Yes, I'm watching." Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he felt that he would face great terror when he returned. Nan Gong Xiao was extremely happy. She stared expectantly at the second wave of beasts rushing towards her about 1,000 meters ahead, making some plans in her mind. Xiao Yi glanced at the candidates behind him. They had finally all transformed into summoned beast forms. Otherwise, with their attitude just now, half of the candidates would definitely be trampled by the mammoth and eliminated. Xiao Yi controlled the golden dragon and a roaring dragon roar was heard. The majestic voice reached the ears of every summoned beast. "If you don't want to see Mangyuan Base City ranked last for 11 consecutive years, then kill them. Kill every monster in the second wave." 1,000 or so summoned beasts present immediately became alert, thinking of the scene of the golden dragon killing everyone. They felt their blood boiling and responded, "Fuck him, charge. Kill as many as you can, I'll charge first to show my respect. A flock of second-level monster sheep, here I come." Chapter 37, Elimination of Candidates for the College Entrance Examination. The second wave of beasts was a group of second-level demon sheep. Their realm was much lower than the first wave, but their strength lay in their terrifying numbers, and there was no end in sight at a glance. Thousands of summoned beast summonees took the initiative to rush towards the group of second-level magic sheep with high momentum, leaving a 10-meter-tall dinosaur there. In the mind of the golden dragon, the consciousness of Nan Gong Xiao couldn't help but feel a little anxious. "Don't steal the monsters. Call out." The golden dragon pierced through the air, and its powerful body shuttled through the flock of demon sheep in the blink of an eye. It killed more than a dozen second-level demon sheep. Seeing Nan Gong Xiao trying to dominate the second wave of beasts, Xiao Yizhen's face darkened and he said, "Xiao, you don't have to kill monsters yourself if you perform well. If you kill all the monsters, what will happen to the other candidates in Mangyuan Base City?" As the daughter of the city lord, Nan Gong Xiao was quite concerned about the results of the candidates from the Mangyuan Base City, so she said weakly, "I know, watch me. Holy Golden Dragon Might has the effect of shocking the mind and weakening the enemy's attributes by half. Group attack." Yen. On the vast plain, suddenly a clear and melodious dragon roar resounded throughout the place. A powerful oppressive force crushed out the attributes of the second wave of tens of thousands of second-level magic sheep instantly dropped to half of their original state. Not only that, the effect of the mental shock made their hearts twitch violently, their expressions became panic, and they lost their order. The original attack formation was disrupted, and their combat power was greatly reduced again. The Devil Disc, Black Wolf King, White Python and other summoned beasts from the youth training camp responded one after another. Some of them were already at level 3, and they rushed into the flock of magic sheep. They had almost no opponents and killed several level 2 magic sheep in just a few moves. Among the more than 1,000 summoned beasts, only a few had reached the second level, and most were still at the first level. They rushed into the flock of magic sheep with boiling blood, and did not find the battle difficult at all. "Me, roar!" The second-level demon sheep howled miserably and were then killed. A few minutes later, 3,000 of the magic sheep were slaughtered, and among the more than 1,000 summoned beasts of the candidates, only a few were injured or eliminated. And the overall situation was intact. 20 of them. I have killed 20 monsters. Go, it's so exciting, I killed 12. That's not right. How can a level 1 black cat like me easily kill a level 2 demonic sheep? I've already killed 3 of them. Stupid, didn't you see the dragon in the sky that was exerting strong pressure? It must be him who used a group skill to greatly reduce the combat power of the monsters. These summoned beasts became more and more excited as they killed more and more, making the flock of demon sheep howl. The 10-meter giant dinosaur behind was stunned. These examinees summoned beasts skilled so brutally that they easily crushed the second-level demon sheep. Was Mangyuan Base City really ranked last in the past 10 years? You wouldn't believe it even if you killed him. Based on this record, it cannot be ranked last. It rushed into the battlefield hurriedly. If it didn't take action, the second wave of monsters would be killed. Half an hour later, the second wave of tens of thousands of second-level demon sheep were destroyed. The third wave, a group of third-level black striped tigers and a group of fourth-level magic snakes. But the total number of several thousand. Looking at the group of monsters rushing over from 1,000 meters away, the golden dragon was about to attack, but Xiao Yi hurriedly stopped him and said, "Saya, take a break first and let your wife Bing Shi warm up." "Oh, okay." Nangong Xiao felt that the previous wave only consumed 1/5 of her energy, but it would be okay to take a break. A tailed holy white fox appears goddess charm. Forces the enemy's mind into a state of confusion, group attack. An invisible wave spread out from it, and almost in an instant it spread to tens of thousands of meters away, enveloping the third wave of beasts. Buzz! The third wave of monsters felt like an explosion went off in their heads, leaving their minds in chaos. Who am I? Or am I? And what am I doing? There was confusion in their eyes, and their rushing movements gradually stopped. Just like that, thousands of third and fourth level black striped tigers and magic snakes stopped on the plain, looking confused. Brothers, charge! Xiao Yi controlled the two-tailed holy white fox to make a sound. The examinee's summon beast was encouraged and charged into the third wave of beasts without losing momentum. When they took action, they were surprised to find that no matter how they attacked the monsters, they were in a daze and would not fight back. The candidates summoned beasts were excited, feeling that they could kill their way in and out 7 times. So they transformed into battlefield gods of war, seized the weak points, broke the monsters' defenses, and then killed the group of monsters. Within half an hour, except for a few for Thorder magic snakes whose defenses were not broken. A remaining dozen or so for Thorder magic snakes were bitten to death by the giant dinosaur. 7th level aura. Apart from Xiao Yi and his group, are there any other candidates this terrifying? I don't know. Maybe a repeater. I guess so. He killed the most just now. I think he can take the second place in our base city. The summoned beasts of the youth training camp noticed this 10-meter tall 7th level giant dinosaur. However, after witnessing the horror of the golden dragon, they were not surprised by the performance of this dinosaur. Nangong Xiao jumped up and down, cursing. This guy is an SS level template genius from another base city who came here to borrow and for the college entrance examination. My father scolded the examiner who arranged for the 2 candidates to come in yesterday. Xiao Yi frowned. Borrowing land to take the college entrance examination? Aren't they candidates from our base city? Nangong Xiao. Yes, borrowing land for the college entrance examination is not allowed. My father speculated that the 2 candidates wanted to win the first place in Mangyu base city and get extra points for the college entrance examination. Xiao Yi curled his lips. And their plan has failed, and they can't get the first place. Nangong Xiao, but I'm still angry. My father's report to the higher level base city was blocked, otherwise the college entrance examination scores of these 2 candidates would be invalidated. Xiao Yi was unhappy when he heard this. They worked so hard to control the group of monsters just for the candidates from Mangyu base city to kill more monsters and get more points. At how many monsters will that alien dinosaur steal? How many points will it steal? When the dinosaur summoner leaves, he can use some means to transfer the results back to his base city. Wouldn't all his work be in vain? Invalidate. The college entrance examination results of these 2 people must be invalidated. Xiao Yi thought of the charming and domineering sister Yun Bing. If she went to report it, she would surely be successful. Xiao, pull him out and defeat him. Make this dinosaur quit its summon beast form and let him be eliminated passively. Borrowing land to take the college entrance examination is against the rules. Once discovered, the results will be invalidated. Xiao Yi didn't want this dinosaur to steal the points, so he took action against him. Yin. The golden dragon swooped down towards the dinosaur, and with a sweep of its tail, it smashed the 7th level dinosaur apart, threw it into the sky, and dropped it several hundred meters away. So what if you're at the Grand Master level? How dare you attack me, Dithpik? Are you looking for death? The dinosaur fell to the ground in a mess and let out an angry roar. Chapter 38, Yu Ya Pik, Boss. I was wrong. Although this golden dragon is a genius and a young prodigy, in Toothpick's opinion, a genius is just a genius. And everything is in vain if he doesn't grow up. The giant dinosaur smashed into the ground, creating a 10-meter deep pit. Huoya grimaced in pain. She was always proud, and she subconsciously shouted in anger. Okay. Let's play it this way. These days, what matters is background and power. How dare a little jerk with a little talent to bully me? Huoya. I will remember you, golden dragon. Xiao Yi curled his lips when he heard this, and controlled the 3-2-ed golden dragon, and said in a majestic and rough voice without caring, 7th level little thing. After hearing this, Yu Yaqian was furious. Kid, tell me after the college entrance examination if you have the guts. A 7th level little thing. The 3-2-ed golden dragon looked at the giant dinosaur with contempt and swooped down to rush towards it. The dragon wags its tail. Bang! The 10-meter tall giant dinosaur was caught off guard and was blown into the sky and then fell to the ground. The giant dinosaur spat out a mouthful of blood and was seriously injured. The severe pain all over their bodies made Yu Yaqian and Huoya grimace in pain and gasp for air. The 3-2-ed golden dragon in the sky hovered with its sacred body and rushed over here again. The giant dinosaur's huge eyes showed fear and shouted, "Boss, spare me, I was wrong." The three-two-head golden dragon paused, and a look of surprise flashed in its golden eyes. Was it bowing its head to apologize? The giant dinosaur saw that his words were effective, and shouted again, "Master, spare my life, I was wrong. Please spare my life." The consciousness in the dinosaur's mind secretly hated Toothpick and Hoya. When you are under someone's roof, you have to bow your head. They pretended to admit their mistakes first, and then took revenge on the three-two-head golden dragon after the college entrance examination was completed normally. As two lowly little scumbags from a remote place. A real man can bend and stretch. He should first put up with himself before fighting. The college entrance examination is important. Hearing the plea for mercy, the three-two-head golden dragon said, "Since you all admit your mistakes, I am not the kind of person who would haggle over small matters, so." The giant dinosaur was instantly delighted when he heard this, very happy. "Thank you, hero. You are so wise," it cheered happily, which means that it can take the college entrance examination normally. But the three-two-head golden dragon paused and continued. "And let's not waste the time of the college entrance examination. I will eliminate you in one move." The giant dinosaur was shocked. "You have no moral principles." A three-two-head golden dragon broke through 3 sound barriers, reaching a speed of more than 1,000 meters per second. It exuded a terrifying aura and crushed out with powerful oppressive force. Dragon Charge, the extremely powerful impact force, like a meteorite hitting, crashed towards the giant dinosaur. Bang! A 10-meter-tall 7th-level giant dinosaur exploded directly. The human bodies of Huoya and Yuyakian appeared in the deep pit. Unconscious, a white light flashed by, and the two were eliminated. The summoned beasts taking the college entrance examination were shocked. I did not understand why the three-two-head golden dragon attacked the 7th-level dinosaur. They were all candidates, so why did they kill each other? At this time, the voice of the three-two-head golden dragon spread throughout the venue. "I don't care about your background. Borrowing land for the college entrance examination is a violation of the rules and infringes on the interests of our Manu-1 base city. As the city lord's son-in-law, it is my responsibility to eliminate you." More than 1,000 examinees, summoned beasts, were stunned and said indignantly, "What, a candidate for the college entrance examination on borrowed land? So that's how it is. I was wondering why a 7th-level dinosaur suddenly appeared. Yes, we don't have this summoned beast in our youth training camp. It deserves to be eliminated. Well done for eliminating him. This kind of person deserves death." The golden dragon was summoned by Qian Jinshao. "Awesome. Three-two-head golden dragon, the 4th wave of beasts is coming, everyone get ready." All the summoned beasts of the examinees immediately fell silent, and stared warily at the group of monsters sprinting towards them from a few thousand meters away. They had already regarded the three-two-head golden dragon as their leader, and subconsciously obeyed the three-two-head golden dragon's words, treating the golden dragon's words as orders. "Now is the time. Everyone, charge!" The three-two-head golden dragon roared, echoing throughout the venue. More than 1,000 summoned beasts rushed towards the group of monsters in the distance on their own initiative. Wife Nan Gong Saya, wife Cheng Bingxi, worked together. The conscious body Xiao Yi instructed the two women. "Got it. Okay." A group of magical beasts sprinting over from 1,000 meters away are a pack of 4th-level Dark Knight wolves and a pack of 5th-level White Tigers, with a total number of about 1,000. A soaring aura burst out from them, and they rushed over with a strong sense of oppression. Just as the group of monsters was about to collide with the group of summoned beasts, the two women took action. Holy Golden Dragon Might. Mind Shock, Attributes halved. God's Charm, Control Effect, Brain Crash. Go extremely powerful waves emanated from the Grandmaster level 3-2-head golden dragon and the two-tailed holy white fox, and spread to tens of thousands of meters away in an instant. Buzz, buzz. Thousands of 4th-order Dark Knight wolves and 5th-order white tigers first had their minds violently shaken a few times, and then all of their attributes were halved, and their momentum declined visibly. And they felt their heads buzzing and their thoughts fell into chaos. Stop, the group of monsters has stopped. A bewildered 4th wave of monsters all looked around blankly, not knowing what was going on. Golden Dragon is mighty. Charge, Shenlong. You are my god. Kill. More than 1,000 summoned beasts filed in and began to hunt down the group of magical beasts that were standing there in a daze with their attributes reduced by half. But what surprised Xiao Yu was that no matter how these summoned beasts hunted, only a few succeeded, and most of them couldn't even break the defense of the 4th-level monsters. Not to mention a group of 5th-order white tigers. No way. This is too lame. The group of monsters stood still and let you hit them, but you couldn't even break their defense. A corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Among the more than 1,000 summoned beasts of the examinees, only to reach the 3rd level, more than 100 reached the 2nd level, and the remaining 900 were only at the 1st level. These monsters are too strong, their thick skin and flesh cannot break their defenses. This is the first time I realized that I am such a loser. I'm so angry. These monsters are like college entrance examination scores, and I can't get them for nothing. The candidates summoned beasts were very angry that they couldn't even get it for free. They were so angry that they resorted to underhanded tactics. You really want me to use my special moves, right? To finger, 1000-year kill. Egg blasting move. Activated. Even if I fart, I can kill a monster theft. Fuck, which bastard farted so loudly? It stinks. With more than 1,000 candidates summoning their beasts with all their might, with dozens or even hundreds of them besieging the same monster, finally, killed more than 24th level monsters. There were no casualties among the 5th level white tiger monsters. More than 20 monsters are just a fart for a group of 1,000 monsters, it's no big deal. The candidates summoned beasts were panting with exhaustion, and suddenly at this moment, a voice full of sacred majesty came from the sky. Get out of the way, let me do it. Chapter 39 Queen Kun Peng. You are so arrogant, you little jerk. Alright, retreat. Let's retreat. Hey, even the dragon can't stand it anymore. The examinees, summoned beasts immediately retreated 1,000 meters, leaving the battlefield to the golden dragon. Looking at the golden dragon hovering in the sky, the candidates summoned beasts all showed their worship and admiration, under the watchful eyes of the crowd. But the 3-2-ed golden dragon and the 2-tailed holy white fox entered the battlefield at the same time and began to sweep away the 4th wave of monsters. Invincible golden body, defense power increased tenfold, attack power increased tenfold. Absolute true damage. Any physical attack can ignore the enemy's defense and cause 100 absolute true damage. The invincible golden body of the 3-2-ed golden dragon is activated. The 2-tailed holy white fox has absolute real damage, activated. The 3-2-ed golden dragon rampaged through the group of monsters, while the 2-tailed holy white fox killed gracefully, beheading 10 monsters in one step. Awesome, so awesome. Dragon, my god, white fox Xiao, YYDS. Seeing the golden dragon and the white fox crushing the group of magical beasts with ease, the candidates, summoned beasts were extremely shocked. The powerful magical beasts that they could not break through the defense were like ordinary paper under the claws of the golden dragon and the white fox, and they were torn into pieces at the first sight. More than 1,000 summoned beasts turned into spectators and shouted 666 from behind. A Grandmaster level 3-2-ed golden dragon and the Grandmaster level 2-tailed white fox moved very quickly. After a few minutes, thousands of level 4 and level 5 magical beasts died under their claws. The 5th wave of 6th order mammoths, numbering thousands, were destroyed in 10 minutes. The 6th wave of 7th order silver white rhinos, numbering thousands, were destroyed after half an hour. The 7th wave of 8th order white tigers, numbering thousands, were destroyed after an hour. The 8th wave of 9th order giant pythons, numbering over 1,000, came 2 hours later. 30 giant pythons and demon snakes drilled into the location of the candidates, summoned beasts and blew up thousands of them, eliminating them. Only a few hundred giant pythons, demon snakes, 3-2-ed golden dragons, and 2-tailed white foxes were left at the scene. The 9th wave of Grandmaster level 1-star monsters is coming. The 3-2-ed golden dragon and the 2-tailed white fox were now only 1/10 of their strength and energy left and were about to be exhausted. Feeling endless fatigue, Xiao Yi and the other 2 almost fell asleep. Xiao Yi, I did a good job, didn't I? You must reward me when you go back. My skin isn't that rosy today. Nangong Xiao resisted the urge to sleep and said to Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi jumped up and immediately became more energetic. He twitched the corner of his mouth and said, Okay. This little girl, did she think he was a cosmetic? Cheng Bing she also said, I want it. Just because I didn't say it doesn't mean I don't need it. Xiao Yi's face darkened. Damn it, Cheng Bing, she was led astray by Ningong Xiao. Hold on. The last wave, kill him, Xiao Yi said. Next. The 3-2-ed golden dragon was filled with artistic conception, and it displayed the artistic conception level power of the holy golden dragon, the artistic conception level invincible golden body, and the artistic conception level in body, and the artistic conception level control of water element, and rushed into the group of Grandmaster level monsters. A 2-tailed holy white fox displayed the artistic conception level God's charm, artistic conception level God's rebellion, and artistic conception level absolute true injury. Half an hour later, 2 SSS level summoned beasts forcibly killed 20 Grandmaster level monsters. Then, the 3-2-ed golden dragon and the 2-tailed white fox were exhausted, disintegrated on the spot, and were eliminated. Real world. When Xiao Yi and the 2 girls opened their eyes, they saw the dazzling light above the sky. None of the students around left when they saw Xiao Yi and the other 2 waking up. They all exclaimed, It's Xiao Shen is awake. The college entrance exams for Qianjin School are over too. There's also a devil school. All the college entrance examination candidates were still standing in their seats, waiting for the last candidate to finish the exam. At this time, Yu Yaqian and Hu Oya, who were in front of Xiao Yi, came over with angry faces and said harshly, "Boy, you're in trouble. You've interfered with our exam. I'll ask the examiner to cancel your college entrance exam score. That's right, if you interfere with other candidates' college entrance examinations, we will definitely report you to the examiners." They were furious and looked like they wanted to come over and beat someone up. "What are you doing?" The candidates around saw someone making trouble, or blaming Xiao Yi and the other two, and they all came over to surround Yu Yaqian and Huoya, scolding them. "You two borrowed land to take the college entrance examination, are not qualified to take the college entrance examination in our wilderness-based city. That's right, you deserve to be eliminated. You even dare to blame our god Xiaoit. SU should cancel your college entrance examination scores." A college entrance examination candidate who borrowed the land actually said to cancel other people's test scores. "Do you have any shame?" Yu Yaqian and Huoya's faces turned red and necks became thick, seeing more and more candidates gathering around them. They finally realized that something was wrong. Why did everyone know that they were borrowing land to take the college entrance examination? The more people knew about this, the more disadvantageous it would be for them. Suddenly a middle-aged man in an examiner's uniform came over and yelled, "What are you doing? The college entrance examination isn't over yet. What do you want to do?" Yu Yaqian and Huoya saw the joy on the middle-aged man's face and hurriedly squeezed through the crowd and walked to the middle-aged man. This middle-aged man was theirs. Huoya said a grieved lie. "Examiner, someone interfered with our two exams and forcibly eliminated us." The middle-aged man's pupils shrank, his expression became very ugly, and he frowned and asked, "Who?" Yu Yaqian pointed at Xiao Yi and the other two and said angrily, "It's two of them. This man must be it. Examiner, I demand that his college entrance examination results be cancelled, and his realm be abolished as punishment for interfering with other candidates' college entrance examinations." The middle-aged man had a stern face and a strong aura emanated from him. He walked towards Xiao Yi and the other to step by step, and an extremely strong oppressive force came towards them. He said in a deep voice, "My classmate, if this is true, I will have to apply to cancel your college entrance examination results. A invigilator can only maintain order in the outside world. The virtual world and the Void God Tower cannot be seen by the examiners outside." Nan Gong Xiao and Cheng Bingshi came over, nervously grabbed Xiao Yi's clothes, with worried looks on their faces. Facing the aggressive middle-aged man, Xiao Yi smiled and said calmly, "It doesn't matter if it's true, you can apply." Seeing Xiao Yi so calm, the middle-aged man showed a trace of surprise on his face, snorted coldly and said, "Then let's wait and see." "Oh, examiner, I apply to retake the college entrance examination." "That's right. We have to take the college entrance examination again individually, otherwise it will be unfair to us." Yu Yaqian and Huoya spoke to the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man twitched his lips and comforted him. "I will do my best to apply for you." Yu Yaqian and Huoya were delighted. The depressed expressions on their faces disappeared, replaced by big smiles. This shameless operation shocked the candidates around. "No, the examiners are protecting those who borrowed land to take the college entrance examination? What kind of person is this examiner? So arrogant. Oh no, our Xiaochen's grades are in danger. What should we do?" The candidates were indignant and talked a lot about it. Suddenly at this moment, a space crack appeared around the three middle-aged men, and a huge energy hand stretched out and grabbed the three people in. Then a pleasant but cold voice came from the sky. "Borrowing land for the college entrance examination? Cancelling the results? Have you asked me, Queen Kun Peng? You little jerk." Chapter 40 Chief Examiner. "This is our internal matter, please do not interfere." The examinees with young faces were delighted when they heard this. "Queen Kun Peng? Who is this?" The title sounds very impressive. Those to high school entrance exam students who borrowed the land are in trouble. Queen Kun Peng is mighty. The scores of those two out-of-town candidates should be cancelled. And that examiner is obviously not a good person. I hope he will be thoroughly investigated. Yes. Outsiders probably bribed the examiner to get a place to take the college entrance examination. They were very happy, but the four pairs of examiners who were in charge of maintaining order in the examination room were not happy. First, the pterosaur soaring in the sky put away the virtual god tower and said to the examinees present, "The college entrance examination is over, but in case of unexpected circumstances, all candidates are not allowed to leave the examination room. All candidates return to their seats. Proctors maintain order. Those who disobey orders will be considered to have violated the college entrance examination rules and will be punished, or even have their scores invalidated." At the chief examiner's command, the other four pairs of contractor examiners came out to maintain order and asked all candidates to return to their seats. Seeing all the candidates return to their original positions, the examiner summoned the pterosaur beast and snorted coldly. "Queen Kun Peng, Supreme Kun Peng? I admit that she is in a terrifying state and has a high status, but the college entrance examination is an internal matter of our department. It is not the turn of an outsider to interfere. As he spoke, the summoned beast pterosaur flew up against the sky and flew towards the place where Queen Kunpeng's voice came from in the sky. The title of Queen Kunpeng is well known in the super base city of Magic City. But it may not be the case in other low-level, mid-level, and high-level base cities. These examiners come from mid-level base cities and have no access to any top figures. Watching the examiners summon the pterosaur, the examiners all echoed, "That's right, every organization has its own rules. Even if a candidate violates the rules, we need to investigate and resolve it ourselves, rather than an outsider suddenly intervening in the college entrance examination." Queen Kunpeng? There is no such person in our department. Do you think she can disrupt our examination department by relying on her high level? Don't even think about it. We also have powerful people in the examination department. Not just any Tom, Dick or Harry can interfere. Listening to the examiner's words, the candidates' hearts were hanging in the air. They looked at Xiao Yi and Nan Gongxiao with worry. Zhao Shen and Qian Jinxiao did eliminate to candidly. Although they were candidates who took the college entrance examination on borrowed land, they were also candidates. It would be terrible if Xiao Chen's college entrance examination results were cancelled. Above the sky, Yun Bing, the charming girl with Kunpeng beast ears, stepped on the clouds and looked coldly at the middle-aged examiner, Ya Qian and Chuoya, who were caught in the hands of the huge energy hand. He spoke so favorably to these two candidates. Did you arrange for them to pass the college entrance examination smoothly? The middle-aged examiner's face flushed and he shook his head. What do you mean by borrowing land for the college entrance examination? That's impossible. Tell me. Both of you, are you students taking the college entrance examination here on borrowed land? Ya Qian and Chuoya were caught by the huge hand of energy. Their two pairs of pupils looked at Yun Bing, the girl with Kunpeng beast ears. In horror they didn't hear the words of the middle-aged examiner at all. Their hearts and minds were filled with fear. And frightened words kept flashing through their minds. Kunpeng Supreme. It really is Kunpeng Supreme, one of the 10 supreme beings in Magic City. It's over, I'm dead. Why is Supreme Kunpeng in the wilderness-based city? Kunpeng Supreme is the vice president of Kunpeng College. A top school in Magic City. He holds a high position of power, and a terrifying realm. Even the top ministers in the examination department have to give him some face. Seeing that the two of them did not respond, the middle-aged examiner's face turned as black as charcoal and he roared. Just tell me for yourself, are you guys borrowing the land to take the college entrance examination? Ya Qian and Chuoya were a little more sober after being yelled at. But they were still in fear and subconsciously said, yes. The middle-aged examiner widened his eyes in disbelief. What's wrong with these two people? He was so angry that he almost died. So he yelled again, are you too sick? You are from Mangyuan Base City. What do you mean by borrowing land for the college entrance examination? Say it again, are you borrowing land for the college entrance examination? Ya Qian and Chuoya finally came to their senses and said, no, we are not candidates for the college entrance examination who are borrowing the land. We are from Mangyuan Base City. Although Supreme Kunpeng is in a high position and has great power, they cannot admit it directly. Not admitting it might give them a chance for a reversal. But if they admit it, they will be really finished. The middle-aged examiner looked better, and said to Yun Bing, the girl with Kunpeng ears, Senior, you heard it, you misunderstood us. We don't have any arrangements for the college entrance examination. Yun Bing, the charming animal-eared girl, dug her ears, curled her lips, and said nonchalantly, are you done? The middle-aged examiner nodded. Hey, that's it? Just as the middle-aged man finished his words, a white jade hand expanded in front of his eyes. And with a slap, it slapped him in the face, knocking him unconscious. The charming animal-eared girl shouted coldly, I just asked you a question, but you didn't answer my question. What are you yelling about? Ya Qian and Chuoya's bodies trembled and they shuddered violently. So domineering. This is Kunpeng Supreme, one of the 10 supreme beings in the Magic City. The middle-aged examiner's right cheek was swollen, and a trace of gloom and frustration flashed in his eyes. Chew. At this time, a cry came from below, followed by a pterosaur that was 100 meters in size flying up. Seeing the middle-aged examiner and Ya Qian being pinched in the giant hand of energy, its eyes were filled with anger. The pterosaur was hovering not far from the charming beast-eared girl Yun Bing, and said dissatisfied, lie? Senior Kunpeng, did you cross the line? Yun Bing glanced at him and said, really? Elong responded, since you realize that you have crossed the line, please do not interfere in the affairs of our examination department. Regarding borrowing land for the college entrance examination, we will conduct our own internal investigation. If it is true, we will impose corresponding punishments. As the examiner, I will personally follow up and thoroughly investigate this matter. What he said was very clear, you as an outsider should do what you are supposed to do, and we can handle our own affairs. Yun Bing looked at him directly, Are you sure you can find out the truth and deal with the college entrance examination candidates who borrowed the land according to the rules? Pterosaur. I am very sure, but please don't say these two people are borrowing the land to take the college entrance examination before you investigate thoroughly. Yun Bing nodded, thinking that what he said was right, and said, in that case, let you handle it among yourselves. Pterosaur. Thank you, then please release us examiners and candidates safely. The middle-aged examiner, Yuya-Kion and Huoya were overjoyed. What Qilong said was obviously official talk, but who knows if it will be forgotten afterwards. Yun Bing ignored the pterosaur. She looked at the identity badge on the middle-aged examiner's chest, took out a large satellite phone from her clothes, and after dialing a series of numbers, she said in a cold voice, Vara Supreme, are you itching for trouble? Didn't you get enough of the beating you received last time? A cautious response came from the other end of the phone. Enough. Enough, big sister, you are so angry. How did I offend you recently? Tell me, and I will apologize to you. Pterosaur and the middle-aged examiner were extremely shocked when they heard the words Vara Supreme. Vara Supreme was the legendary top figure and top boss in their department. King Kong Supreme, one of the directors of the examination department. Hiss. The pterosaur and the middle-aged examiner gasped. Chapter 41. King Kong Supreme comes forward and reveals the college entrance examination results. Your examination department is so powerful, Yun Bing. The charming animal-eared girl said coldly, some examiners rely on their status to arrange for outsiders to take the college entrance examination at will, hoping to get extra points for the first place in the base city. I think your examination department needs some cleanup. King Kong Supreme was furious and said in a deep voice, borrowing land for the college entrance examination? Another examiner secretly accepted bribes? One bad apple spoils the whole barrel. Sister Kunpeng Supreme, may I ask who the examiner is? I'm going to kill him. The Supreme King Kong did not doubt Yun Bing's words at all. The Supreme King would not make such a joke. Examiner No. 5270 is Shang San. The candidates are Yuya-Kion and Huoya. Yun Bing glanced at the identity tags on the chests of the three of them and said, wait a moment. King Kong Supreme hung up the phone. Was that the Golden King Kong Supreme just now? Yuya-Kion and Huoya looked at each other and saw the panic in each other's eyes. It's over, it's completely over now. The middle-aged examiner Shang San's face turned pale and bloodless, and his eyeballs kept trembling. He panicked. What should I do? It's time to download. He realized he had hit a wall. Yun Bing looked at the chief examiner, the summoned beast pterosaur, and the examiner Shang San with a playful look in his eyes. It is indeed not convenient for me to interfere in the affairs of your examination department. Then let you guys solve it among yourselves. After saying that, the charming animal-eared girl Yun Bing lay down on the white clouds, basking in the sun with a leisurely look on her face. The examiner Yulong's mouth twitched. Is it necessary to involve a top minister in such a small matter? Shang San, answer truthfully. Was it you who arranged for these two people to borrow and to take the college entrance examination? Yulong asked with a sullen face. If the situation was true, he would be implicated. I. A middle-aged examiner trembled his lips and stammered, wanting to say something, but at this moment, beep, the communicator rang. The middle-aged examiner's pupils shrank, and the communicator showed the phone number of the director of the examination department in their base city. Shang San, you little piece of trash, you're so fucking arrogant that you dare to arrange for outsiders to take the college entrance examination on your own initiative. You're fucking fired. An angry roar was heard from the other end after the call was connected. Shang San's body trembled violently, and the phone was hung up. He felt infinite annoyance and regret in his heart. Beep. A phone rang somewhere on the examiner Yulong's body. Yulong's face changed drastically, and he quickly picked it up with his mouth and used his tongue to answer the call. It's the branch director calling. Su Yi, today's college entrance examination record of the Void God Tower has been perfectly brought back. Your team of examiners has also been fired. Come back and write your own resignation letter. Yulong frowned and said, Minister, this time it was Shang and his 3 men who did the deed. It doesn't mean that my entire team will be disbanded. Right? A cold snort came from the other end. Su Yi, are you mentally ill? Don't you know who your team has offended in the examination department? Your road is blocked. Come back quickly to hand over your resignation and don't implicate me. Hurry! But the snap, the pterosaur bit the phone in its mouth into pieces and roared at Shang San. Are you fucking satisfied? Our entire team is fired. I'll settle the score with you later. And you two are rubbish, always thinking of taking crooked paths. Your college entrance exam scores are invalid, and you are permanently blacklisted by the examination department. Go back to where you came from. Yuya-Kion and Huoya were stunned and became terrified as if they were struck by lightning. Being permanently blacklisted by the examination department means being blacklisted by all colleges and universities in the country. This means that they will never be able to take the college entrance examination again, and will not be able to enter a regular college. Then, the pterosaur apologized to Kunpeng steer girl, and then carried Shang San, Yu Ya Qian, and Huoya back to the ground. Facing the waiting candidates and examiners, Yilong said, Yu Ya Qian and Huoya violated the college entrance examination rules. Their college entrance examination scores were cancelled, and they were permanently blacklisted by the examination department. All examinees disperse in order the college entrance examination is over. Upon hearing the result, the candidates screamed in surprise. Nangong Xiao's beautiful eyes smiled happily into crescents, and said, cancel the score and permanently blacklist. Great, that's great. My dad was so angry yesterday when he failed to submit the report letter. He will definitely be very happy when he knows about this. Nangong Xiao was still smiling. Chengbing, she secretly put her arm around Xiaoyi and moved her rosy lips closer. Xiaoyi didn't understand what Chengbing she wanted to do. He just looked at those tempting lips and kissed them. With a smacking sound, Chengbing she whispered, Xiaoyi, is it my turn to exercise this year? Xiaoyi thought for a moment and nodded. It seems so. Yeah. Don't let Xiao snatch you away today. Chengbing she couldn't help feeling angry when she thought about how Nangong Xiao had often intruded on her over the past half-month. Nangong Xiao felt like no one was listening to her. So she turned her head and was immediately stunned. Great, Sister Bing, she is cheating. Nangong Xiao threw herself into Xiaoyi's arms. Xiaoyi, I want what you promised me today. Chengbing she said dissatisfied lie, Xia, oh. Xiaoyi is mine today. Nangong Xiao said distressed lie, but Xiaoyi promised me. And the two girls gathered together and discussed quietly away from Xiaoyi. And then said to Xiaoyi at the same time, which one of us do you choose today? Xiaoyi looked at the two women, both of whom were extremely beautiful. One had achieved great success, and the other had long legs that were longer than his life. It was really difficult to make a decision. So Xiaoyi came up with a bold idea and said, I want them all. Nangong Xiao and Chengbing she were stunned. Suddenly, a pleasant but doubtful voice came from behind the three people. You want everything. It was Yun Bing, the charming girl with animal ears. She stood there with her right body, the smooth Kunpeng ears on either side of her little head, and a look of suspicion on her charming and beautiful face. Xiaoyi's mouth twitched, and he said, fruits, peaches and sugar cane, I want them all. Yun Bing, the charming animal-eared girl, brightened up when she heard this and said, fruit, I love it so much. I want to eat some too. Time slipped through my fingers. It is now the 15th day after the college entrance examination, the day when the college entrance examination results are announced. Xiaoyi, Nangong Xiao, and Chengbing she were in the main hall of the city lord's mansion. The city lord and his wife were sitting on the main seat, and Yun Bing was sitting in the guest seat. The atmosphere was a little tense, and the city lord and his wife were very nervous. City Lord Nangong Qitao said, the results are out today, right? Have you checked? Xiaoyi and the other two shook their heads, indicating that they had not checked the results yet. City Lord Nangong Qitao carefully took out his communicator and a virtual screen popped up for everyone to see as he logged into the Mangyuan Base City Candidate Scores Overview website. The virtual screen shows that the network is stuck. Please check again later. Damn it, the city lord cursed inwardly, what a rubbish server this is. Xiaoyi was very confident in himself and said, father-in-law, don't worry, we performed well and the results will definitely not be bad. Nangong Xiao and Chengbing she also said, yes dad, uncle, don't worry. The results will come out. The charming and majestic sister Yun Bing supported her chin with her hands, her eyes sparkling with brilliance. Is it that the emperor is not anxious, but the eunuch is? How could Nangong Qitao not be anxious? He not only checked the results of Xiaoyi and the other two, but also the overall results of Mangyuan Base City. The city lord and his wife waited for more than 10 minutes in a nervous mood, and the result came out. Xiaoyi and Nangong Xiao, both tied for the top spot in the college entrance examination. Xiaoyi and Chengbing shi, full marks tied for the top spot in the college entrance examination. Overall ranking of Mangyuan Base City, 9th in the country. Fuck, the city lord and his wife cursed. What the hell? Yun Bing also stood up and said in surprise. Chapter 42, Origin Level Treasure Template Adjuster. Yun Bing's eyes are fiery. Nangong Qitao and his wife were stunned. Xiaoyi and Chengbing she's the tailed white fox and Xiaoyi and Nangong Xiao's golden ragged all got full marks and tied for the top spot in the college entrance examination. In other words, Mangyuan Base City produced 2 national top scorers this year. What's even more terrifying is that Mangyuan Base City's overall college entrance examination ranking is actually 9th in the country. Nangong Qitao felt very dreamy and said, wife bite me. Are we dreaming? The city lord's wife Shang'eroyu rolled her eyes at him and raised her hand to twist the soft flesh on his waist. Nangong Qitao gasped and broke out in a cold sweat due to the pain. He was shocked and said, it really is 9th in the country. The city lord was extremely happy. This was the happiest time he had laughed in the past 10 years. For 10 years, Manyuan Base City has been ranked last among the national base cities for 10 consecutive years as the city lord. He doesn't know how aggrieved he is. This year, it is finally not the last but the 9th. A charming and majestic sister Yunbing stood up suddenly. Her beautiful eyes widened, and she was very shocked. It was within her expectation that Xiao Yi and the other two would get the top score in the college entrance examination. However, the overall college entrance examination score of Manyuan Base City was among the top 9 among all base cities in the country, which was beyond her expectations. You know, Wangjiuo has 10 super base cities, and the top 10 overall performances in history have all been taken by these 10 super base cities. The high school students in these 10 super base cities are not comparable to those in Manyuan Base City, but Manyuan Base City still ranked 9th. This means that the overall performance of the low-level wilderness base city has surpassed that of a certain super base city. This is so shocking. Beep, 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 beep. The huge communicator hidden in Yunbing's chest rang. Yunbing took it out and answered, Bara Supreme. If you have to fart, do it now. A deep male voice came from the other side. Sister Kunpeng. You have found a treasure. Treasure? What treasure? King Kong Supreme said in surprise. Did you know that the base city you were protecting took 9th place? I'll tell you the reason. Do you think it's possible for a low-level base city to get 9th place? It's impossible. The 9th place was completely due to the 2 top scorers in the college entrance examination, which raised the average and pushed up the overall score. It is equivalent to averaging the assets of an ordinary person and the assets of Ma and Pony after the average. The ordinary person will also be a billionaire. Really? Yunbing felt unbelievable. King Kong Supreme said in a firm tone. More real than real gold. The gold content of these 2 pairs of top scorers in the college entrance examination is more monstrous than the top scorers in the college entrance examinations in the past few hundred years. After saying this, King Kong Supreme repeatedly reminded Sister Kunpeng, you must recruit these 2 top scorers in the college entrance examination into our Magic City University. It is worth it even if you have to pay some price for it. A charming and elegant Lady Yunbing frowned and said, What can you do? If they apply to other super schools, I can't stop them. King Kong Supreme. Start with that double contract holder Xiaoyi. As long as we take him down, these 2 pairs of top scorers in the college entrance examination will belong to our Magic City Academy. Yunbing was speechless. You want me to tell you? Do you think I can't think of this? The question is how to win? King Kong Supreme offered a suggestion. Give the young man whatever he likes, and our Magic City examination department will reimburse him afterwards. But you can sell your beauty and seduce Xiao Yeti. With your looks, it will definitely work. Yunbing widened her beautiful eyes and angrily said, What a rotten idea. Get lost. Okay, but Sister Kunpeng, you must get him. Otherwise you will be in trouble if the admissions teachers from other top universities arrive. Before hanging up the phone, King Kong Supreme reminded again. Send various gifts. Or seduce with beauty. Yunbing had the answer in mind and decided to find an opportunity to implement it. Beside her, Nangong Saya looked at the city lord who was smiling broadly. And her heart was also very happy. She saw that her father's brow, which was always frowned, finally relaxed. This is even more joyful than getting the top score in the college entrance examination. While Nangong Saya was focusing her attention on the city lord, Chengbing she leaned her little head toward Xiao Yi and whispered, Husband Xiao Yi, we got the top scorer in the college entrance examination this time. Are you going to reward me? Xiao Yi pretended to be confused and asked, What reward? Chengbing she frowned and said, Kokathas lie. Oh, that's it? Which one? Xiao Yi almost couldn't control himself when he heard the Kogathas voice. Chengbing she blushed slightly and said, I'll give you some fruit. Xiao Yi almost fell down when he heard this, and shook his head violently. No, I don't. Chengbing she's pretty face turned fierce, and she said Kogathas lie. No, this is a reward, you have to eat it whether you want to or not. This is what you promised when you took the exam. Okay, faced with Chengbing she's strong request, Xiao Yi agreed reluctantly with an embarrassed look. Nangong Saya felt that Sister Bing she beside her was a little further away, and immediately tilted her head to look over. When she found that Chengbing she was blushing and whispering to Xiao Yi, she immediately became angry, rushed towards the 2 of them, and said Kokathas lie. You guys, you're whispering behind my back again. Tell me, are you cheating on me again? Chengbing she blushed and said nothing, but Xiao Yi shook his head firmly and denied it. No, absolutely not. Nangong Saya's beautiful face was full of suspicion. I didn't say anything about cheating. So you know what I'm talking about. Such a firm denial. So Nangong Saya, who had a huge thing, asked doubtfully, Sister Bingshi, is it true? Chengbing-shi's beautiful eyes turned around and around. She couldn't lie, but she said with a guilty look on her pretty face, No. Nangong Saya, who knew Chengbing-shi's character, immediately saw the flaw and said, "Okay, Sister Bingshi, you lied." Xiao Yi felt something was wrong ever since a switch was turned on. Nan Gong Xiao lost her reserve towards him and became as ferocious as a wolf and a tiger, pestering him every day. This made him feel both painful and happy. But even an iron ox will get tired. Xiao Yi cried out in his heart that he couldn't bear it any longer. He couldn't bear it any longer. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission, win the top spot in the college entrance examination, and make the overall score of Mangyu on base city enter the top 10 in the country. Reward, Origin Level Exotic Treasure Template Adjuster. The template adjuster is automatically recognizing its owner. Owner, Xiao Yi recognition is successful. Template adjuster introduction. Full name. Dear Space Template Adjuster. Whether it is a human or a monster, whether it is a top powerhouse or an ant, there is a template, and the adjuster can adjust it. Function. 3 functions. 1. Template level upgrade function. 2. Incomplete template repair function. 3. Template rule fragment crystallization extraction function. After checking the information on the system panel, Xiao Yi was overjoyed. I finally got the origin level exotic treasure template adjuster. Suddenly Xiao Yi felt a fiery gaze cast on, and Xiao Yi looked up and saw that it was not Nan Gong Xiao, nor Cheng Bingshi, but Yun Bing, the charming and majestic sister who was known as the Supreme Kun Peng. Looking at the owner of that extremely fiery gaze, Xiao Yi was shocked. Yun Bing's expression at this moment is so tempting. Chapter 43. Yun Bing, I'm risking it all. But it be that she knew I had a way to solve the problem with her template? Impossible. He was the only one who knew about the template adjuster. Xiao Yi was sure of this. Could it be that she is attracted by my handsome face? Xiao Yi thought at Yun Bing's title of being a 1,000-year-old female bachelor, and thought that it was really possible. Yun Bing cannot make a contract with a man. Once the contract is signed, the man will explode and die. Regarding Sister Yun Bing's template problem, Xiao Yi opened the template adjuster out of curiosity to check Yun Bing's template information. Template, SSS level Kun Peng template upgradable. Problem, 1. A template contains rule conflicts. Use the repair function to change the rule fragment crystal type to solve it. Problem 2. The energy in the bestier girl's body exceeds the upper limit of her realm, and she is prone to violent tempers. She needs to use the Xuan Huang gem to calm her energy repair method. I see you point massage. It turned out to be a conflict of rules within the template. In other words, Sister Yun Bing absorbed the wrong type of rule fragment crystal when awakening the template, which led to a series of problems. To solve the template problem, we need to change the regular fragment crystal type. This opened Xiao Yi's eyes. Nan Gong Xiao did not absorb enough rule fragment crystals when she awakened, and Sister Yun Bing absorbed the wrong type. Sister Yun Bing is also prone to temper tantrums. But if he were to ask Sister Yun Bing, who looked like a ripe peach, to give a massage, he would probably be beaten. Although he often gave massages to Nan Gong Xiao and Cheng Bingshi, his massage techniques had been practiced to the level of automatic navigation. What Xiao Yi paid the most attention to was that there was an upgrade option displayed behind the SSS level template. Xiao Yi thought about it and clicked to upgrade. Missing rule fragment crystals, upgrade failed. Mythical Kun Peng template. Missing 100 space rule fragment crystals and 10 creation rule fragment crystals. When the charming and domineering Yun Bing saw Xiao Yi staring at her blankly, she suddenly felt that she was still quite pretty, otherwise she wouldn't have stared at him so blankly. Do I have to use my beauty to seduce a little boy? Okay, I'll give it a go. Yun Bing made a decision in her heart. After being reminded by King Kong Supreme, she understood that she had to take Xiao Yi down before the admissions teachers from the other night op universities came to Mangyu on base city. Otherwise, she would have no advantage and would have to compete with 9 admissions office teachers. Yun Bing said to the City Lord. City Lord, Xiao and the others haven't filled out their applications yet, right? I suggest you apply to our Magic City's top Beastmaster school, Kun Peng Battle Academy. Nan Gong Qitao looked embarrassed and said, I can't force them to go wherever they want. I'm sorry, teacher. Nan Gong Qitao also graduated from Kun Peng Combat Academy. He was an S-level Golden Eiger template and got in with a score just above the passing line in the college entrance examination. At noon, the City Lord held a banquet and invited all the high school teachers, relatives and friends of Mangyu on base city to celebrate the birth of the top scorer in the college entrance examination, and also to celebrate that Mangyu on base city has risen from the last place to the 9th place among all the base cities in the country. There are more than 10 tables in the spacious main hall of the City Lord's mansion, and more than 1,000 tables in the large square of the City Lord's mansion. The principal of the 3rd high school, the dean and his wife, Xiao Yi, Nan Gong Xiao, Cheng Bingshi, Yun Bing, and the City Lord and his wife sat at the same table. The dean of the 3rd high school, Cheng Bingshi's father, smiled and said, Bingshi, Xiao Yi, the Imperial Capital's top Beast Tamer Academy is great. I heard that the top scorer in last year's college entrance examination was admitted to the Imperial Capital's top Beast Tamer Academy. The principal of the third high school also nodded and said, our third high school has produced a top scorers in the college entrance examination. I can't just not express my appreciation at all. As he spoke, the principal took out 3 exquisite boxes and gave them to the 3 people, saying, "This is the powder of the Molwo fruit spirit plant. It can make people energetic and have sex 10 times a night. You young people should like it." Nangong Xiao and Cheng Bing she blushed and said, "Who would like this? What a shame the principal is, he is always so frivolous." The corner of Xiaoyi's mouth twitched. The principal took such good care of the spiritual plant. The Molwo fruit, it turned out that it had this effect. But are you serious, principal? Giving a gift to a student, this? Nangong Xiao stood up, stretched out her hand to take the box, blushed and asked, "Principal, Xiaoyi likes this thing very much, can you give me 10 or 8 more boxes?" Cheng Bing she also blushed, but her eyes were filled with joy as she said, "Yes, yes. Old Xiaoyi likes this." Xiaoyi, who was sitting there without moving, had a frown on his face. Did he really like it? The principal smiled and responded, "Okay. Since you like it, why not give me a few more boxes? I'll get them later." Nangong Xiao was very excited after receiving the 3 boxes of gifts. She smiled sweetly and said, "Thank you, principal." Yunbing looked at Xiaoyi's profile with interest, thinking, "So you like this?" Yunbing found an excuse, left the city lord's mansion, tore through space and jumped in, muttering, "King Kong Supreme likes to collect these weird things, go ask him for them. You from the examination department want me to sell my beauty, but you have to pay a price." If King Kong Supreme knew about this, he would definitely say, "Oh no, that old maid is here to beat people up again." The main hall of the city lord's mansion was very lively and all the teachers were very happy. Many people came up one after another to toast Xiaoyi and the other 2. All the principals and deans of the first high school, all the principals and deans of the second high school, as well as some dignitaries from the Mangyuan-based city, all came up to toast Xiaoyi and the other 2. This gave enough face to Xiaoyi and the other 2, and satisfied the vanity of the city lord and his wife, and Cheng Bingshi's parents. Look, these are their children, 2 pairs of top scorers in the college entrance examination. After the toast, when the city lord saw that teacher Young Bing was not there, he immediately said to Xiaoyi and the other 2, "Xiao, Xiaoyi, Bing Shi, which college do you want to apply for?" Everyone around who heard it looked over. They were also very curious about where the top scorer in the college entrance examination wanted to go. Xiaoyi said, "The demonic city or the imperial city." The city lord smiled and said, "Great, the imperial capital is great. A super base city above all else." Cheng Bingshi's father, the dean of education, also agreed. "Yes, it's great that you can become an official after graduating from the Imperial Capital Academy. The super base city of Moda is the national economic center. The imperial capital of super base city is the center of power in the country." If Yunbing knew that her student Nan Gongqitao suggested that Xiaoyu and the other to go to the imperial capital, she would probably be so angry that she would jump to her feet. In response to the advice from his elders, Xiaoyi said he would seriously consider it. In the afternoon, Nangong Xiao and Cheng Bingshi took Xiaoyi back to the villa, saying that they wanted to experiment with the gift given by the principal to see if it had any effect. After opening the exquisite gift box, 10 potions were neatly arranged inside, which were the essence of Moro fruit powder. Xiaoyi opened the bottle and drank it. Nangong Xiao looked at him curiously and asked, "How is it, Xiaoyi? Is there any effect?" Xiaoyi felt it for a while and said, "I don't feel anything." Cheng Bingshi took action directly, and after getting the result, she said disappointed lie. "Could it be that I drank too little?" As she spoke, Cheng Bingshi opened the caps of the remaining 9 bottles and fed Xiaoyi to drink them all. Xiaoyi felt that his body was filled with primitive power. At this moment, the charming and elegant sister Yunbing appeared, pulled Xiaoyi into her room, locked the door, pushed Xiaoyi onto the bed, and said excitedly, "There are good things. I guarantee you'll like them. Xiaoyi, you came at a really bad time." Chapter 40 For Yunbing, this villain is very cunning. Xiaoyi's face flushed red, and the wild power in his body was almost uncontrollable. At this moment, he was eager to have a hearty battle to vent the surging energy and blood in his body. Xiaoyi stood up and wanted to leave, but he sat down again as soon as he stood up. Alas, in this situation, I can only walk with my body hunched over, otherwise if Yunbing sees me, I'll be doomed. After thinking for a while, Xiaoyi bent his body and walked towards the door. He happened to meet Yunbing, who had locked the door, and turned around. Yunbing opened his arms to stop Xiaoyi and said, "I have something good to give you, but before I give it to you, you must agree to one condition of mine." Xiaoyi was anxious, very anxious. He was in no mood to talk nonsense with Yunbing, so he said, "Sister Yunbing, let's talk about it tomorrow, okay?" When other admissions teachers come tomorrow, I will have no advantage. The charming and royal sister Yunbing shouted in her heart, shook her head firmly, took out a bottle from her small pocket, and said, "This is a pill to boost your energy, take one and you'll be energetic for the whole day. How is that? Isn't it really strong?" Xiao Yi was shocked. Why do others always want to give him this kind of things? The principal of the third high school is, and so is Sister Yunbing. Xiao Yi touched his face. Could it be that he looked so weak that he really needed this thing? Seeing Xiao Yi's surprised expression, Yunbing felt that he had won the game. He raised his lips and said his conditions: as long as you apply for the Kunpeng Battle Academy of Magic City University in your college entrance examination, I will give it to you. Student Xiao Yi, just like King Kong Supreme, you don't want to be a second killer, right? The corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. What a fucking second guy. Wait, he seemed to have heard some incredible information. The King Kong Supreme who can kill men in seconds. Xiao Yi did not answer Yunbing's words, but asked, Sister Yunbing, how do you know that King Kong Supreme is so short? Could he be your lover? The smile on the charming and royal Sister Yunbing's pretty face rose, and then she looked at him with disdain and said, that coward King Kong, do you think he is worthy of being my man? He is only worthy of being my punching bag. I'll get him a few bottles of potion. He's wailing like he's lost his family line. He also said that without those pills and potions, he would have to become a second man. Xiao Yi laughed. And in an instant he felt that all the primordial power in his body was suppressed. Yunbing twisted her sexy waist and walked in front of Xiao Yi. Her eyes turned expectant and she said, how about this bottle of spirit-boosting pills for you? And you can join my Kunpeng Academy. No, Xiao Yi refused. He felt that he was principal and that he would go to Kunpeng Academy with integrity. Not just because he was tempted to take something. Yunbing took out 9 bottles of pills from his pocket without haste, placed them on the table and said, how about 10 bottles of spirit-boosting pills? Xiao Yi shook his head. Yunbing took out 10 more bottles of potion from his pocket and said, add 10 more bottles of Optimus Prime potion to guarantee you unlimited glory. How do you think? Xiao Yi's attention was attracted, but he still shook his head. Yunbing gritted his teeth, took out 10 bottles of plasters from King Kong Supreme's bottom of the box, and said, how about the invincible King Kong plaster? After saying this, the charming and domineering Sister Yunbing looked at Xiao Yi's expression, and found that Xiao Yi was still as upright and calm as ever, not susceptible to temptation. He is really principled, never mind. Oh, I understand. Yunbing sighed, stretched out her white jade hand, and wanted to collect the 30 bottles of pills, medicines, and ointments on the table. Suddenly, a strong and powerful hand grabbed her. Yunbing looked at Xiao Yi with a surprised look, only to see Xiao Yi said seriously, I agree to your terms. But in addition to these, you have to pay more. Yunbing was stunned and stared at Kunpeng in shock. A whole person was stunned. Okay. After the charming Queen Yunbing reacted, she immediately became excited and took out one thing after another from her pocket. 10 Grandmaster low-grade crystal cores, 10 Grandmaster mid-grade crystal cores, and 10 Grandmaster high-grade crystal cores. A property certificate for a single-family villa within the 3rd ring road of the inner city of Magic City. Identity card for the assistant dean of Assignaker. A pair of my original stockings. The table is full of things and there's almost no room left. But what the hell is that pair of black stockings? The charming Sister Yunbing smiled and said, Student Xiao Yi, how do you feel? Is it enough? Xiao Yi came over and put all the things into a bag, then held the bag tightly with both hands and said seriously, hello. Dean Yunbing, from now on I will be a student of your top Beastmaster school in Magic City, Kunpeng Battle Academy. I have longed to join Kunpeng Battle Academy since I was a child. I definitely didn't go there just because of the rewards. As he said that, Xiao Yi opened the door and ran out holding the big bag. Looking at the handsome figure hunched over and slipping away, Yunbing's mouth twitched. I don't trust you, this young man is very cunning. And the charming Sister Yunbing twisted her sexy waist, threw herself on the bed, and said with relief, finally, we recruited these 3 top scores in the college entrance examination. This little scoundrel Xiao Yi really took me a lot of effort. However, the one who suffered the greatest loss seemed to be King Kong Supreme. After returning to his room, Xiao Yi could no longer suppress his overwhelming power and let it out. Early the next morning, bang, 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 Xiao Yi and the other 2 were awakened by a knock on the door. After washing up, the 3 of them were called to the main hall of the City Lord's mansion by the City Lord and his wife in a trance. But fluffy hair, Xiao Yi and his 2 companions were surrounded by 9 rough guys as soon as they arrived. Student Xiao Yi, I am the Director of Admissions at the Imperial Capital Academy. If you enroll in our Imperial Capital Academy and graduate, you can become an official. Student Sheng Bingxi, I'm the admissions teacher of Jinling Academy. You will be given a villa upon admission. Student Nan Gong Sayo, there are many sunny and handsome boys in our Hanghouse Academy. Would you like to consider it? These 9 burly men are teachers and directors of admissions offices from the top universities in the other 9 super-base cities. Except for the Magic City University, they come here naturally to recruit 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination. Faced with the benefits offered by the admissions office teachers, Xiao Yi and the other 2 just shook their heads slightly and remained unmoved. Oh, you are too stingy. Zhongcheng Academy not only waives all tuition fees, but also gives away 10 top-grade Grandmaster Crystal cores, one of the rough guys said with disdain. TSK. You're the only one with free tuition? My Hanghouse University is the same, and my Hanghouse University has many handsome guys and talented men. These 2 female top scorers in the college entrance examination will definitely like them. A rough guy next to him was full of confidence. Hey, speaking of which, where is the admissions teacher from the Magic City Academy? Isn't he here? It seems so, but it's better if they don't come. The Doomsday Demon City is not only the economic center of the country, but also a city rich in beautiful women. Once they come, young Xiao Yi will be easily attracted away. That's right. It's right, wouldn't it be better if there's one less competitor? Just when the 9 rough guys were rejoicing, a beautiful and charming lady with animal ears appeared. Chapter 45 Farewell. Heading to the Magic City Academy. These 9 big men with unshaven beards surrounded Xiao Yi and the other 2 and were negotiating excitedly when a pleasant voice came from behind them. Hey, teachers. Why are you here so early? I'm the last one to arrive. I'm so upset. The voice was very pleasant and charming, attracting the attention of the 9 men. At the same time, they all turned around and looked towards the door. Under the shining sunshine, with a colorful halo, a sexy and mature lady with a sexy body stood there with a rather annoyed expression. A peerless beauty, a ripe peach. The 9 rough guys labeled the charming and domineering Sister Yunbing in their hearts. Just when I mentioned the Magic City Academy, the admissions officer of the Magic City Academy came, and she's a stunning beauty. Oh no. This person is too beautiful. I think Xiao Yi's soul will be seduced away by her. The Magic City Academy is so despicable that they sent a peerless beauty to recruit students. But she arrived too late, and we got the upper hand. Before the apocalypse, the Basin area was a place where beautiful women abounded. But after the apocalypse, the Demon City Base City became the overlord of the country in producing beautiful women. Seeing that the teacher in the Shanghai admissions office was so sexy and beautiful, the 9 rough guys couldn't help but secretly curse. The 9 rough guys looked at each other, and each of them had a fierce look in their eyes. They decided to use ruthless tactics. Even if you have the advantage, we are not any worse. 9 rough guys surrounded Xiao Yi and the other 2 in a circle, preventing the charming and domineering Sister Yunbing from squeezing in. And they all threw out huge benefits. Come to my Magic City Academy. I promise that you will become the lord of a city after graduation. Enter the Hanghouse Academy, and we will give you 10 Grandmasters lower grade crystal cores. Come to Jinling Academy. I'll introduce my daughter to you. She is a professor. As soon as he said this, the other 8 rough guys looked at him in shock and said, You old man, you are so shameless. He already has a contractor, and you are still introducing your daughter to him. The director of the admissions office of Jinling Academy was full of pride. What Shanghai Academy had, Jinling Academy also had, so he had an advantage. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Professor S' daughter. No need for that. Nangong Xiao On Chengbing. She looked at the admissions director with hostility and blocked Jinling Academy in their hearts. The other 8 rough guys looked at the beautiful teacher from the admissions office of the Magic City University who couldn't squeeze in, and thought to themselves, that female professor is far away, but this beautiful admissions teacher is right in front of us. Fortunately, she was not allowed to get close to the young Xiao Yi. Yunbing frowned, feeling dissatisfied with these rough guys, so she reached out and pulled, and got into a space crack. At this moment, a stable space crack appeared above Xiao Yi's head, and a beautiful head popped out, with curiosity on her pretty face. What are you talking about in all this mystery? 9 rough guys heard the sound from above and looked up in shock. The spatial rift that can only be opened by the Supreme Realm? Is this the Supreme Realm? Fuck, I remember now. This person seems to be the vice president of Kunpeng College, one of the 8 colleges of Modi Academy. Kunpeng Twin Kings, Queen Kunpeng. It's actually Queen Kunpeng. The 9 rough guys were shocked, and then said in unison, Greetings to the Supreme Kunpeng. The strong are respected everywhere. The rough guys made way for Xiao Yi guiltily and said, We didn't say anything, we just talked about enrollment benefits. Yunbing nodded. So you guys have figured it out now? A rough guy smiled awkwardly. It seems not. Xiao Yi looked at the 9 rough guys and said, Everyone. I have made a choice. The rough guys all looked at Xiao Yi expectantly. They had thrown out all the benefits they should throw out, and it seemed that only Supreme Kunpeng did not mention any benefits. Xiao Yi should choose from their 9 academies. Xiao Yi said, I choose the Kunpeng Battle Academy of the Magic City Academy. Cheng Bingxi and Nangong Saya also nodded in agreement. Yes, the 3 of us will choose the Magic City Academy. The 9 rough guys were shocked and found it unbelievable. Supreme Kunpeng didn't say anything. And you guys are going to the Magic City Academy? It's outrageous. The charming sister Yunbing floated out of the space crack, jumped lightly on the ground, put her hands on her hips and said, "You are late, I have already discussed it with Xiaoyi yesterday." "Good fellow, we already discussed it yesterday. It seems like we all made this trip for nothing. It turns out that we are the ones who arrived late. Xiaoyi has been captured long ago. Sigh. I'm a little curious about what conditions the Magic City Academy offered." The 9 rough guys then realized that the Magic City Academy was so confident. Not because it was late, but because it had been recruiting students a long time ago. Yunbing did not answer them. At this time, the city lord Nan Gong Qidao came over and said with a smile, "The admissions teachers had not come here in vain. There are still many good talents in Mangyuan Bay City." The city lord waved his hand, and the guards brought in 3 young pairs from outside the hall. The Devil Disc Summoner, Wolf King Summoner, and Eagle Summoner are all S-level templates. These people are repeaters Jing Ran, Zimeng Xuan, Yi Loran and so on. Unfortunately, the 9 rough guys showed little interest after taking a look at it. The S-level template is too ordinary. There is no need for them to recruit them personally. Simply put, they looked down on it. Seeing that the admissions teachers looked lack of interest, Jing Ran, Zimeng Xuan and Yi Loran looked at Xiaoyi and the other 2 with complicated eyes. Just now, they were outside and vaguely heard the admissions teachers giving out benefits in order to win over Xiaoyi and the other 2. Although they are all candidates from the Mangyuan Bay City, their treatment is very different. Early the next morning, the city lord and his wife, Cheng Bingshi's parents, the director of the welfare home and Xiaoyi said goodbye. At Yunbing's suggestion, Xiaoyi, Cheng Bingshi and Nan Gongxia planned to follow Yunbing to leave Mangyuan Bay City and head to the Magic City Academy in the Super Bay City. Magic City, Magic City. Today, although the school in Shanghai will not start for another half a month, it would be good to get familiar with the environment first. The city lord and his wife gave Xiaoyi and the other 2 enough money for their trip. Cheng Bingshi's parents reminded them of things they should pay attention to, and Xiaoyi and the other 2 kept nodding their heads. "A good boy, you can actually contract to girls. Xiaoyi is indeed the most handsome boy in our welfare home." The old director of the welfare home cried with joy. The city lord consoled him, "Old man, you have worked hard these years. I will increase my investment in building a welfare home in the near future." The old man, the director of the welfare home, thanked you repeatedly, and then he said to Xiaoyi, "You little bastard, you must treat these 2 girls well and don't bully them. Otherwise I will break your legs when I come back." Xiaoyi smiled and said, "Grandpa, don't worry. If I treat them badly, you don't have to break my legs, they will break my legs first." Nan Gongxia and Cheng Bingshi blushed. Feeling a little embarrassed, they were not that tough, although they could be a little crazy sometimes. The charming lady chuckled and said, "Everything has been explained, then it's time to set off." Upon hearing this, the old man, the director of the welfare home, hurriedly approached Xiaoyi and whispered, "You little bastard, you've already found 2 girls. Why don't you just take this older girl as well? When she gives birth to a bunch of big fat boys, I'll take care of them." Xiaoyi glared, "Grandpa, are you serious?" The old man who was the director of the welfare home nodded and said, "Nonsense, of course it's true." Chapter 46 Yunbing's twin sister, Kunpeng Supreme Yanxi. Xiaoyi nodded and whispered, "I'll try my best." The charming and beautiful sister narrowed her eyes, revealing a dangerous gleam. This little scoundrel actually had evil intentions towards her. "Let's go." Xiaoyi and the other 2 boarded a helicopter under the gaze of everyone. The driver looked at the 3 people carrying large and small bags and smiled. "It takes about 10 days to travel from Mangyuan Bay City to Moda City. We will pass through for transfer stations along the way to resupply supplies. So you don't need to take so many things that are inconvenient to carry." Xiaoyi shook his head. The things in this bag were valuable, treasures that even the King Kong Supreme coveted. He couldn't bear to throw them away. A helicopter pilot said to Yunbing, who was standing on the ground, "Why don't you come up?" Yunbing raised her hand and pushed at the air. A 20-meter-long space crack appeared above the helicopter. She grinned and said, "Why go up there? I'm the one flying the plane." As he spoke, Yunbing kicked the helicopter, and with a bang, the helicopter was kicked into the space crack. Looking at the stunned city lord and his wife, Cheng Bingshi's parents, and the dean's old man, Yunbing smiled charmingly and said, "Why should I take a 10-day flight when I can get there in just 1 minute? Everyone, see you again." After Yunbing finished speaking, he drilled into the space crack that was about to heal and disappeared. The corner of the city lord Nan Gongqi Tao's mouth twitched, and he said, "Teacher is still so unique." Cheng Bingshi's parents nodded in agreement. The old man who was the director of the welfare home admired Yunbing, the older girl, even more, and thought to himself, "Such an interesting girl, that brat will definitely like her." And everyone dispersed. The super base city of Moda. which is halfway across Dragon Country from Mangyuan Base City, the villa area of Kunpeng Battle Academy of Modi Academy. A huge space crack suddenly appeared above the wide road outside Villa No. 2. Suddenly a helicopter fell out and crashed straight to the ground. It was about to hit the ground hard. But a mysterious woman with a cold temperament came out of Villa No. 1. She held the helicopter tripod firmly with one hand, and then lightly placed the helicopter on the ground. A mysterious woman said in a cold tone, "Yun Bing, come out quickly." Bang! Yun Bing jumped out of the space crack when he saw the mysterious woman. He said with joy, "Sister, you're back." This mysterious woman is called Yun Shi, her twin sister and the dean of Kunpeng Combat Academy. But compared to her charming and sexy self, her twin sister Yun Shi is like a piece of ice, keeping people away. The students call him the Iceberg Dean. Yun Shi also has an explosive figure, but she always wears thick robes that cover her body tightly and fail to show her curves. "Where did you throw this from? As the vice president, you should be more steady and not so careless," the indifferent Dean Yun Shi scolded. Yun Bing raised her eyebrows and retorted, "Sister, these three are the top scorers in this year's college entrance examination." The top scorer in the college entrance examination, Dean Yun Shi looked with her beautiful eyes at Xiao Yi and the other two who were staring at them curiously. The charming and royal sister Yun Bing said proudly, "Yes, I specially recruited them from the wilderness-based city. It took a lot of effort." "How's it going, sister? Am I awesome?" Yun Shi said expressionlessly. "Great." Yun Bing pouted and introduced to Xiao Yi and the others, "This is my sister, and she is also the dean of Kunpeng Battle Academy." "Hello, Dean." Xiao Yi and the other two greeted him. Yun Shi nodded and said coldly with a blank expression on her beautiful face, "Hello." Xiao Yi was stunned for a moment, then said inwardly, "Check the template." Template adjuster exploring. SSS level Kunpeng template, Yun Shi. Problem 1. Error in absorbing rule fragment crystals during awakening. Rule conflicts in the template, unable to conclude a contract with the opposite sex, can be fixed by changing the rule fragment crystal type. Problem 2. The Daoran leaked out due to the conflict of rules, causing certain nerves in the brain to become numb, and losing interest in anything in the outside world, manifested as a cold attitude. The Xuan Huang gem is needed to calm the abnormal Daoran. Nerve numbness? Xiao Yi thought that this teacher had facial paralysis, and it turned out to be a side effect caused by the conflict of template rules. "Since you have brought them here, you can arrange accommodation for them." With that, Dean Yun Shi went back to his villa, leaving behind only his back. "Okay." The charming sister Yun Bing blinked and said, "That's my sister, and she's also the dean of Kunpeng Battle Academy. Come with me, I'll arrange accommodation for you." Yun Bing directly brought Xiao Yi and the other two to Villa No. 2. That is the villa where her vice president lives. There are many rooms on the second floor. You can choose any one you want. I live on the third floor, so don't come up here if you don't have anything to do. It's the holiday season now. Wait until school starts in half a month and you've been assigned dormitories, then move in. Afterwards, Nan Gongxiao found a bedroom with a big bed. Old Cheng Bing she to clean it excitedly, and Xiao Yi took his bag and moved in. Nan Gongxiao and Cheng Bing she threw themselves on the bed and rolled around on the soft surface. Xiao Yi asked curiously, "Xiao, has the dean always been so cold?" Nan Gongxiao tilted her head and thought, "In my impression, Dean Yun Shi is always cold to everyone. I didn't see her many times when I was a child. She rarely appeared. But like my great-grandmother, she is called Queen Kunpeng. They are the Kunpeng Twin Kings and the Kunpeng Supreme." Seeing that Xiao Yi was so concerned about the beautiful Dean Yun Shi, whom he had just met, Cheng Bing she came to Xiao Yi suspiciously and touched her directly. After getting the desired result, she murmured, "Fortunately, I was not attracted by Dean Yun Shi's beauty." Xiao Yi's face was full of black lines. "He's simply curious, okay?" However, Yun Bing and Yun Shi both had serious side effects due to template problems. Yun Bing had a bad temper and was straightforward, while Yun Shi had a cold attitude and was not interested in the outside world. So Xiao Yi stared at Nan Gongxiao and said secretly, "Check the template." This was the first time he used the template adjuster to check on Nan Gongxiao. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level 5 Claude Golden Dragon template. Nan Gongxiao. Problem: the number of rule fragment crystals exceeds the limit. The violent energy will prevent her from having close contact with the opposite sex and will greatly increase her desires in certain aspects. It is necessary to combine the Xuan Wang gem to calm the excessive energy. Solution: a CU point massage. The investigation results made Xiao Yi suddenly realize, no wonder Nan Gongxiao has become so ferocious recently, pestering him crazily every day. It turns out that it was caused by the side effects of the template. Cheng Bing she wouldn't be that crazy. The degree of madness is very mild. For the sake of his own health, Xiao Yi decided to use the template adjuster and the Xuan Huang gem to alleviate the side effects of Nan Gongxiao, otherwise he would not be able to bear it. Sayo, let me give you a massage. Nan Gong Sayo was excited when she heard this, and said more urgently than Xiaoyi, okay, come on. Chapter 47, A Visit from the Second Man King Kong. Looking at the beautiful young girl who was being slaughtered on the bed, no, now she is a beautiful young woman. Xiaoyi began his massage journey. The skin is delicate and smooth. Xiaoyi massages according to the human acupuncture point map given by the template adjuster. There are 720 acupuncture points in the human body, including 50 to single acupuncture points, 309 double acupuncture points, and 50 extra meridian acupuncture points, and 50 extra meridian acupuncture points. Ren Ying point. Shui to point, Qihu point. From the front to the back, from the back to the crotch, and from the crotch to the soles of the feet. Xiaoyi massaged them carefully one by one. The techniques range from kneading to pricking to pressing, in a reciprocating cycle. After half an hour, the massage ended. Cheng Bingshi came over with a fragrant handkerchief and wiped the sweat off Xiaoyi's forehead. Template adjuster. SSS level 5 Claude Gold and Ragan template, Nangong Sayo upgradable. Problem, the excessive energy overflowing from the excessive rule fragment crystals is being temporarily suppressed. After Xiaoyi checked the results of the investigation, he felt relieved. In the following days, the beautiful young woman Nangong Sayo finally stopped pestering him every day. Xiaoyi looked at Nangong Sayo, whose face was flushed, and asked. Nangong Sayo tilted her head to feel it and said, "It feels sour and numb, very comfortable." Xiaoyi was speechless. This was not what he wanted to ask. Forget it, Nangong Sayo will notice changes in the next few days after all. Her desires have been reduced in certain aspects, and the one who benefits is him, Xiaoyi. Cheng Bingshi looked at Nangong Sayo, who was enjoying herself, came over and grabbed Xiaoyi's hand, and said expectantly, "I want a massage too." Xiaoyi opened the template adjuster and checked Cheng Bingshi's template. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level 9 tailed fox template, Cheng Bingshi upgradable. Problems, the template is stable at a low level, and the impact of spillover energy is slight. Oh my god. Xiaoyi has no way of dealing with this. According to this meaning, any template will become more or less unstable when it reaches a high level, thus causing side effects. In other words, the supreme beings at the end of Blue Star all had some problems. And it is a difficult problem to eliminate, because the unstable template will have an impact on the body every once in a while. Please, husband Xiaoyi. Seeing Xiaoyi frowning, Cheng Bingshi thought that he was unwilling. So she pouted and leaned over to act coquetous. The sound of this voice made Xiaoyi's bones go soft. No problem. Afterwards, Xiaoyi gave Cheng Bingshi a normal massage. 10 minutes later, the three dressed in formal attire ran downstairs to get some fresh air. It was now morning, and the sun was bright and warm. As a result, I saw a burly man standing outside the yard gate, peeking inside stealthily. He also muttered from time to time, "Sister Kun Peng should be at home. Damn it, they took away all my precious potions. My wife has been very unhappy with me these days." He said this with gritted teeth. "Today I must make Sister Kun Peng give me an explanation, and return a few bottles of medicine to me." Xiaoyi came to the gate of the yard and asked, "Who are you? What can I do for you?" Seeing the three young men whose faces looked slightly mature but not yet completely childish, the muscular man straightened his back and said with a smile, "You three are the top scorers in this year's college entrance examination, right?" Xiaoyi was surprised. "Yes. You know us?" A sturdy man jumped in from the courtyard door and said in a very pretentious and majestic tone, "Of course, maybe you don't know me, but you must have heard of the 10 great lords of the Demon City." Cheng Bingshi and Nangong Sayo narrowed their eyes and asked in surprise, "Could it be that you are?" "That's right." A proud look appeared on the sturdy face of the big man. "I am the King Kong Supreme, one of the 10 Supremes of the Demon City." "Well, the King Kong Supreme, who ranks at the bottom of the 10 Supremes," he added in his heart. "It's actually the King Kong Supreme. The Supreme, so powerful." Nangong Sayo's eyes were full of admiration. Pure respect and admiration. Xiaoyi and Cheng Bingshi also showed expressions of respect. The famous and extremely powerful Supreme has made great achievements against the Dragon Kingdom and deserves respect from everyone. Feeling the respect and admiration of the three top scorers in the college entrance examination, King Kong Supreme was very satisfied. "Yes, you must take me as an example, so that you can become the Supreme in the future. Like me, I will become a respected figure and make great contributions to the country." The Supreme King Kong turned his back to Xiaoyi and the other two, with his hands behind his back, looking quite impressive. Suddenly a sexy and pleasant voice came from the window on the 3rd floor. "Isn't this the second man, King Kong? How come you have time to come to my place today? By the way, last time you said that you would become an instant man if you ran out of potions. Is that true?" The pretending King Kong Supreme froze in place, and the smile on his face rose. He secretly glanced at the 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination and found that Xiao Yi and the other 2 were looking at him with suspicion, as if to say, "Yours is the second best?" Social death. King Kong Supreme almost fell down. He finally established a lofty image in the minds of the 3 evil college entrance examination champions. But it collapsed in less than a second. King Kong Supreme was so angry that he shouted angrily, "Old Virgin Kunpeng, give me back my medicine." He jumped up to the 3rd floor and entered the boudoir of Yunbing, the charming and domineering lady on the 3rd floor of the villa, through the window. "I am the great King Kong Supreme. You must give me an explanation today and return the bottles of medicine to me." The powerful voice of Bara Supreme came from above. But then, bang bang, bang, lang. "Stop hitting my face. How can I go out if my face is swollen? It hurts. Stop kicking me or my balls will explode." From the 3rd floor came the wailing screams of the Supreme King Kong. 10 minutes passed before it gradually subsided. In a flash, Yunbing grabbed King Kong Supreme by the collar, jumped down from the 3rd floor, threw him on the ground, and said coldly, "Don't come into my boudoir on the 3rd floor without permission." The bruised and battered King Kong Supreme begged for mercy again and again. "No, I won't go again." The charming and royal sister Yunbing let go of King Kong Supreme and asked, "Why did you come to my place? You gave me those medicines, so why would you want to take them back?" The corner of King Kong Supreme's mouth twitched, and he thought to himself, "Was that a gift from me to you? That was snatched away by you, okay?" Cheng Gang, who was tactful, did not say anything, because he realized that this trip was most likely a wasted one. However, it is also quite nice to get to know the 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination. Cheng Gang looked at Xiao Yi and the other 2 and was about to say something. It turned out that, apart from the 2 female top scorers, Xiao Yi had been staring at my crotch. What was going on? "Second man," Xiao Yi muttered in a low voice. But everyone present heard it. Everyone present couldn't help but look at King Kong Supreme Cheng Gang with strange eyes. Cheng Gang, a sturdy man who had just stood up, almost fell down because of his slipped foot. Social death, social death. Could you please stop mentioning this? Chapter 48. Charming Queen Yunbing's physical defects. Xiao Yi uses the template adjuster. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level diamond template contractor, Cheng Gang. Problem. He was too anxious to upgrade his realm and neglected to lay a solid foundation, which resulted in an unstable template after entering the Supreme Realm and the leakage of the Dao Rhyme of the rules, causing some defects in his body. Commonly known as the Fast Boy. Temporary solution. The Xuan Huang gemstone pounds and absorbs the leaked Dao Rhyme of rules. After the girl reaches adulthood and awakens the template, the man and the woman sign a contract. The template is shared by both parties and will affect both parties at all times, rather than just the woman being affected by the template. Xiao Yi would also be affected by the 5-clawed golden dragon super limit template, but as he possessed the Xuan Huang gem, the Xuan Huang gem would passively calm the leaked super limit energy at all times. So Xiao Yi would not be adversely affected under normal circumstances. Fast boy? Xiao Yi was speechless. It turned out that the physical defect was caused by the template problem. Xiao Yi looked at the slightly uncomfortable King Kong Supreme and asked, "Senior, do you really need those medicines?" Xiao Yi felt that it would be okay to give him a few more bottles. Everyone present was watching. How could Cheng Gang dare to admit it? He didn't want to save face. So he shook his head violently and said in a firm tone, "No, I don't need any medicine at all. I am the Supreme King Kong. I don't need any medicine." Xiao Yi asked, "Actually, I have a way to solve your current physical defects." Hearing this, Cheng Gang's body trembled violently. Physical defects. How did he know I was physically disabled? Xiao Yi continued, "I have an ancestral massage technique that can solve many types of physical defects, including fast boy defects. Senior, do you want to give it a try?" King Kong Supreme Cheng Gang smiled bitterly. "Since you all know it, I have nothing to hide. I do have a physical defect in this area." Cheng Gang took Xiao Yi's hand and ran to the 1st floor of the villa, saying expectantly, "Little brother, come and press it for me." The fact that he could say the words physical defect showed that this Xiao Qi had something and was not talking nonsense. Cheng Gang wanted him to give it a try. Yunbing looked at the 2 people who entered the 1st floor and said, "This King Kong is finally brave for once." 10 minutes later, Cheng Gang hugged Xiao Yi's shoulders and walked out of the villa with their arms around each other. "Little brother, you are amazing. It actually works." "Of course, senior. This is a technique passed down from my ancestors and has been passed down for thousands of years. Don't call me senior, it's too polite. Call me Brother Cheng. From now on you are my brother." "Brother Cheng, I have something urgent to do and I'll talk to you next time." Aura Supreme Cheng Gang hurriedly tore through the space and left. Nangong Xiao and Cheng Bingshi were a little curious about what he was going to do in such a hurry. Dislike walking to slowly tear the space apart directly. This is too hasty. A charming Lady Yunbing stared at Xiao Yi with curiosity on her pretty face and asked, "Is your ancestral technique really so magical, that it can cure any physical defect?" Yunbing thought about the energy in his body becoming more and more violent, and his temper became more and more irritable. "Would you like a massage too?" Xiao Yi did not make any promises, and said, "I can't guarantee that it can solve any physical defects. This method is not like Huatuo, who is alive and can cure all diseases. So it just so happens that King Kong Supreme can solve it." Yunbing showed regret on his face. Excessive and violent energy is generated in her body every once in a while. She believes this is a physical defect. Otherwise, why don't other supreme beings have this condition? But she does. Since Xiao Yi's method doesn't work, forget it. Yunbing twisted her sexy waist and walked towards the villa in a depressed mood, saying sadly, "You three can take this opportunity to familiarize yourself with the environment of the Magic City Academy. You won't have time after school starts." Xiao Yi looked at her dejected back and shouted, "Sister Yunbing, there is actually a way, but the process is a bit complicated." Yunbing's eyes lit up. She came back and pulled Xiao Yi up to the third floor. The third floor is decorated in a simple style. Xiao Yi sat on the sofa, looking around curiously. There is not much difference from the second floor, except that there are some scattered and unorganized clothes, stockings, underwear, etc. Yunbing didn't care about that and asked urgently, "Xiao Yi, you just said the process is complicated. How complicated is it?" Xiao Yi looked at Yunbing's mature body and responded, "This set of ancestral massage techniques is a CU point massage. There are 720 acupuncture points in the human body, located in various parts of the body. Some acupuncture points are located in more private parts, so it is not convenient for me to massage you." The charming Sister Yunbing blushed and said, "You mean, your ancestral massage technique is a full body massage, and you have to take off your clothes?" Xiao Yi nodded, his eyes clear as he said, "That's right, take it all off." The charming and domineering Yunbing's pupils shrank and she took a step back. After living for so long, she is still a bachelor and has never even touched a man. She really can't take off all her clothes in front of a young man like Xiao Yi. Or rather, she found it a little difficult to overcome that barrier in her heart. But Yunbing wanted to solve her physical defects. The violent energy made her very uncomfortable and she was often in a bad mood. Xiao Yi stood up and went down the stairs back to the second floor before leaving. He said, "Tell me when you figure it out. I can give Sister Yunbing a massage anytime." Yunbing frowned her beautiful eyebrows, feeling very conflicted. The reason why didn't let Xiao Yi give the massage directly. First, she couldn't be sure that Xiao Yi's massage techniques were effective. And second, she would have to pay the price of being seen and touched naked. If the massage has no effect, then her loss will be too great. And Xiao Yi experiment on the coward King Kong using his ancestral massage techniques? And I'll ask King Kong whether it works. The charming and domineering Sister Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up. I decided to catch King Kong Supreme and ask him some questions in the next few days. If it is really effective, it is not impossible for her to ask Xiao Yi for a massage. Xiao Yi returned to the second floor and was grabbed by Nangong Saya, on Chengbing Shi and dragged to the bedroom. "Xiao Yi, it's time for us to practice." "Yes. It's been more than 10 days since the college entrance examination, and we are still at Grandmaster 1 star. School will start in half a month. Let's take advantage of this time to practice more and strive to improve our realm." Nangong Sayo and Chengbing, she said, coquettously lie on Xiao Yi's left and right. Xiao Yi nodded and agreed. During the period after the college entrance examination, he was harassed by Nangong Sayo every day, and with Chengbing Shi's occasional intrusion, he had no energy to practice, and the realm of the three of them remained at the 1-star Grandmaster level. Now that Nangong Sayo's bad habits have improved, he can also take a breath and reserve his energy for cultivation. Xiao Yi walked to the cabinet and took out a big bag. After opening it, 30 bottles of medicine appeared, 30 crystal cores, a small notebook, and a pair of fragrant black stockings. Xiao Yi took out 30 crystal cores, 10 Grandmasters low-grade crystal cores, 10 Grandmasters medium-grade crystal cores, and 10 Grandmasters high-grade crystal cores. Each crystal core was filled with a faint fragrance. Xiao Yi sniffed it quietly and thought to himself, "Oh no, these crystal core stones have been marinated with the flavor of the stockings." Chapter 49, Cultivation and Improvement. Angry Yunbing. "Pick it up and put it in front of your nose and smell it. It smells really good." Nangong Sayo saw Xiao Yi doing something sneaky and shouted, "Hurry up! Xiao Yi, we can't wait any longer." As she spoke, she was about to walk towards the cabinet. Xiao Yi took a deep breath, quickly put the black stockings into the bag, and then tied it up. Xiao Yi is an upright person and would not bother to do anything obscene. He just wanted to smell the scent, and he believed that Yunbing would not mind. Xiao Yi pulled Nangong Sayo back and said, "This is the top prize money Sister Yunbing gave us. 10 of each of low grade, medium grade, and high grade, all of which are Grandmaster crystal cores. A lower grade Grand Master crystal cores are produced by 1 to 3 star Grand Master beasts, the middle grade ones are 4 to 6 star, and the upper grade ones are produced by 7 to 10 star Grand Master beasts. Seeing so many crystal cores, Nan Gongxiao and Sheng Bingxi were extremely excited. They kissed Xiao Yi's left and right cheeks with red lips excitedly. Nan Gongxiao counted on her fingers, for mid-grade Grand Master crystal cores can upgrade hour to summon beasts to Grand Master for stars. But for top-grade Grand Master crystal cores, or to summon beasts can be upgraded to Grand Master level 7 stars. And let's summon our contracted beasts and practice quickly, Sheng Bingxi said softly. The three of them understood the situation and came to a very spacious training room in the underground space at the same time. They mobilized the contract power of the template and communicated the template summoning rules. Yin. A crisp dragon roar sounded. Rabbit eyes, deer antlers, cow mouth, camel head, tiger paws, eagle claws, fish scales, snake body. The three two-headed golden dragon appeared and hovered in the air, covered with golden scales and shining with sacred light. The dragon's whiskers stood forked, and its golden eyes with vertical pupils exuded an inexplicable sense of oppression. The two-tailed holy white fox also appeared on the ground, emitting a holy and mysterious aura that made people feel noble and holy at a glance. Fortunately, the basement is 10 meters high and 20 meters long and wide, which is enough to accommodate to summon beasts. Under Xiao Yi's control, the three two-headed golden dragon swallowed to mid-grade Grand Master crystal cores in one gulp. A two-tailed holy white fox was also under Xiao Yi's control. It held to mid-grade Grand Master crystal cores in its two little paws and began to practice. While practicing the magic beast cultivation method, a huge amount of complex energy was extracted from the crystal core and began to be refined into pure energy for absorption. Nan Gongxiao asked with some doubt, "Why does this crystal core have a fragrance?" Xiao Yi explained, "It was probably Sister Yunbing who sprayed perfume on the crystal core." Nan Gongxiao whispered, "Why do I feel like it's body odor? Grandma never wears perfume, and her body has a very sweet body odor." "Yes, that's the smell." Xiao Yi thought to himself. "No wonder it smells so good. I want to inhale it again." After taking a sip, it turns out that this is a unique body fragrance. This unique scent beats all the perfumes on the market in the past. One will refresh your mind, 2 puffs will make you feel like a god. When practicing, I couldn't feel the passage of time. Then 5 days passed quickly. The 3 two-headed golden dragon was promoted to the 4-star Grandmaster level. The two-tailed holy white fox has also reached the 4-star Grandmaster level. Both of them now possessed immense power, and were filled with a richer sense of artistic conception, and their understanding of their own talents and skills deepened. A total of 8 Grandmaster mid-grade crystal cores were consumed. Xiao Bingxi, let's continue and practice until school starts. Yeah, okay. The 2 SSS level template summon beasts started their training journey again. On the 3rd floor, Yunbing, a charming lady with a ripe peach figure, was lying on the sofa with a look of annoyance on her face. Qian kept pressing the number on the communicator with her bare hands, and kept saying, "This coward King Kong didn't even answer the phone. 5 days have passed. I wonder if he has passed away. I can't get through to him every day. Oh, I'm so anxious. Does the massage technique work? Did the coward King Kong solve the fast boy's defects?" Yunbing's pretty face was filled with worry. The energy in her body had been going wild again over the past few days, making her very irritable. If you want to vent this energy, you have to hit someone. But the cowardly sparring partner King Kong disappeared again. Bang! Yunbing crushed the cute little communicator with one hand. He stood up and said, "If I can't get through on the phone, I'll go find him." "Well, let him be your sparring partner first, and then ask about the massage effect." As he spoke, Yunbing tore the crack in space and jumped in. After a while, Yunbing came back with a look of surprise on her face. A few days ago, King Kong Supreme and his wife went to the border to suppress sea beasts. They will probably be back in 10 days, which is around the time when the Magic City Academy starts school. Yunbing had no choice but to wait until school started. So she took off all her clothes and went into the bathroom to take a cold shower to calm her temper. Looking at the large reverse mirror on the wall, Yunbing said with determination, looking at the explosive curves and delicate skin, "If the massage is very effective, I will ask Xiao Yi to give me a massage. I don't want to endure this damn violent energy anymore." To solve this physical defect, Yunbing placed his hope on Xiao Yi's ancestral massage techniques. "Hey, I haven't seen Xiao Yi and the others these days. Where have they been?" Yunbing released his divine sense and scanned the entire Kunpeng Battle Academy, and found that Xiao Yi and the other two were in the underground training room. Grandmaster level for stars. Yunbing was a little surprised as expected of the top scorers in the college entrance examination. Their SSS level templates were much more amazing than ordinary SSS level templates. Ouch! Yunbing was suddenly hit on the back of her head and she made a sound of pain. "Ooh, it's me." Yun Shi, who had a cold temperament, said inferently. Yun Bing, I told you not to use your divine sense to scan the academy indiscriminately. What if I'm taking a shower? Wouldn't you see me naked? Shame. Yun Bing felt speechless and pointed at herself and said, Sister, what am I doing? Then she glanced at Yun Bing's uncovered body and asked in confusion, You're taking a shower, what's wrong? Yun Bing cursed, Yunshi, you asked me not to scan your villa with my divine sense because you were afraid that I would spy on your privacy. But have you ever thought about it? I have my own privacy too. Go, go. Go quickly. Yun Bing stood up and pushed Yunshi out. Yunshi looked cold and glanced at her a few times. Then said calmly, We are twin sisters. I have what you have, so why are you so shy? Really? Yun Bing's mouth twitched if that's what you said. Then why did you come to my place? What's wrong with my divine sense scanning your villa? Yunshi went back and Yun Bing continued to take a cold bath. Before I knew it, 10 days had passed quickly. This day is the opening day of the school in the Magic City, and it is also the opening day of all colleges and universities in Dragon Country. The Magic City Academy has 8 colleges, and the Kunpeng Combat Academy also has many new faces. The corridors of the college are full of prosperity and youth. Xiao Yi and the other two also finished their training, and the realm of their to summon beasts was upgraded to Grandmaster 7 stars. Chapter 50, Yun Bing Brand Black Sachet, Student Union Attacks. After finishing their training, the three returned to the second floor and took a bath together. Xiao Yi walked out refreshed. After putting on his clothes, Xiao Yi felt like something was missing. Yes, perfume. Nangong Sayo and Cheng Bingshi both spray perfume, so he should also spray some perfume. Since you are wearing perfume, you must choose a unique and refreshing scent. So Xiao Yi went to the cabinet, opened the bag, took out a black thing from it, rolled it into a round bag, and put it in his pocket. The rich and subtle fragrance spread out, and in a short while, Xiao Yi's body was filled with the fragrance, and one wanted to smell it again and again. With this stuff, there's no need to wear perfume. Limited edition Yun Bing Brand Black Sachet, Xiao Yi gave it a name. Afterwards, Xiao Yi, Nangong Saya and Cheng Bing she went to the college to register their grade in formation, and were assigned dormitories and classes. The three were assigned to the elite class. The dormitory is a villa in the villa area, not far from Yun Bing's villa. The three of them moved the gifts to Villa No. 101 and then went to the cafeteria to eat. The three of them found out on the way that since Vice President Yun Bing loved food, he had changed the canteen's menu many times a long time ago, leaving behind many very distinctive and delicious dishes. When entering the cafeteria, Xiao Yi received a call. It was the call from King Kong Supreme Cheng Gang. Hey, are you free today, little brother? I'm going back today, and I want you to give me a massage. Xiao Yi nodded and asked, No problem. Come if you want, but how was the effect after you went back last time? Xiao Yi was a little curious whether Chenggang would still be the superboy after the massage. The joyful laughter of King Kong Supreme came from the communicator. Little brother's massage technique is really effective. After I went back last time, I realized that all my treasured potions were garbage. Your massage effect is second to none in the world. No one dares to claim it's first. Xiao Yi said modestly, It's okay, that's a technique that my family has passed down for more than 1,000 years. And I have been practicing diligently for 18 years since I was a child. Young man, you're really hard working. Not only does he have a skill, but he's also the top scorer in the college entrance examination. The Vara Supreme Chenggang could imagine the scene of Xiao Yi practicing hard until midnight every day with sweat dripping down his face. If the system could speak, it would definitely look down on Xiao Yi. What the hell are you practicing? The massage techniques all rely on the guidance of the adjuster template. Okay, then it's settled. I'll come to see you in the afternoon. Vara Supreme Chenggang hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Xiao Yi put away the phone, and took the beautiful young woman, Nangong Sayo and the tall and white-legged Cheng Bingshi into the cafeteria. The appearance of the two extremely beautiful girls quickly attracted the attention of the senior students of the college who were having meals in the cafeteria. Everyone was amazed at the stunning looks of the two girls and voted them as the best of the class on the spot. But when the old students saw the handsome young man lying Xiao Yi sandwiched between the two beautiful girls, they all gnashed their teeth. You are so handsome, and it's okay for you to own a school, but what's the matter with you being surrounded by girls? Xiao Yi and the other two ignored these people and went straight to the window to order a few specialties, then walked to the corner of the cafeteria with their plates. The three of them ordered the special noodles, which smelled super stinky but tasted super delicious. When the three lids were opened, an extremely foul smell wafted out. The senior students around were all stunned and exclaimed, This year's freshmen are so fierce. They ordered the store's treasure, Flying Lion Pink, right after the school started. I bet they'll dump the powder out in 10 seconds. I think so. I've never seen anyone who can withstand such a stench all at once. Just as the old students were making bets, Xiao Yi also saw how unique it was, so he took out the black Yun Bing brand sachet and put it next to his nose to dispel the stench. It's a real pleasure to smell the fragrance and eat the delicious food. Xiao Yi and the other two ate with a normal look on their faces. Nan Gong Xiao and Cheng Bing Shi are both foodies, and there is nothing they can't eat. The senior students pinched their noses and gave Xiao Yi and the other two a thumbs up, saying, "Awesome." Speaking of new students, our college student union will be mandatory recruiting again. The old students showed a look of deep disgust on their faces and said angrily, "Those damn people, relying on their family background, have stayed in the academy for 10 years without graduating, and their people have penetrated the entire student union. The top student in our sophomore class was forcibly recruited by them and suffered a lot. What will happen if I don't join the student union? I'll just squat on you every day and create trouble for you. Isn't that forcing people? Will it be useful to sue the teacher? It's useless. Many teachers are their people." Suddenly at this moment, a group of more than 10 old students who looked very pretentious walked into this corner carrying plates. They said in a tough manner, clear the place, clear the place. Oh, eat over there. This is the dining area designated by our student union. Get lost." The faces of the old students changed and looked ugly. All the seats in this cafeteria are public areas. There is no such thing as a private dining area. However, they obediently carried their plates with only half of the dishes left and walked to the other side of the cafeteria. This group of senior students from the student union showed a look of satisfaction on their faces. A few people who were obviously errand boys saw Xiao Yi and the other two still eating in the corner and didn't seem to be leaving, so they stepped forward to chase them away. "You three, hurry up and go over there," the student union brothers said in a very arrogant attitude, and suddenly they smelled something. "Oh my god. Why does this smell so disgusting?" They pinched their noses and their faces turned red from the smoke. The student union member was very angry and said, "What the hell did you order? Fice high powder? You can actually eat this." Xiao Yi smelled the black sachet, glanced at him and said, "What's the matter? Is it your business?" "Ew." The student union brother glared at them and was about to rush forward to chase them away, but at this moment, the leader of the group, who had a blue dragon tattoo on his exposed arm, stopped him. The tattooed man carefully looked at Xiao Yi and the other two for a while, then said with a smile, "If I'm not mistaken, you are the 3 top scorers in this year's college entrance examination, right?" The student union members were all surprised when they heard this. The top scorer in the college entrance examination. They were just looking for these 3 people and they met them so soon. Xiao Yi felt that these people were not kind, so he said, "Don't you have eyes? Are you the only one who is so arrogant in the student union? Can't you see clearly with high myopia? President, this guy is too arrogant. Look. I'm going to slap him twice." The student union member couldn't stand it anymore and was about to step forward while shouting angrily. The other members of the student union also frowned and looked at Xiao Yi with an unhappy expression. The tattooed young man, the president of the student union, stopped him, looked down at Xiao Yi and the other two, and said with a fake smile, "I'll give you a chance to get promoted. How about joining the student union?" Although what he said was a question, his tone was a statement and he did not allow Xiao Yi to refuse. Chapter 51. Angry at the student council president, King Kong Supreme is here. Facing the aggressive group of people, Xiao Yi was calm and said calmly, "What are the benefits of joining the student union?" If Xiao Yi remembered correctly, when Yun Bing, the vice president of Kunpeng Combat Academy, invited him to join the academy, he offered him the benefit of becoming the president of the student union, but he refused. Later, Yun Bing gave him a sinecure, which seemed to be called assistant to the dean. In Xiao Yi's impression, the student union is just a group of tools working for the school. They are busy every day but get no benefits. But now it seems that the student union is a little different. Upon hearing this, the president of the Blue Dragon Tattoo student union immediately smiled and said, "There are many benefits to the student union." His attitude obviously improved, and he continued to talk to Xiao Yi and the other two in a boastful manner. In the college, the student union is the official student organization of the college. It manages the students and provides many conveniences. I can also frequently come into contact with the 2 goddess deans. When talking about the goddess dean, his eyes were filled with little stars of admiration and love. When the other people in the group heard the words goddess dean, their faces also showed expressions of longing and admiration. In Kunpeng Battle Academy, the 2 Kunpeng kings, Dean Yun Shi and Vice Dean Yun Bing, are the dream lovers in the hearts of all male students. They are noble goddesses who can be admired from afar but not desecrated. Xiao Yi was surprised. That's it? As soon as Xiao Yi took the Yun Bing black sachet away from his nose, he smelled the super stinky smell of Fice high powder. So he put the Yun Bing black sachet next to his nose again, using the rich fragrance to dispel the odor. I inhaled a faint fragrance and felt much better. The president of the student union looked arrogant and said proudly, "Of course. Isn't it for these 2 things that I joined the student union? This group of student union students echoed, "That's right. One is power, and the other is being able to see the goddess up close." Xiao Yi smelled the fragrance and said with disdain, "I thought the student union was some kind of prestigious organization. But this is it? Just a bunch of self-righteous trash. You really think of yourself as an official organization of the academy?" The faces of the student union members darkened and they almost broke down. The student union president laughed. These words were not enough to make him angry. Nan Gongxiao and Cheng Bingshi also said with disdain, "You chased people away from a meal. Do you think you are a bully? If you don't graduate in 10 years, you will just rely on your family's background to bully others in the academy. If I asked you to go out and hunt monsters, you'll probably pee your pants in fear. Damn, this bitch has a bad mouth." Not graduating in 10 years meant him. The other members of the student union graduated normally and for years, but he was the only one who was able to skip graduation for 10 years because his family elders had some relationship with the dean and vice dean. The student union was broken down when they saw the president. And everyone looked at each other in bewilderment. Most of them are sophomores, a few are juniors, but none of them are seniors. The seniors had long since left the student union and headed to the ocean border to fight sea beasts. It can be said that in the student union, the president is the only senior. The president of the student union had a gloomy face and was about to say something, but was interrupted by Xiao Yi. "No need to say more. We will not join this kind of pornographic organization." As Xiao Yi finished eating Fai's high noodles, he pulled Nan Gongxiao and Cheng Bingshi out of the cafeteria and came to the wide road. "Fuck, he's too arrogant, even more arrogant than when I first entered the school. Everyone, chase him and teach him a lesson." The student union president's words caused the others to refute. "Boss, this is not good, beating someone up at the beginning of the school year, and beating up the top scorer in the college entrance examination. What if the higher-ups blame us? Yes, our student union has some power, so it's okay to give them some trouble in school, but if they beat people up for no reason, it will be a big deal." Yes, it's not a big deal to chase people away from dinner, but they are the top scorers in the college entrance examination. The president of the student union had a face as black as charcoal and said impatiently, "What are you afraid of? I'll take care of it if anything happens. I said so. Go out and beat him up, quick." But the others looked at each other, and no one took any action. "You guys," the student union president was furious but helpless. "Boss, forget it, it's enough for us to find a chance to create some trouble in their lives. Yeah, once a day. They can't stand it, and they will definitely join the student union later." Other members of the student union tried to persuade them. The president of the student union sighed and said sternly, "Then do as you say. As long as these 3 people join the student union, he will find all kinds of reasons to beat people up even if someone above is paying attention. He can't say anything according to his 10 years of experience. Almost no one above will pay attention to the internal affairs of the student union." After that, these people started to eat, and the communicator of the student union president with the blue dragon tattoo rang, and the call was connected. Student union president Cheng Yi's face changed. It was a call from his father Cheng Gang. His father Cheng Gang had been very strict with him since he was a child, and he was a little afraid of his father in his heart. "Hey, Xiao Yi, I'll come to your college later." A rough voice came from the other side. Upon hearing this, President Cheng Yi's pupils shrank, and he asked cautiously, "Dad, why did you come to the academy? Are you here to beat him? Or urge him to go to the sea beast battlefield, or enter the examination department?" Cheng Yi didn't want to go to any of these places. He just wanted to stay in Kunpeng College and be the president of the student union. "I'm here to meet a good friend," Cheng Gang said excitedly. "I'll introduce you to him when I get there." "A friend? In Kunpeng Academy? A new strong man?" President Cheng Yi's eyes lit up. His father was the supreme being, and a good friend of the supreme being must be at least a great venerable, right? Cheng Yi was so excited to meet the great venerable that he forgot about what happened to Xiao Yi just now. "Grandmaster, Grandmaster, Grandmaster, Venerable, Great Venerable. Supreme. Each great realm is divided into 10 small levels." "Sure, Dad. Just call me when the time comes and I'll come right over." Cheng Yi was very excited. Cheng Gang smiled and said, "Okay. But you have to behave better when the time comes. He is my good brother." Cheng Yi repeatedly assured, "No problem." After hanging up the phone, Cheng Yi boasted to the students, "I'm going to meet a great venerable later. You guys eat while I change my clothes and prepare some gifts." The students in the student union were very envious and exclaimed, "Fuck, great venerable, awesome." As expected of the Supreme Lord's son, the boss is mighty. "Boss, please introduce us to each other when the time comes." President Cheng Yi dusted off his butt and left the cafeteria amid everyone's envious gazes. At this time Xiao Yi, who was strolling in the academy with 2 beautiful girls, Nan Gongxiao and Cheng Bingshi, received a call from the Vara Supreme Cheng Gang. The other end said enthusiastically and excitedly, "Little brother, I'm here." Chapter 52, calling uncle. Villa No. 1. Lakeview, Villa area. Kong Supreme Chengang came into the yard, looked around, and said with a smile. This place is nice, little brother. It has a lakeview, a small courtyard, and a villa. This is the villa assigned to Xiaoyi, where he lives with Nangong Xiao and Chengbingxi. Not bad, Xiaoyi responded. Kong Supreme picked up a bag and gave it to Xiaoyi. This is the shark root and shark's act of the great sea shark master. I don't need it anymore, so I'm giving it to you. You youngsters probably won't be able to use this yet, but it's nice to have as a collection. Xiaoyi took it and opened it. Sure enough, it was a bit scary because of its thickness. Since it's a gift from Brother Cheng, I'll accept it. Nangong Xiao and Chengbingxi came over to take a look curiously, their pretty faces slightly blushing. I'll make tea. I'll do the laundry. The two of them ran away. Xiaoyi touched his chin and thought to himself, in the past nights when you were as fierce as wolves and tigers, you were not shy at all. Are you embarrassed now just because of something like this? I understand. Vara Supreme Chengang did not have any airs as a supreme powerful being. He gave Xiaoyi a look that said, I understand, in a very friendly manner. Little brother, how do you feel about the start of school? Chengang asked. Xiaoyi frowned and said, it's okay. Chengang saw that Xiaoyi didn't look very happy, so he said with a gloomy face, Little brother, did something happen to you? You can tell me. Whoever dares to embarrass my brother, I will kill him. Now Xiaoyi is his benefactor. He solved his long-standing physical defects and allowed him to hold his head up in front of his wife. If anyone dares to make things difficult for Xiaoyi, the Supreme King Kong, will be the first to disagree. Xiaoyi didn't want to say it at first, but Chengang had already spoken, so he said, it's not a big deal. I just encountered a few self-righteous people who relied on their family's power to bully others and act lawlessly in the academy. What? King Kong Supreme Chengang was furious. How could there be such a blatant and corrupt student in the academy? Xiaoyi patted Chengang on the shoulder and sighed. Yeah, so what? This is not something I can solve. And I heard that guy's family is very powerful. King Kong Supreme Chengang said angrily, Little brother, did that man bully you? Who is he? If anyone dares to bully my brother Chengang, I will beat him up. So what if he has power? Don't worry. Little brother, no matter how powerful he is, I dare to teach him a lesson. Seeing Chengang so enthusiastic, Xiaoyi thought for a moment and said, that person is from the student union, and I don't know his name. Chengang continued. It doesn't matter, my son will be here later. He is very familiar with this academy and must know who that person is. As he spoke, Chenggang's communicator rang, and after it was connected, a voice came from the other end. Dad, I'm outside the yard of Villa 1 in the No. 3 Lake Scenic Area. Come pick me up. Chengang responded. Coming. After hanging up the phone, Chengang smiled and said, Little brother, my son is also a senior at Kunpeng Battle Academy, and is very familiar with the academy. If you have any difficulties in the future, you can ask him or call me. We will definitely help you solve it. Xiaoyi felt that this Vara Supreme Chengang was very heartwarming. Thank you very much, Brother Cheng. Chengang waved his hand to indicate that you're welcome, and went out to open the courtyard door and welcomed in a senior student with a green dragon tattoo on his arm. His name is Cheng Yi, and he is the president of the student union. Cheng Yi shouted with a smile, Dad, the place where your good friend lies has a beautiful view. Chengang slapped him on the head and repeatedly warned him, nonsense. He's my brother. Remember to call me uncle when you go in, and be nicer. Cheng Yi felt pain and repeatedly assured him, patting his chest and saying, Dad, don't worry, I am still very accomplished in socializing. He was carrying a bag of Longjing tea, which was said to be tea picked from the edge of the Jiaoyilong deep pond. It was rare and very precious. Chengang nodded, looked Cheng Yi up and down, pulled down the folded long sleeves on his arm to cover the green raganatu, and after he felt that there was no problem, he closed the yard door and led him into the living room of the villa. When Cheng Yi followed Chengang into the living room, before he could see clearly, a look of respect appeared on his face, and he shouted, Uncle, I have heard of your great name for a long time. Seeing you today, it is indeed well deserved. But a second later, Wei and Xiaoyi stared at each other and exclaimed, Why is it you? Xiaoyi frowned and asked, Are you Brother Cheng's son? Chengang saw the tense atmosphere and realized something was wrong. He asked in confusion, Little brother, do you know each other? Xiaoyi's mouth twitched. This person is the one I told you about. He never imagined that the president of the student union was actually the son of King Kong Supreme Chengang. Walter. A question mark appeared on King Kong Supreme's face, then he flew into a rage and slapped Cheng Yi on the back of the head. There was a loud bang and Cheng Yi was hit and embedded into the ground, leaving a small hole. Chengang said angrily, So that little brat with a bad character is you? And he went up and kicked Cheng Yi twice on the buttocks from the sound of the bangs. You can imagine how much force he used. Ouch, it hurts, Cheng Yi screamed in pain, his nose and face swollen. Dad, I don't know what kind of corrupt character you are, he cried miserably. King Kong Supreme Chenggang always paid attention to the cultivation of family tradition and quality. He was usually very strict on these 2 points. He angrily beat and scolded. You little bastard. You are so arrogant you rely on your parents' status as the supreme rulers to bully others in the academy. Fortunately it was my little brother who reminded us, otherwise we wouldn't have known what was going on and would have thought you were studying hard in the academy. Chenggang became angrier and angrier as he fought, and after 10 minutes the ground on the first floor almost collapsed. Chengyi cried out in pain from being beaten, but he didn't dare to refute or fight back. At this time, he no longer had that arrogant demeanor, and he looked as miserable as a drowned dog. Xiaoyu was watching all this with a smile on his face, eating his paws and drinking tea, which was quite interesting to watch. Inkon Supreme Chenggang stopped only when he saw a hole in the ground on the first floor, through which he could see the underground training room. He smiled at Xiaoyu a little embarrassed. Sorry, I got addicted to playing and accidentally broke the ground. Xiaoyu waved his hand and said, It's okay if you're not satisfied, just keep fighting, I don't mind. Chenggang's eyes lit up. It just so happened that he hadn't had enough fun playing and his hands were itching. Cheng Yi, who was beaten to the ground, shuddered when he heard this. He got up from the ground with great difficulty, knelt in front of Xiao Yi, and begged for mercy. Uncle Xiao, I was wrong. I'll find someone to fix this hole. Please don't make any more. If you keep fighting, I'll be dead. Chapter 53. Yun Bing, the cowardly King Kong is finally back. Xiao Yi curled the corners of his mouth, a little surprised. This very arrogant and conceited student union president actually bowed his head and admitted his mistake. What did you do wrong? Xiao Yi asked. Cheng Yi was stunned for a moment, then hurriedly said, It's my fault that I shouldn't have forced Uncle Xiao to join the student union. Uncle Xiao, rest assured, the student union will never come back to force you again. Xiao Yi nodded, then shook his head and said, You haven't realized the key point yet. Cheng Yi was a little confused. Didn't he just force it a little? How could it not be the key point? Can you remind me? I will definitely change it, he asked cautiously. At this time, Cheng Yi completely accepted Xiao Yi's identity as his father's brother, and did not dare to talk back or bow against Xiao Yi. But King Kong Supreme Chenggang knew something. He sneered and rebuked. There is something wrong with your style. Do you still need to ask others? We rely on our status as the supreme rulers to bully others and do whatever we want in school. I don't know what you've done to Sister Kunpeng's academy. I'll get beaten up when the time comes. Chenggang became angrier and angrier as he spoke. And he wanted to hit someone. Cheng Yi was so scared that he stepped back repeatedly with a look of horror on his face. Although his father would not kill him, but only beat him up, the pain from each punch to the flesh was real. Cheng Yi knelt on the ground, looking depressed and frightened, begging for mercy repeatedly. Dad, I will change. I will definitely change. I will do what I say. You can ask Uncle Xiao to supervise. If I can't do it, you let me go to the first line of defense to fight sea beasts. If the student union saw him like this, it would probably cause a huge uproar. Or if the senior students of Kunpeng Combat Academy saw it, they would be stunned. The guildmaster, who was usually arrogant and conceited, actually begged for mercy in such a humble manner. Hearing Cheng Yi's repeated assurances, Chenggang barely suppressed his anger and said in a deep voice, Okay, I'll give you a month. If you completely correct yourself, I'll let you go. Otherwise, you'll have to stay at the border for the rest of your life, fighting sea beasts. When Cheng Yi heard the words, stay at the border for life, he couldn't stop shaking and said with a firm look, change it. Definitely change it. Inkon Supreme Chenggang smiled at Xiao Yi and said, Little brother, I am not usually in the academy. So how about you help me supervise it? No problem. Xiao Yi raised his eyebrows and agreed. Cheng Yi, who was in a state of disgrace, was overjoyed. He quickly got up from his aching legs and feet, and with a sincere smile on his face, he placed the long Jing tea on the table in front of Xiao Yi and said respectfully, Uncle Xiao, this is a gift I specially prepared for you. Seeing Xiao Yi's puzzled expression, Cheng Yi explained, the leaves of the venerable round spirit plant long Jing tea were picked by the Jiaoilong deep pond. They taste very good. Inkong Supreme Chenggang laughed and scolded. But boy, I have only drunk this stuff a few times. Where did you get it from? Cheng Yi stammered. I stole it from a friend. It was given to me by a friend. Chenggang glared and said, Go away. Father Xiao and I have something to discuss. Hearing this, Cheng Yi was shocked and hurried out. But he came back halfway and smiled awkwardly under the puzzled gazes of Xiao Yi and Chenggang. Uncle Xiao, I damaged the floor. I'll find someone to fix it right away. After saying this, Cheng Yi quickly left. Seeing his son leave, Chenggang looked at Xiao Yi's expression and found that Xiao Yi had a faint smile on his face and did not seem to have a big opinion about Cheng Yi, so he breathed a sigh of relief and said excitedly, Father Xiao, your technique is absolutely amazing. You know how awesome I was when I got home that day. My wife even praised me for being awesome. That day was the first time in my life that I beat my wife at home. Ding Kong Supreme Chengang had an untidy beard and was dancing with joy as he spoke. He looked very excited, like a child. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched and he thought to himself, "It's good as long as it works, but you don't have to explain it to me so clearly." Chengang came over and said, "I was listless again yesterday." Xiao Yi, "Brother Xiao, please give me another massage." Chengang laughed. "Okay." As he spoke, Chengang pulled Xiao Yi into a second bedroom and started massaging. While massaging, Xiao Yi opened the template adjuster to check the situation. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level diamond template contractor. Chengang. Problems: the template is unstable due to poor foundation, which leaks Dalian energy and causes physical defects, commonly known as fast boys. Solution: treatment is required every half a month, or the broken mirror needs to be rebuilt to lay a solid foundation. On the other side, Vice President Yun Bing's villa. Twin sisters, Dean Yun Shi and Vice Dean Yun Bing, are here to talk about physical defects. Yun Bing, the school is about to start. During this period of time, you need to control your temper and set a good example for the students. Sister, this is my physical defect. How can I just control myself? But don't worry, I know what I shouldn't do. That's good. However, you said that your bad temper is a physical defect? Yun Shi, who had a cold temperament, also looked cold when talking to Yun Bing. Yes, I am in a bad mood due to the violent energy. It must be a physical defect. I already have a way to solve my physical defects. Yun Bing responded happily. The problem that has troubled me for many years can finally be solved. An hour ago, Incon Supreme Chengang returned her call and told him about the magic of the massage stick. Neat Chenggang's heroic and derogate tone made the massage effect sound earth-shattering and extremely awesome. Yun Bing didn't quite understand what words like hard as a rock and strong as steel meant, but she could tell that Xiao Yi's massage was very effective. So Yun Bing decided to go find Xiao Yi later and ask him to give her a massage. As she thought about it, the charming and elegant lady Yun Bing looked at Yun Shi, who always had a cold temperament, with a scrutinizing gaze, and speculated, "Sister, we can't make contracts with men. They are twin sisters who have cultivated to the supreme level in the form of beast-eared girls than you." Dean Yun Shi said in a cold tone, "You mean?" Vice Dean Yun Bing nodded and said, "Do you also have a physical defect?" Dean Yun Shi frowned and fell into deep thought. There was nothing wrong with her body, and the energy in her body would not go wild every once in a while. There is no problem with fast girls. The only thing that made her feel uneasy was that as her realm improved, she became less and less interested in the outside world. Except for Yun Bing, she was too lazy to pay attention to anyone. Yun Shi's pretty face had a cold expression the whole time. After thinking for a while, she did not answer Yun Bing. Instead, she reminded Yun Bing about the start of school and left. The charming lady Yun Bing looked at Yun Shi, who had the same explosive figure as herself but was wrapped in a bloated robe, and complained, "You are too incompetent as the dean. I, the deputy dean, have to do everything. Forget it, I'll go find Xiao Yi." Chapter 50 For Yun Bing arrives, Xiao Yi solves the defect. Let's find out where Xiao Yi is first. Yun Bing's supreme divine sense swept out, instantly covering the entire Kunpeng Battle Academy, sweeping through the cafeteria, classrooms, runways and other venues, and finally found Xiao Yi in Villano. One in the know. 3 Lake Scenic Area. Well, this coward King Kong actually went to find Xiao Yi before me. Yun Bing raised her slender hands and casually tore open a space crack, but a second later, she closed the space crack again. She went to the 3rd floor, took off all her clothes, and planned to take a full body bath first. Otherwise, if there is any strange smell on your body, it would be extremely embarrassing. Besides, Chengang was at Xiao Yi's place at the moment, so she would have to wait even if she went there now. After 1 minute, soak in a transparent bucket. Sniffing the natural fragrance emanating from her body, Yun Bing looked at her undulating curves in the mirror. Her face flushed as she admired. "Even I am fascinated by it. Will Xiao Yi be stunned after seeing it?" And she shook her head in self-denial. 10 minutes later, in Villa 1 of Lake No. 3 Scenic Area, Chengang felt refreshed and walked into the living room with Xiao Yi's arm around his shoulder. Chengang praised, "Brother Xiao, your skills are getting better and better. You are much more skilled than last time." Xiao Yi wiped the sweat from his forehead and replied, "It's okay." At this time, the student union president Cheng Yi called and said that the workers who were repairing the ground had arrived. Seeing that a small hole had been broken and the basement floor could be seen, Xiao Yi asked Cheng Yi to bring the practitioners in. A repairman carried materials and prepared to repair the ground. Cheng Yi said, "This is a skilled Grandmaster repairman near the Magic City Academy. He can definitely repair the ground perfectly." Xiao Yi nodded. Suddenly, Incon Supreme Chenggang's face changed. He realized something, and immediately said, "Brother Xiao, I'm in a hurry to do something. I'll find you later. I'm leaving now." After saying that, Cheng Gang left quickly, his steps were very hurried. While Xiao Yi and Cheng Yi were puzzled, a small space crack in the living room opened with a tearing sound, and a charming and elegant lady with a fate body fragrance walked out. It was Yun Bing. She was wearing a beautiful dress that was easy to take off, which could not hide her explosive figure. Her hair was a little wet, and there was a faint smile on her beautiful face, revealing her charming, mature and sexy temperament. Student Union President Cheng Yi's eyes widened, with a look of admiration and love in his eyes, and he said, "And Yun Bing." Cheng Yi was very excited to see the dream lover and goddess of all the boys in the college, Vice President Yun Bing. Yun Bing nodded, and then said to Xiao Yi, "Xiao Yi, this is the son of coward King Kong. I didn't expect you guys knew him. We met by chance." "Sister Yun Bing, are you here for business?" Xiao Yi was curious. Student Union President Cheng Yi gasped when he heard this. He actually called Kunpeng Queen Yun Bing, Sister Yun Bing. And he is also the brother of my father, King Kong Supreme. It's so terrifying. Who is this Uncle Xiao? Cheng Yi felt a surge of fear in his heart. Fortunately, he did not completely offend Xiao Yi in the cafeteria. Otherwise he would be in big trouble. Facing Xiao Yi's question, Yun Bing rolled her eyes, showing her charming temperament, and said, "Can't I come to see you if I have nothing to do?" Xiao Yi laughed awkwardly. "Yes." Yun Bing snorted and said, "I really have something to talk to you about this time. I have figured out what happened last time." Xiao Yi was shocked. "So this time you came here to ask me to solve your physical defect?" Cheng Yi was very envious when he saw that his goddess Yun Bing was so familiar with Xiao Yi. Although he called Yun Bing Auntie, it was usually difficult for him to see Yun Bing. Now that he could see her up close, Cheng Yi was very excited, not to mention chatting with Yun Bing so skillfully. Under Cheng Yi's envious gaze, Yun Bing took a long step and pulled Xiao Yi up to the second floor, leaving Cheng Yi and the Grand Master Repairman to repair the floor on the first floor. The Grand Master Repairman patted Cheng Yi on the shoulder and said, "Boy, stop looking, everyone is gone." Cheng Yi stared blankly at the empty stairs and only reacted after being reminded. "What do you think is the relationship between Uncle Xiao and Aunt Yun?" he asked. The Grand Master Repairman thought for a moment and said, "Friends. More than friends, but less than lovers." Judging from Dean Yun's tone and attitude, he is probably attracted to that young man. Cheng Yi's mouth twitched, and he said dissatisfiedly, "What the hell, if you don't know. Don't talk nonsense. I think they are just friends." The Grand Master Repairman shook his head, did not argue with Cheng Yi, squatted down and began to repair the ground. He muttered, "If you want to get by, you have to live a green life. I've been there before, how can I not see this?" Cheng Yi didn't listen. He was wondering what the goddess and Xiao Yi were talking about upstairs. He wanted to hear it, but it was just wishful thinking. After seeing the goddess here, he will have something to brag about when he goes back. Those people in the student union will be so jealous. They are proud to see the goddess. Second floor. The charming and domineering Sister Yun Bing twisted her sexy waist and pushed Xiao Yi into the bathroom, letting Xiao Yi take a bath. Xiao Yi had just given Cheng Gang a massage. She was a little bit of a germaphobe and didn't want to be contaminated by Cheng Gang's scent, so she had to let Xiao Yi wash away Cheng Gang's scent before she could accept it. After a while, Xiao Yi dressed neatly and came to a second bedroom. However, what was a little different from the massage he gave to the King Kong Supreme Cheng Gang was that Xiao Yi did not wear gloves this time. The charming and domineering Sister Yun Bing was already lying there naked. A slight blush appeared on that noble face. From the chair next to him, Xiao Yi saw a dress filled with fragrance and pieces of interior decoration. Then Xiao Yi shifted his attention to Yun Bing. In Xiao Yi's clear eyes, he saw delicate and tender skin, majestic mountains, and dark valleys. "Why are you still standing there? Don't be nervous, Xiao Yi." Yun Bing was very nervous at this moment, but she did not show it. Instead, she urged Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi said, "You don't mind if I don't wear gloves?" Yun Bing didn't think too much about it. She just wanted to start the massage quickly, and replied, "I don't mind. Then I'll start." Then Xiao Yi opened the template adjuster. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level Kunpeng template, Yun Bing upgradable. Problem, because the awakening template is the wrong type of crystal that absorbs rule fragments, the template is unstable and the rule rhyme is leaked. Every once in a while, the energy in the body will exceed the limit and become violent. Solution: combine with Xuan Huang Gem to perform a CU point massage can temporarily solve the problem. Or change the regular fragment crystal type. A CU point massage guide. Chan's on point, hangs on point, CU Dao point, Huiyan point, Tianan point. Xiao Yi's hands touched the skin and began the massage journey. From the neck to the arms. From the arms to the front to the back, from the back to the lower part, and from the lower part to the back. There are a total of 720 human occupants in the body, and Xiao Yi followed the guidance diagram given by the template adjuster. The techniques range from pressing, to gentleness, to piercing. I massaged almost all over my body. Chapter 55 Xiao Yi, my hands are all pickled. After half an hour, Xiao Yi's massage journey ended. Yun Bing asked, "What should I do about my figure?" Xiao Yi said calmly, "Very good." And Xiao Yi looked at him with clear eyes for just 10 seconds, then turned around and left resolutely. He isn't a bright person and never bothers to peek. Unless you can't help it. Seeing Xiao Yi go out, the charming and elegant Lady Yun Bing got up, her body covered in sweat, and dressed herself neatly. When I walked out, I saw Xiao Yi rubbing his hands in the basin, muttering, "Oh no, my hands are all marinated with this smell and I can't wash it off." Xiao Yi put it in front of his nose and sniffed it, frowning and saying, "It's better to wear gloves. It has all kinds of flavors, including milky flavor, fresh flavor, and subtle flavor. It's really well marinated." Xiao Yi rubbed his hands vigorously with detergent twice. But there was still a smell left after washing. Yun Bing came over and heard these words. His delicate forehead was full of black lines. She said, "Does it smell bad?" Xiao Yi answered subconsciously, "It smells good, but the smell on my hands makes me think of something else." Yun Bing blushed. "What exactly are you thinking about?" Xiao Yi was startled, and saw Yun Bing beside him from the corner of his eyes. He reacted and said seriously, "I'm not thinking anything. I'm a tough guy if I have all kinds of fragrance on my body. Wouldn't it be like a woman? That's not good?" A teasing look appeared on the pretty face of the charming Queen Yun Bing. She took out a black sock ball with a fragrant smell from Xiao Yi's pocket and said, "Like a woman? Then what is this? Why do I feel so familiar with it?" Xiao Yi's face turned red with embarrassment. This was his homemade Yun Bing brand black sachet. But there was no way he could admit it in person, otherwise he would be socially disgraced. So he said with a wandering look in his eyes, "This is the sachet I bought at a high price." "Really?" Yun Bing put the black sachet to his nose and sniffed it, then said with a smile, "Why do I feel like it's silk?" Before Yun Bing could finish her words, Xiao Yi hurriedly snatched the Yun Bing brand black sachet and put it in his pocket, interrupting her and saying, "You feel wrong. This is my baby, I bought it." Buchi. The charming and domineering sister Yun Bing laughed, and a stunningly bright flower seemed to appear on her beautiful face, making the surroundings pale in comparison. What she didn't even notice was that the word baby, that Xiao Yi said, made her feel very happy. And Xiao Yi continued to rub his hands in the basin. He was determined to wash away the smell on his hands. Yun Bing stretched out her crystal clear hands, grabbed Xiao Yi's hands, and said fiercely on her beautiful face, "Don't wash it, it doesn't stink." A bitter smile appeared on Xiao Yi's face. With so many different scents on his hands, it would be difficult for him to explain to Nangong Sayo and Sheng Bingshi. Otherwise, Nangong Sayo and Sheng Bingshi would definitely punish him severely. Seeing Xiao Yi in such a dilemma, Yun Bing's beautiful face showed a hint of anger, and she said, "This is the first time I've been seen and touched naked by someone. And you still despised me. No washing. And next time you give me a massage, you are not allowed to wear gloves." Under Yun Bing's strong request, Xiao Yi reluctantly agreed and said with a wry smile, "Okay. Sister Yun Bing, how do you feel now?" When asked about the business, Yun Bing said with a relaxed look on her face, "The violent energy in my body has become gentle. And the excessive energy has also calmed down. It feels great." In the past, she had to suppress the extremely violent energy in her body at all times. Otherwise it would explode and cause great damage with just a slight movement. This was the first time she realized that people could live so easily. In just a short while, she began to like this relaxed feeling. Xiao Yi opened the template adjuster to check Yun Bing. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level Kunpeng template, Yun Bing. Problems, unstable templates. Conflicting rule types. Solution: change the crystal type of regular fragments. Yun Bing felt relieved now, but the root of her illness was still there. Unless she changed the type of crystallization of the fragments to stabilize the template, she would still experience excessive and violent energy after a period of time. Xiao Yi said with a serious face, "Sister Yun Bing, your relief now is only temporary. The problem will recur after a while." The charming and elegant Lady Yun Bing nodded, her eyebrows furrowed. She could sense it. "Indeed. I just don't know how long this relief will last." Xiao Yi speculated, "Sister Yun Bing, you are at a higher level than Brother Cheng, the Supreme King of Diamonds. I guess you can't last as long as Brother Cheng. Brother Cheng needs to come once every 2 weeks. Sister Yun Bing said that it could be 10 days, 5 days, or even 1 day. The charming and royal Sister Yun Bing's face darkened. "Once a day? It's just a possibility." Xiao Yi didn't say anything definite. Yun Bing's problem was caused by the template. If she transformed into Kunpeng Summon Beast within a day, the problem would relapse within a day. Yun Bing then left as the vice president of Kunpeng Combat Academy. She had a lot of things to take care of. Xiao Yi came to the living room on the first floor of the villa. Nangong Sayo and Sheng Bingshi were also on the first floor at this time. A grandmaster repairman had just finished repairing the floor. "Why are you, a piece of trash, in my house?" The accomplished young woman, Nangong Sayo, stared at the student union president Cheng Yi with a stern look on her face. Cheng Bingshi, who was holding Nangong Sayo's lotus-like arms, also frowned and scolded. You are so arrogant that you actually ruin the floor of my house. I must ask Sister Yunbing to teach you a lesson. This, student union president Cheng Yi stood there stiffly, looking embarrassed. Cold sweat broke out on his back, and he nodded and begged for mercy. Auntie. Two aunties, I am the son of King Kong Supreme, and the nephew of Uncle Xiao. The ground is about to be repaired. Please don't mess with me. Auntie? Nangong Sayo's pretty face was dull. She asked Cheng Bingshi. Am I that old? And he is much older than Xiao Yi, but he actually calls Xiao Yi uncle. Cheng Yi looked embarrassed. He called Xiao Yi uncle because Xiao Yi was older than him, not because he was older than him in age. Cheng Bingshi touched Nangong Sayo's smooth face and said, You don't look old at all. And neither do I. Nangong Sayo looked at Cheng Yi with disdain, whose attitude had changed drastically since the cafeteria, and said, So you are the son of King Kong Supreme. But King Kong Supreme is a strong man respected by everyone. But what about you, not so good? Yes, Cheng Yi nodded repeatedly. Not daring to refute, he just wanted to leave quickly. The repairman finally finished repairing the ground. He stepped on the ground that had returned to normal and said, It's done. Goodbye. Cheng Yi and the repairman cleaned up the garbage and hurriedly left with their things, looking at the two people fleeing in panic. Xiao Yi smiled. Chapter 56, The Interrogation of the Fruitful Young Woman, the Pure Energy of Taoism. Looking at Cheng Yi's leaving back, Nangong Sayo showed an expression of disgust on her face. Vara Supreme is a strong man who has served his country and his people. He has made countless contributions to the country and is a man worthy of admiration. But this student council president is a corrupt person who does evil things every day. He relies on his parents to do evil things. It is so abominable. Anger also appeared on Cheng Bingshi's pretty face. She clenched her fist and agreed. Yes. They are two completely opposite sides of the same coin. I heard that the student council president hasn't graduated in 10 years and has been hanging around in the academy, but King Kong Supreme goes to the border defense line every once in a while to guard it for humans. There were many times when the border defenses of the Demon City were almost breached and the people of the Demon City were about to fall into danger. It was only when King Kong Supreme joined forces with several other Supremes to repel the tide of sea beasts. Xiao Yi came over and rubbed their little heads, smiling. He has already promised Brother Cheng that he will change. Nangong Sayo and Cheng Bingshi were surprised. He really said that? Xiao Yi put his hands back into his pockets. He almost forgot that there were many strange smells on his hands. He replied, Yes, this guy's name is Cheng Yi. He personally promised Brother Cheng and me that he would change. Brother Cheng also asked me to supervise. Brother Cheng is Cheng Gang, also known as the Supreme King Kong. Nangong Sayo sniffed with her little nose and seemed to smell the scent of a woman, so she looked at Xiao Yi suspiciously, then moved closer to Xiao Yi and sniffed a few times. Cheng Bingshi also smelled the fragrance, but she was not very sensitive to it and didn't pay much attention to it. And let the three of us supervise together. If that bastard, no, the entire student union does anything to blame others, we will tell Brother Cheng immediately. Cheng Bingshi's beautiful eyes revealed excitement. Xiao Yi reached out his hand and pushed away Nangong Sayo's little head, saying, No problem. Brother Cheng originally wanted Cheng Yi to completely reform himself. Why do you smell like another woman? Nangong Sayo said, Koketh this lie. Xiao Yi, tell the truth. Did you go out to play with a woman while we weren't paying attention? Nangong Sayo looked Cheng Bingshi with red eyes and said, This guy definitely smells like another woman. It smells good, a bit like my grandmother's body odor. But there is also a milky aroma and an indescribable taste. Cheng Bingshi widened her beautiful eyes and exclaimed, Xiao Yi, you are not playing with Weisteen Yunbing, are you? Nangong Sayo nodded her head and said, Yes, absolutely. Xiao Yi's face was full of black lines. At this time, there was indeed a smell left on his hands, but it couldn't be washed off. It is probably because Sister Yunbing has reached the supreme realm, and even the fragrance on her body has advanced, so once it is contaminated, it is difficult to remove. Xiao Yi had no choice but to reveal his cards. He said helplessly, You all know that Sister Yunbing has a bad temper. In fact, this is because of her physical defects, which caused the template to be unstable. I just stabilized the template for her. Oh, Cheng Bingshi nodded. She believed whatever Xiao Yi said. However, the beautiful young girl Nangong Sayo looked at Xiao Yi with suspicion, and looked him up and down carefully, especially at his lower part for a long time. Xiao Yi felt a chill in his crotch, feeling something was wrong, and said, What's wrong, Sayo? You don't believe it? The fruitful girl Nangong Sayo shook her head, then nodded and said, I'm half believing and half doubting. I know very well that Grandma Yunbing is a 1,000-year-old bachelor. She is very averse to men. If a man touches her, she will beat him up, not to mention giving her a massage. And there is some indescribable fragrance on you. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. So what do you want to say? Nan Gongxia rushed over and checked him personally, saying as she checked. So I suspect you played with Yun Bing. A gust of cold air came and Xiao Yi shivered. Nan Gongxia was checking it out. She put her nose forward and sniffed it. And said in confusion, "It's strange, there is no peculiar smell." After the examination, Xiao Yi said helplessly, "I told you it was just a massage, do you believe it now?" Nan Gongxia smiled and kissed Xiao Yi, saying, "I believe it." After the farce was over, Nan Gongxia and Chengbing she went to take a bath, while Xiao Yi sat on the sofa observing the Xuan Huang gem in the system's face. Low-level rare treasure, Xuan Huang gemstone. Function: it has the effect of absorbing, purifying, and calming chaotic rules, Dao Rime, and energy. Next to the Xuan Huang gem, there are 3 energy balls. A golden energy ball, a yellow energy ball, and a blue energy ball. These 3 energy balls are the energy rhythm absorbed by the Xuan Huang gem. The golden energy ball is the super energy absorbed by Ningong Xiao on him. The yellow energy ball is the Tao energy absorbed from the Vara Supreme Cheng Gang. The blue energy ball is the Dao energy absorbed from Kunpeng Supreme Yanbing. When Xiao Yi was looking at the 3 balls, the Xuan Huang gemstone transmitted a message. Dayan energy ball, the purified pure Dayan energy can be directly absorbed and transformed. Xiao Yi raised his eyebrows, and a look of surprise flashed in his starry eyes. It turns out that the Xuan Huang gem has purified the Dao Rime energy it absorbed. Pure Daoist energy, this is a good thing. It is equivalent to the purified Dao Rime energy, and like the crystal core, it does not require the refining of mixed energy before it can be converted into pure energy. However, Xiao Yi knew what energy was. But what is Tao Yun energy? Unstable template wolves will leak the Dao Rime, but what is the Dao Rime? His current realm is the 7th star of the Grand Master realm, and he can mobilize the power of artistic conception, a mysterious artistic conception. It is estimated that Dao Yun is something that can only be born at a level above that of a Grand Master. Or it is something that only the Supreme Being can use. But this is just Xiao Yi's guess and may not be correct. So Xiao Yi decided to ask Sister Yun Bing, the Supreme Kunpeng, tomorrow if this rhyme can be absorbed directly, and then ask her if she needs a massage. Suddenly Xiao Yi remembered something. He possesses a god-level Beastmaster system that allows him to make unlimited contract templates. So he can definitely make a contract with Kunpeng Supreme Yun Bing. When others make a contract with Yun Bing, the unstable template will leak the rules in rhyme of Taoism, causing them to explode and die. But Xiao Yi possesses the Xuan Huang gem, which can absorb and purify the Dao Rime of rules, so he should be able to safely conclude a contract with Yun Bing. If he signs a contract with Yun Bing will become his wife. Fuck. Xiao Yi was shocked by his own thoughts. Yun Bing is Kunpeng Supreme, a top-level strongman, and the vice president of Kunpeng Battle Academy. How could he possibly sign a contract with a freshman like him? On the other side, the bathroom on the 3rd floor of the vice president's villa. Yun Bing was soaking in a transparent bathtub with a blush on her face. Her heart pounded as she recalled a certain scene. She stood beside him and said calmly, "What's wrong? Are you missing a man?" Yun Bing replied subconsciously, "Yes." Chapter 57 Yun Bing, I'm moved. Being Yun, she raised her eyebrows, and a hint of surprise appeared on her originally cold and beautiful face. Only towards her twin sister Yun Bing could she have some emotional response. She was surprised and asked, "Yun Bing, are you serious? Who is that person?" Both of them are single women who have been single for thousands of years due to template problems. They cannot enter into a contract with the opposite sex and have never had close contact with men. The 2 sisters have always kept their distance from men. But at this time Yun Bing suddenly said that she missed a man. If people in the academy knew about this, they would probably be shocked and it would cause a huge sensation. Yun Bing, who was sitting in the bathtub with her body uncovered, was startled when she heard this and said dissatisfied lie. "Sister, can you please not always come to me when I'm taking a shower? I have my own privacy too." She curled her lips, not taking it seriously, and even reached out and pinched Yun Bing. "We are twin sisters, we look exactly the same. I have what you have. When I look at you, it's like I'm looking at myself. How is that invading your privacy? I'm just looking at myself, okay?" The charming and domineering sister Yun Bing's face dark, and what she said was indeed true, but why did she always feel a little uncomfortable? "I don't care, Don T, come to see me when I'm taking a bath," Yun Bing instructed. She glanced at her and said nonchalantly, "What's wrong? Did I look at you and make you feel disadvantaged? Then I'll let you look back." As he spoke, she also raised a transparent bathtub filled with warm water. Then, under the shocked gaze of the charming and domineering sister Yun Bing, she took off her bulky white robe and entered the bathtub. Yun Bing couldn't help but blush. She witnessed the whole process and muttered, "It's not exactly the same, there's a little difference." Although the two look very similar, there are still some differences in temperament and details. Dean Yunshi said, "Are you satisfied now? Okay, tell me quickly, who is that man? Is he the Supreme King Kong, the Supreme White Tiger, or the Supreme Dragon?" Her younger sister Yunbing has a man in her heart as her only relative. She must find out. None of them. Yunshi's mouth twitched, and a big question mark appeared on her cold and pretty face. Isn't he the Supreme of our magic city? Then who is he, the Supreme of another base city? In Yunshi's opinion, even if the proud Yunbing had a man in her heart, he must be some supreme being. But Yunbing shook his head and denied it. Neither, not the Supreme. Yunshi became even more surprised. He was not even the Supreme. How could it be so outrageous? Yunbing was so arrogant. How could she fall in love with a man who was not the Supreme? Then Yunshi glared at him fiercely. Then tell me who it is. A blush appeared on Yunbing's pretty face, and she said a little embarrassed lie, "Don't ask, he and I haven't even started dating yet. Besides, you also know our situation. It's impossible for him and I to be together." Yunbing asked herself. Ever since Xiaoyi gave her a massage, she had developed a different feeling toward Xiaoyi. Yunbing had never been in love, so she didn't know if this feeling was love. But after she came back from Xiaoyi, the image of Xiaoyi massaging her with clear eyes and a calm expression always appeared in her mind. So it's not wrong to say that she is thinking about men. The reason why Yunbing took a cold shower was to dilute the chaotic feeling in her heart. The violent energy in her body did indeed subside, but her heart was in turmoil at this moment. After hearing Yunbing's description, Dean Yunshi, her elder sister, felt it was outrageous. She felt that her younger sister Yunbing was in unrequited love with her. Damn it. Yunbing is a Kunpeng Supreme after all. Which outstanding man seduced her? Yunshi's curiosity was aroused, and he said, "If you don't tell me, I'll find it myself. I can find out who you've been in contact with during this period of time. I want to see who is so capable." Yunbing's pretty face darkened, and she said dissatisfied lie, "Yunshi, when did you like gossip? Aren't you always uninterested in the outside world? Besides, it's impossible for him and I to sign a contract to be together. Why are you going to bother looking for him?" Yunshi ignored him and continued to scrub her body. Yunbing stared at her and rubbed a certain part of his body so hard that it hurt, as if rubbing himself was the same as rubbing Yunshi. The other side. Xiaoyi took the two beautiful girls to the campus. There are no classes today. The official class day is tomorrow. But Nangong Xiao said that she would supervise the president of the student union and the student union. And she would definitely find some faults to report to King Kong Supreme. Xiaoyi knew. The arrogant and lawless attitude of the student union in the cafeteria gave Nangong Xiao and Chengbingshi a very bad impression of Chengyi and the student union. I am still filled with anger about the cafeteria incident. Even when we have to eat, we have to clear the place and kick people out. How abominable. Nangong Xiao clenched her fists fiercely and said viciously, "I must take photos of what the student union does and tell King Kong Supreme." Chengbingshi also echoed, "That's right." In the eyes of the two girls, the reason why the student union is so arrogant is because of the student union president Chengyi. As they were talking, the three of them had already walked to the main road of Kunpeng Battle Academy. At this time, people were coming and going on the avenue. Most of them were adults accompanying young boys and girls to report. Xiaoyi turned on the template detection function of the system and observed these pairs of contractors. S-level Giant Mantis template. Realm, 4th level S-level Beastmaster talent. Realm, 4th level S-level White Snake Giant Python template. Realm, late 3rd level S-level Beastmaster talent. Realm, late 3rd level SS level Silver White Rhino template. Realm, 6th level SS level Beastmaster talent. Realm, 6th level S-level Tiger template. Realm, 3rd level S-level Beastmaster talent. Realm, 3rd level. Xiaoyi observed dozens of pairs of contractors coming and going, and came to a conclusion that 99% of the contractor students were S-level templates, and most of them were at the 3rd level, while the remaining 1% of the students were SS level templates, and their realm was at the 6th level. This year, Kunpeng Battle Academy recruited 300 pairs of contractor students. Xiaoyi guessed that there were only 3 or 4 pairs of SS level templates as for SSS level templates. Except for the 3 of them, no one else had an SSS level template or SSS level Beast Tamer talent. It is estimated that this year, there are only a handful of SSS level templates and SSS level Beast Masters across the country, and there are not many in total. Suddenly, a dissatisfied shout came from the side, attracting the attention of the 3 people. I saw an old student in a volunteer uniform holding the hand of a freshman with a young face downstairs of the dormitory, and angrily said with a gloomy face, "I helped you carry your luggage and gave you directions. Now that we're here, give me your money." 1 second level crystal core. The young faces of the new contractors showed anger in their eyes and said, "You came here to help with the luggage. And you didn't ask for crystal cores. Know that we're here. You suddenly ask for money. How can you do that?" The volunteer senior student said with a sullen face, "We are volunteers organized by the student union. If you don't give us the crystal core, you will be in trouble." Chapter 58 Xiaoyi takes action. You are very brave. When the contractor heard that trouble was coming, a look of panic appeared on his face. And he took out a third-level crystal core from his pocket and gave it to him. "I don't have a second-order crystal core. Only a third-order crystal core. You have to return me 9 second-order crystal cores." The volunteer old student's face lit up with joy. His eyes revealed a fierce look. He put away the third-order crystal core and said, "And I'll take a third-level crystal core from you." After saying that, he turned and left, completely ignoring what the contractor freshman said. The new contractor stepped forward and grabbed him, looking anxious, and said, "This is my food allowance. What should I do if you take it all away?" The volunteer old man showed impatience on his face and shouted, "Let go, I'm helping you carry your luggage. It's only natural that you pay me." As he said this, he shook the freshman off with his hand and turned to leave. A freshman around all glared at him, but the seniors looked at him normally as they were already used to it. No one came forward to help. Nan Gongxiao grabbed the recorder with her little hands and recorded everything. Cheng Bingshi's pretty face was full of anger, and she said, "The student union is so arrogant. They are just forcing people to buy and sell." Nan Gongxiao nodded. "Yes, if you don't tell me beforehand, and then ask for money afterwards, you can't refuse to give it." Xiaoyi touched his chin. Has the student union always been like this? It seems very serious. All this seems to be related to Cheng Yi, president of the student union. Among the parents of new students, there was a middle-aged man with a powerful aura who couldn't stand it anymore and stepped forward to grab the volunteer's hand. Crack! The volunteer's hand bones broke. Ouch! The old volunteer was sweating profusely and his face was in pain. The middle-aged man said with a smile, "The third-level crystal core will be used as your medical expenses." As he spoke, the middle-aged man walked up to the freshman, placed a third-level crystal core on his luggage, and without saying anything, he took his child into the dormitory building. "Great, that's so satisfying. Well done." The freshmen who were watching the show nearby clapped their hands. The senior students were indifferent. They looked at the freshman with a pitiful look and thought to themselves, "This guy is in trouble." Suddenly, a group of people came from the avenue. They were a volunteer senior student with a broken hand and a group of people wearing student union uniforms. The old volunteer student grabbed his hands and wailed miserably. "It was that freshman. I accepted a third-level crystal core for carrying his luggage, and he even asked someone to break my hand bones." Suddenly, more than 10 students, 6 boys and 6 girls, a total of 6 pairs of contractors, surrounded the 2 freshman boys and girls. The 2 freshmen looked panicked and asked anxiously, "What are you going to do? This is a college." The student union members looked arrogant and pouted, saying, "What's wrong with the academy? You deliberately hurt another student and caused him to break his hand. Let's just talk about the facts." "That's right, although a broken hand is only a minor problem, you must pay for the medical expenses. Let me do the math. A medical expenses, plus the mental damages, plus the wasted time, I'll have to pay for a level 3 crystal core at least." A volunteer with a broken hand nodded continuously. "Yes, that's right, you must compensate me with a third-order crystal core." Facing these aggressive old students, the contractor was so frightened that he plopped down on the ground and said in panic, "Didn't we give him a third-level crystal core?" The volunteer with a broken hand looked gloomy and said, "I just made it clear the third-level crystal core is the service fee for carrying your luggage." A green-haired man from the student union took the third-order crystal core from the luggage and put it in his pocket, then waved his hand and said, "Don't listen to his nonsense, take the money and leave." The new contractor saw that they were about to leave and did not dare to ask any more questions. He could only watch them leave. Xiaoyi sneered, "What a good way to stick to the facts. It seems that this is the style of the student union. Aggressive and unreasonable." Xiaoyi used the system detection function to check the templates and roles of these people. S-level long-armed monkey template, Grandmaster level 9 stars. S-level Beastmaster, Grandmaster level 9 stars. S-level Dark Knight Wolf template, Grandmaster level 8 stars. S-level Beast Tamer, Grandmaster level 8 stars. They are all S-level, and the highest level is Grandmaster level 9 stars. Maybe even SS-level geniuses would disdain to join the student union. Xiaoyi shook his head, with disdain in his eyes. Is the student union not so good? The recorder in Nan Gongxiao's hand has recorded the entire process. She was filming openly, and one of the student union members was surprised and said, "Brother, this girl is filming us." A group of people who were about to leave stopped and looked towards Nan Gongxia. When they saw the young woman Nan Gongxia with huge breasts and Cheng Bingshi with dazzling white long legs, everyone's eyes lit up. Several labels popped up in my mind. Freshman, gorgeous girl, such a pretty girl. The green-haired man came over with more than 10 people and said with a proud smile, "So he is the top scorer in the college entrance examination." We met in the cafeteria at noon. I didn't expect to meet each other so soon. Join my student union, how are you thinking about it? As they spoke, the student union members dispersed the crowd around them and surrounded Xiaoyi and the other two. The people around, whether freshmen or seniors, were all surprised and said, "The top scorer in the college entrance examination. He is actually the top scorer in the college entrance examination. The top scorer in the college entrance examination actually came to our Kunpeng College. 3 of them all here. But they are in trouble. Yeah, these student union members are too arrogant, they don't even take the top scorer in the college entrance examination seriously." A faint smile appeared on Nan Gongxiao's pretty face facing these people's questioning. She was not panicked at all and still held the camera to film them. Zheng Bing, she put her hands on her hips and said, "Koketh this lie. Just give up on this idea. It is absolutely impossible for the 3 of us to join the student union. Be tough and never join." The students around, whether freshmen or seniors, were all surprised inside. Only the top scorer in the college entrance examination can speak to the student union in this tone. As expected of the top scorer in the college entrance examination. "You are so confident." The green-haired senior student of the student union frowned and snorted. "Not joining? You can't just say that." He took a step forward and was about to raise his hand to snatch the camera recorder from Nan Gongxiao's hand. Xiaoyi was faster than him. He grabbed the green-haired old man's neck with one hand. With his 1-meter height, he lifted up the 1.6-meter tall green-haired old man. Xiaoyi's face was calm, and he exerted force on his hands and said, "You are very brave. You've never experienced death, have you?" A strong sense of oppression spread from Xiaoyi. The green-haired man angled his feet off the ground, his face flushed, and he asked word by word, "What are you doing? Do you want to kill someone?" The students in the student union looked fierce and ready to fight at any time. The atmosphere at the scene became tense. Xiaoyi's hand moved, and there was a click sound. Chapter 59 Yanxi. It's you, Xiaoyi. In the tense atmosphere, Xiaoyi's hand that was holding the green-haired student union senior's neck suddenly loosened and smashed upwards with a crack. The green-haired student union senior's jaw was dislocated and hit the ground hard. With his mouth crooked, the green-haired student union senior had never been insulted like this. He was so angry that his face turned red and his neck became thick. A mouthful of blood rushed up his throat and he spat it out. Okay, let's play it this way. Come on, beat him." The green-haired student union senior waved his hand, and immediately, except for him, the other 11 student union members surrounded him. Bang, bang, bang. Under the shocked gaze of the crowd, Xiaoyi and the other 2 were agile and ruthless, targeting vulnerable parts such as the lower body, stomach, face, and neck. They beat the 11 members of the student union until they lay on the ground in agony, and from time to time they could hear them gasping in pain. Brush. Everyone's eyes changed when they looked at Xiaoyi and the other 2. Become respected and feared. Oh my god, this is awesome. These 3 guys can beat the juniors right after they entered the school. Well done. I've been annoyed with this group of students for a long time. He is truly a role model for my generation. Seeing him makes me want to kick him a few times. The student union has hit a wall. The senior and freshmen who were watching nearby all felt refreshed. Many senior students who had been bullied by the student union felt relieved. Big shout out. The green-haired senior student from the student union, who was lying on the ground with a dislocated jaw, gasped. There was a hint of panic and fear in the eyes of these 12 junior students from the student union when they looked at Xiaoyi and the other 2. Xiaoyi smiled inferently, walked over and stepped on the head of the green-haired old student, and said contemptuously, "Student union? A bunch of rubbish. A bunch of juniors, not even as good as us freshmen. The realm of Xiaoyi and the other 2 is Grandmaster 7 stars. And the average realm of these people is Grandmaster 8 stars. However, Xiaoyi and Nan Gongxiao are both SSS level girls, inheriting some attributes of summoned beasts, which are far greater than those S-level old students." Just then, a loud roar came from behind everyone. "Stop." The crowd dispersed and everyone took the initiative to make way. A young man with a blue dragon tattoo on his arm came over with a group of impressive people. When they saw these people, the sophomores and juniors who were contracted exclaimed and their faces turned ugly. "Oh no, they are the core members of the student union. Did you see the young man with the blue dragon tattoo? He is the president of the student union." These 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination are in trouble. The student council president is not only at a high level, but also has a terrifying background and strong connections in the academy. Should we sue the teacher? Otherwise, these 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination will definitely be in trouble. It's too late. Many teachers who went there would most likely not come forward. Even if they came, it would be useless. Only teachers above the professor level can stop it. The movements of these people naturally attracted the attention of the 12 student unions around Xiaoyi. They were all very happy. He endured the severe pain, stood up and said the greeting words. "Hello, President. Hello, Vice presidents. To become president or vice president, one must not only have a high level of cultivation, but also have a certain background. The green-haired student union elder showed a delighted expression, and the president, who always protected his students, shouted, "President, you are finally here. These three little bastards are so abominable, they are hindering our mission, we must teach them a lesson." Yeah. And these two little bitches, they must pay the price to get by in the academy. What matters is power and background. These 12 people became arrogant again, as if the academy was their territory and they could do whatever they wanted and act lawless. Chen Yi, the president of the King Lontat student union, came to Xiao Yi and the other two with a group of impressive vice presidents and others. Faced with so many people, the ordinary students around were already too scared to speak. But Xiao Yi moved, he stomped his foot hard, and in front of everyone, in front of all the core members of the student union, he stomped the green-haired student union senior's head into the concrete floor with a bang. And a calm voice came out of his mouth. "The student union is garbage. Who has a problem with that?" There was silence all around, all silenced by Xiao Yi's actions. Immediately afterwards, there were bursts of gasps. Hiss, too arrogant. Even more arrogant than the student union. Even the core members of the student union who had just arrived here were dumbfounded. Suddenly, a loud shout rang out at the scene, ringing in everyone's ears. Well said. Everyone looked towards the source of the sound, and when they saw the person who made the sound, they were all shocked. Even the student union members were stunned. The person who spoke was the student union president standing in front of the core members of the student union, Sheng Yi. Not only did he call out loudly, but he also clapped his hands and said in a sonorous and powerful voice, "The previous student union was really garbage. No, not only before, but now as well, a bunch of rubbish." And the core members of the student union also said with awkward expressions, "That's right. The president is right. Yeah, what we did before was so lame." Everyone was shocked. And the green-haired guy's jaw dropped. All the core members of the student union actually admitted that the student union is garbage. The student union president and several vice presidents all say that the student union is no good. The old students who had a very bad impression of them felt like they were living in a dream. But this time, Cheng Yi walked up to Xiao Yi with a flattering look on his face, and said respectfully, "Uncle Xiao, I have begun to change the internal code of conduct of the student union from now on. The student union will definitely return to normal. You guys, come over and say hello, call me Uncle Xiao." Cheng Yi looked at the vice presidents and said. The vice presidents of the student union came forward in unison, with awe on their faces, and said at the same time, "Meet Uncle Xiao. Meet the two ants." Half an hour ago, their student union held an important meeting with all core members present. The content of the meeting was to correct work styles and put the student union back on the right track. The most important point is to introduce Xiao Yi. Nan Gong Xiao and Cheng Bingxi. Several vice presidents remembered what Cheng Yi said. Xiao Yi is on good terms with his father, King Kong Supreme, and on a sister-sister basis with Vice President Kung Peng Supreme. Their awe for Xiao Yi deepened. The green-haired boy was so shocked when he saw the third-year presidents calling the freshman Xiao Yi and the other two uncles and aunties. Speaking of iron plate, he began to regret. The sophomore volunteer who forced the sale had trembling legs, chattering teeth, and his face turned pale with fear. Cheng Yi dealt with the matter quickly, returned the third-level crystal core to the two freshmen, apologized to them, and assured everyone around him that such incidents would not happen again. Xiao Yi patted Cheng Yi on the shoulder and said calmly, "Do a good job, your father will be very pleased when he finds out." Cheng Yi was overjoyed and nodded repeatedly. At this time, a beautiful figure appeared behind Xiao Yes. He was wearing a bulky white robe, but it was difficult to hide her beautiful face. A cold but pleasant voice came out of her mouth, resounding in everyone's ears. "Oh my goodness, I finally found it. It's you, Xiao Yi." Chapter 60 Yunxi, Yunbing's spring is coming. Goddess, it's the Dean Goddess. Damn, I'm so lucky. I get to meet the Goddess Dean right after school starts. It seems like the Goddess Dean has something to do with this top scorer in the college entrance examination. It's Dean Yunxi. I haven't seen him many times since I was a junior. The senior students around were suddenly very excited. Dean Yunxi, one of the two goddesses of Kunpeng College, is much rarer than Yin Yunbing. Yunxi walked out from the void, and her cool and indifferent temperament spread out. She was wearing a bulky robe, but it also set off her beautiful face. The student union members were shocked, and Cheng Yi hurried forward to greet them. "Meet the dean." The rest of the student union spoke up. "Meet the dean." Xiao Yi and the other two also greeted him. Yunxi glanced at Cheng Yi with a cold gaze, lightly nodded her white chin, and looked at Xiao Yi with her beautiful eyes and said, "Xiao Yi, come with me." She stretched out her hand and waved, and a flash of white light appeared. She and Xiao Yi disappeared. Nangong Xiao grabbed the camera in confusion before she could react. Xiao Yi disappeared. Cheng Bingshi hurriedly pulled her towards the villa in the No. 3 Lake Scenic area. Suddenly Cheng Yi stopped in front of her. Expressionless. Nan Gongxiao frowned and said, "Why, mister? Xiao Yi is not here. Are you planning to do something bad to us too?" Cheng Bingshi shouted coldly, "Cheng Yi, get out of the way." Cheng Yi showed a bitter smile on his face and said, "Ants, I don't mean to cause trouble." He pointed to the camera in Gong Xiao's hand, clasped his hands together, and said pleadingly, "Auntie, can you please not show this to my dad? I was in a meeting at the time, carrying out internal reforms, and I had no idea something like this would happen." Nan Gong Xiao snorted coldly. "It depends on how you, the student union, perform in the future. This will determine whether it will appear in the hands of King Kong Supreme. Get out of the way." Student Union President Cheng Yi was helpless. He repeatedly promised that such a thing would not happen again and then gave way. Nan Gongxiao and Cheng Bingshi left with cold faces. Several vice presidents of the student union at the scene asked, "President, do we really want to carry out a thorough reform?" Cheng Yi's face turned cold and he shouted, "Of course, did you ignore what I said in the meeting?" Several vice presidents were sweating profusely and quickly said that they would seriously implement the order and make the student union completely change its ways. As the son of the supreme being, Cheng Yi's weight in the student union is evident. His words were like an imperial decree. Soon, the student union of Kunpeng Combat Academy, consisting of dozens of people, started working like machines, undergoing a baptism of ideas from top to bottom, and then re-establishing the guidelines for handling affairs. It is not allowed to force students to buy or sell, it is not allowed to bully students by relying on the organization, it is not allowed to deliberately embarrass students, and it is not allowed to collude with teachers to profit from students. The news of the comprehensive reform of the student union quickly spread throughout the college, causing a great sensation among both students and teachers. All because of the 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination. But Xiao Yi didn't know all this. He was in Villa No. 1 at this time. Villa No. 1 is the residence of Dean Yunxi. Xiao Yi and Yunxi sat face to face on the sofa. Yunxi stared at Xiao Yi with her beautiful eyes. From time to time, he frowned, his beautiful eyes lit up, and from time to time, murderous intent flashed across his face, as if he wanted to see through Xiao Yi. After being stared at for a full minute, Xiao Yi smiled awkwardly and said, "Dean, what do you want from me?" In Xiao Yi's eyes, Yunxi on the opposite side looked exactly like Yun Bing. Their beautiful eyes, nose and mouth were so similar. They were both rare beauties in a century. However, there was a huge difference in their temperaments. One is a charming queen who exudes sexiness, maturity and elegance whenever she raises her hands, and the other is a cold and aloof queen wrapped in bulky robes. Being stared at closely by such cold and emotional eyes, Xiao Yi felt a little overwhelmed. She blinked her beautiful eyes and said coldly, "Your talent is quite good. You are already at the Grand Master level of 7 stars. I have cultivated this by practicing until late at night every day and putting in a lot of sweat," Xiao Yi said modestly. Whether it was the crazy exercise with Nan Gongxia or the training in the past half-month, he really put in a lot of sweat. Yunxi nodded and asked, "Why can you contract to template beast girls?" In Yunxi's memory, in the past 1,000 years, except for Xiao Yi, no one else could contract to template beast girls at the same time. If someone wants to contract a second template beast girl, they must pay a huge price to terminate the contract with the first template beast girl. But this Xiao Yi seemed to have contracted to template beast girls without paying any price. Xiao Yi frowned and said dissatisfiedly, "Dean, did you call me here to interrogate me? That's not necessary. Dean Yunxi is very beautiful. But Xiao Yi has no obligation to answer such private questions." Yunxi frowned and said, "I don't mean anything else. If you don't want to say it, forget it. I called you here this time because I want to ask you what happened between Yan Bing and you. Her current condition is a little abnormal." Xiao Yi heard this. His eyes showed concern, and said, "What happened to Sister Yan Bing?" Yunxi stared at Xiao Yi with her beautiful eyes and said in a cold tone, "She's in heat." A big question mark appeared on Xiao Yi's face. What is this? What does it mean to be in heat?" Yunxi looked at Xiao Yi and saw that he didn't understand anything, so she excluded him. "Well, it seems it's not because of you. However, Yun Bing has been to your place. Can you tell me who Yun Bing met there and what he did?" Xiao Yi looked puzzled. "Isn't it because of me? What's not because of me? Sister Yun Bing is in heat because of me." Xiao Yi described the situation. Yunxi seemed to be thinking about something. "I met Cheng Yi, the son of King Kong Supreme, and then went up to the 2nd floor with you. Then what happened?" Xiao Yi said seriously. "And I will help her solve the energy rage problem. Well, it's to massage her acupuncture points to drench the meridians in her body." A rare look of surprise appeared on Yunxi's cold face. "Yun Bing actually let you have physical contact?" Xiao Yi touched his nose and nodded. "How could it not be physical contact? Moreover, All 720 acupuncture points of the human body were massaged using the techniques given by the template adjuster. No wonder. Then she understood that Yun Bing missed men because of Xiaoyi. Perhaps Yun Bing was thinking of Xiaoyi. After all, the two sisters have remained chaste for thousands of years and have never been subjected to intimate physical contact by the opposite sex. But massage must involve intimate physical contact. Yun Shi was sure that since Yun Bing said she missed a man, this man must be Xiaoyi. He has SSS level Beastmaster talent, is an 18-year-old Grand Master of 7 stars, and has contracted to SSS level template beast girls, but he doesn't know if he can contract a third one. Suddenly Yun Shi remembered the physical defect that Yun Bing mentioned and said there was a way to solve it. It seems that it was Xiaoyi who solved the problem through massage. Yun Shi, who has an explosive body like her sister Yun Bing, said, "Xiaoyi, you can solve your body defects through massage, can you take a look at my defects?" Chapter 61, Solve the Physical Defects of Goddess Dean Yun Shi. Yun Shi felt that there was nothing wrong with his body, but in recent years, the emotions he had were becoming weaker and weaker, and now they could almost be described as negligible. Perhaps this is also a physical defect. Although this situation was extremely rare, she had never heard of it from anyone else. So Yun Shi was not sure whether this was a physical defect. Xiaoyi said solemnly, "My massage technique can solve 99 of the physical defects in the world. I am confident that I can remove the flaws in you." Xiaoyi is very helpful to the dean and elder. She is the best at solving physical defects. Yun Shi's cold and pretty face showed a rare look of surprise, and she said in surprise, "Student Xiaoyi, can you see any flaws in me?" She herself wasn't sure, but Xiaoyi actually saw through it. "I just don't know if he is bragging or pretending to be cool." Yun Shi has been the dean for hundreds of years and has seen too many students and teachers who wanted to show off in front of her. Being looked down upon? Xiaoyi frowned and said confidently, "Dean, your defect is neurotic emotional deficiency." Yun Shi widened her beautiful eyes in shock, and her delicate body trembled suddenly. She actually has physical defects and emotional defects. Yun Shi's face showed a hint of surprise, and he said, "Brother Xiaoyi, are you telling the truth?" She was 80% unconvinced in her heart, but she hoped that what Xiaoyi said was true. Xiaoyi opened the template adjuster to view the function. Template adjuster exploring. SSS level Kunpeng template. Yun Shi upgradable. Existing problem. Due to the wrong type of crystallization of rule fragments absorbed during awakening, the template is extremely unstable and cannot sign a contract with the opposite sex. Moreover, as the realm improves, the Tao rhyme of the template rules leaks and affects the body, causing neurotic emotional loss. Permon and solution. Change the crystal type of regular fragments. Phase-based solution. Combine the law level treasure, Xuan Huang gemstone, and perform massage according to the human body ECU point massage atlas. Xiaoyi nodded to Yun Shi and said shockingly, "Dean, you do have this physical defect. And as your realm improves, if you don't solve your flaws in time, you may eventually lose your emotions and become a cold walking machine." Hearing this, Yun Shi's delicate body hidden under her bulky robe trembled violently. In the end, she might turn into a cold walking machine. If this really happens, then her affection for her twin sister Yun Bing will disappear completely, and she will completely turn into an emotionals as ice cuban machine. Thinking of that kind of life, Yun Shi felt a chill running from her head to her tailbone, and she shivered from the cold. At this time, Yun Shi believes Xiaoyi's words in her heart, because as her realm improved, her emotions became less and less. Yun Shi's noble, cold and beautiful face showed a rare look of anxiety. She teleported to Xiaoyi's side, stretched out her white jade hand, grabbed Xiaoyi's hand and begged, "Brother Xiaoyi, please give me a massage, and I will pay you." Feeling the cold touch in his hands, Xiaoyi felt that Dean Yun Shi at this moment was more like a human than before, and she finally showed a more obvious emotional reaction. Xiaoyi looked serious and said in a sonorous and powerful tone, "It is my duty to help Sister Yun Shi solve her problem. I'm always happy to help others, so just give me whatever reward you want." Hearing this, Yun Shi's impression of Xiaoyi instantly became more impressive. This Xiaoyi is a very good person. Having said that, Yun Shi stood up without any hesitation and took off her bulky clothes, revealing her delicate body that had been hidden in the darkness. Xiaoyi was stunned. Dean Yun Shi was only wearing a bulky white robe with no lining inside. Yun Shi's noble and cold face regained its cold expression. She didn't seem to feel shy at all. Unexplained. "It's easy to put on and take off a piece of clothing, and I'm not used to wearing underwear." In Yun Shi's cognition, she and Yun Bing are twin sisters. They look exactly the same except for some minor details. Xiaoyi has already seen Yun Bing's, so it doesn't seem difficult to accept Yun Shi's. Of course, this is only limited to Xiaoyi. If it were any other man, she would slap him to death with one hand. Xiaoyi's mouth twitched. "You don't have to explain to me." "Really? But are you serious? You only wear a coat wherever you go, even on the avenue not long ago." If the boys of Kunpeng College knew that their goddess Dean only wore a coat wherever she went, they would probably be so shocked that their jaws would drop, causing a shock like a magnitude 12 earthquake. Yunshi was not shy at all. She waved her hand calmly in front of Xiaoyi's eyes and said, "Don't be in a daze, come quickly." As she spoke, she lay on the sofa and urged Xiaoyi without any hesitation, without any shyness at all. The corner of Xiaoyi's mouth twitched, and he realized the horror of lack of emotion. It's so terrifying. Xiaoyi immediately called up the Yunshi brand exclusive Human A.cu point massage catalog given by the template adjuster, and then started the massage journey in combination with the Xuanhuang gemstone. This time, the template adjuster provides massage illustrations for the legs and very few other parts. It feels cool to the touch and has a soft and smooth skin feel. After half an hour, the massage journey ended. Yunshi was a little surprised and asked, "Only massage the legs?" Xiaoyi nodded, then looked at the legs that were originally crystal clear, but now the skin was flushed. "And move your eyes upwards, and nothing else changes, it remains the same color." We massaged strictly according to the Human A.cu point diagram provided by the template adjuster. A blush appeared on Yunshi's originally beautiful and cold face, and she hurriedly put on the bulky robe. She was shy. She said cockathiously, "Xiaoyi, you are so good. You only massage my legs, why did you ask me to take off all my clothes?" Xiaoyi was stunned. "No way, sister, you took it off yourself, not me. You are actually shy, Sister Yunshi." Xiaoyi felt that it was very effective. He looked next to the Xuanhuang gem in the system space, and saw that there was indeed a blue Yunshi brand Dalian energy ball. This is a Dalian energy ball that was absorbed and purified by the Xuanhuang gem, and it contains pure Dalian energy that can be directly absorbed. Oh, stop talking. This was the first time Yunshi felt shy since she was promoted to the Supreme Realm. Nearly 100 years ago she ran into the room and waited for a long time before coming out. Her beautiful face regained its cool and indifferent look. "It's amazing. I haven't felt any emotion other than family love in a long time. Thank you, Xiaoyi." Dean Yunshi bowed solemnly to express his gratitude. Xiaoyi waved his hand and replied generously, "You're welcome. However, this effect is estimated to only last for 10 days to half a month. I guess next time, it will be a full-body massage catalog." Chapter 60 to Kunpeng Supreme's reward in Yun Bing's emotional changes. In Xiaoyi's eyes, the goddess Dean Yunshi still had that cold and indifferent look on her face, but her actions and tone were more humane. It is conceivable that the repair effect of the template adjuster is very significant. "Student Xiaoyi, this is for you." Yunshi took out a small Kunpeng figurine from the pocket of his bulky robe. Kunpeng is a fat giant that can soar millions of miles high. It can gallop in the sea and fly in the void of the universe. It is proficient in the power of the laws of space. Xiaoyi took the small Kunpeng figurine with a puzzled look, and after looking at it carefully, he found nothing special about it. Yunshi explained, "I have incorporated the ability of space teleportation into it. When your life is in danger, it can automatically teleport you to my side." Xiaoyi's eyes lit up. "What a good stuff. Thank you, Dean." Yunshi frowned and said dissatisfied lie, "Call me Sister Yunshi." Xiaoyi accepted it happily and said, "Sister Yunshi. And we send to more? Sayao and Bingshi also need this, otherwise, if they are in danger, you can't just teleport me here and leave them there, right? You are so lucky to have to beast girls." The goddess Dean Yunshi took out two small Kunpeng figurines from her pocket again, handed them to Xiaoyi, and said, "Yes." Xiaoyi took it with great joy. This thing can save his life, so he won't have too much. In order to thank Yunshi, Xiaoyi negotiated. "Sister Yunshi, I have always been principled. You gave me two more figurines, so I will give you a second massage in 10 days. Yunshi waved his hand and said generously, "No need, these 3 Kunpeng figurines are your reward for serving me this time." Xiaoyi insisted. "Sister Yunshi, this is my principle. Since I have received 3 life-saving figurines from you, I must serve you 3 times. Okay then." Yunshi saw that she couldn't resist and had to agree. However, when she thought about the scene where she was completely naked and only needed a leg massage, her pretty face became hot and flushed. Well, now that she has learned some experience, she won't be so casual next time. Little did he know that the atlas Xiaoyi received was given during the template adjustment period, and even he himself didn't know where to press next time. Afterwards, Xiaoyi said goodbye and left Villano. Xiaoyi went towards the residence of Vice Dean Yunbing in Villano, too. It was only a few dozen meters away and he arrived there quickly. But to his regret, Vice Dean Yunbing was not there. Xiaoyi also planned to ask some questions about the energy of rules and rhyme. Since I can't see Yunbing today, I'll have to ask her later. Villano, 1. After Xiaoyi left, Yunshi looked at a certain spot on the sofa and said, "Yunbing, how long are you going to hide?" On the sofa, a sexy, mature and charming queen figure appeared in the void. It was Yunbing. Yunbing stared at Yunshi with resentment in her beautiful eyes, and her pouting red lips showed that she was in a bad mood at the moment. Uchi, Yunxi covered her mouth and laughed. And in an instant the surrounding space was dimmed. Yun Bing was a little surprised. This was the first time in nearly 100 years that she saw her sister Yunxi smile. Looking at Yun Bing's resentful eyes, Yunxi asked in confusion, "What's wrong with you?" Yun Bing said in a deep voice, "Yunxi, why did you say I was in heat and told Xiaoyi? Isn't it obvious that you are saying that I am in love with Xiaoyi? I am now afraid to face Xiaoyi." Yunxi snorted, "Is this the reason why you peeked at me? Do you think I don't know? Ever since I brought Xiaoyi back, you have been keeping an eye on this place." Yun Bing curled her lips and said nonchalantly, "What do you mean by peeking? We look exactly the same. When I look at you, I am just looking at myself. It's you who made me afraid to see Xiaoyi." Yunxi was speechless after hearing such shameless words, because she had said the same thing to Yun Bing before. On the contrary, Yun Bing's current condition was really abnormal. But it be that she really fell in love with Xiaoyi? Yunxi advised, "Sister, you have to calm down. You are attracted to Xiaoyi, which will not benefit either of you. It is impossible for you to sign a contract." Yun Bing's eyes darkened, and his expression became lost. He snorted coldly, "No need for you to remind me, I will deal with the emotions that shouldn't appear." After saying this, Yun Bing's figure faded away and he left. Yunxi frowned and thought to himself, "It's a bit troublesome. People should not lose their feelings, but they should not be locked up by their feelings either." She had regained some of her emotional nerves, and for a period of time, she felt a variety of emotions. But emotions are like a wall. People inside can't get out, but people outside want to get in. Yunxi longs to regain her emotions, but Yun Bing is locked in the cage of emotions, not knowing whether it is good or bad. The next day, to Xiaoyi's regret, he ran to the villa of Vice Dean Now, to Yun Bing early in the morning, wanting to ask Yun Bing about the issue of Daoyun energy, but Vice Dean Yun Bing seemed not to be there, and he shouted several times but got no response. Maybe there were too many things to do at the beginning of the school year, so Xiaoyi went to take care of some of them. Thinking so, he left. Little did he know that from the third-floor window, a pair of beautiful eyes were staring at him closely. "Damn Yunxi. So damned. Why do you say that I'm in love with Xiaoyi? How can I face him? I can't bring myself to do that." The charming and majestic Yun Bing, who was lying inside the window, spoke with gritted teeth. Suddenly, Yun Bing touched the beautiful face of her mature sister and felt a little hot. She said in surprise, "I don't think I really have that kind of feeling toward Xiaoyi." During these 2 days, she had indeed been thinking about the comfortable feeling she had when Xiaoyi solved her defect, and Xiaoyi's handsome face flashed through her mind from time to time. After all, it was the first time in her life that she was seen naked and touched by someone. That scene was her first time, and she probably would never forget it for the rest of her life. Yun Bing wasn't sure whether she fell in love with Xiaoyi, but she came up with a solution. "Since he has already looked at me, why don't I just look back and touch him? If I do that, I won't like him anymore. But we have to find an opportunity." She did it as she thought. Yun Bing's body became ethereal in the space, which was equivalent to existing at the back of the space, and sealing all or no one except the Supreme could see her or touch her. Then Yun Bing, who was hiding at the back of the space, quietly followed Xiaoyi's footsteps and went to the college teaching building with Xiaoyi. Afterwards, Xiaoyi took two beautiful beast girls in the form of beastiers to the Tianjiaoi class for class. Yesterday was the first day of school, and classes officially started today. On the road, Xiaoyi, who was surrounded by two beautiful girls, immediately attracted the attention of many students, both new and old. "Look, these 3 top scorers in the college entrance exams single in action rectified the student union. Oh my god, what a pretty girl. This is the school and she's the top scorer in the college entrance examination. Envy." Xiaoyi is so happy to be surrounded by girls. Under the attention of so many people, the eyes of Nan Gongxiao and Cheng Bingxi, beautiful girls with animal ears, showed a bright color. They both came close to Xiaoyi and kissed him on his handsome face. "Wave! Wave!" Yun Bing in the dark glared and said angrily, "Good, I was fed to mouthfuls of dog food." Chapter 63. Yun Bing is jealous. The most beautiful assistant Liuya. She is here to look for opportunities, not to eat dog food. The male freshmen and seniors who were heading to the teaching building together all glared at him. "Good fellow, this is really good fellow. I got up so early in the morning and hadn't even had breakfast yet, but I've been fed 2 mouthfuls of dog food." "Yes, husband, shall we still go for breakfast?" "No, I'm full of dog food." Question: How does it feel to be kissed on the cheek by 2 principals? Urgent. They looked at Xiaoyi with hatred, and the strong murderous intent emanated from their bodies. The beast girls who were contracted by these male freshmen and seniors, after seeing their husbands who had signed contracts with them in such a state, all angrily scolded. "You're not jealous at all. If you were as charming and suave as that handsome guy, I would feed you breakfast with my mouth. Don't look at it anymore, you're just staring at me. It's really embarrassing for me." You are so jealous. Those two students have already taken on the shape of that boy. Oops, I forgot my wife is here. Both the freshman and the old male changed their expressions and hurriedly apologized to the beast woman wife with whom they had signed a contract. But some male freshmen and seniors, while apologizing, were still secretly looking at the two beautiful female students beside Xiao Yi. S-level template awakeners can transform into bestiared girl forms, and almost all those who can enter the Magic City Academy are awakeners above S-level. Xiao Yi felt the strong jealous gazes around him, and immediately said to Nan Gong Xiao O and Cheng Bingshi, "Okay, you want to murder your husband." As Xiao Yi said that, he raised his arms and hugged the little heads of the two beast wives and brought them closer to himself. Under the surprised gaze of the two girls, Xiao Yi kissed their little mouths at the same time. Sound was heard all at once. After they separated, the two school beast girls blushed and covered their mouths, saying, "Xiao Yi, you are so bad. I love it." Xiao Yi raised his chin and said proudly, "You two actually wanted to take advantage of me, but I took advantage of you back." Just like that, a beautiful beast girl with huge dragon ears and a beautiful beast girl with long white legs and fox ears, holding Xiao Yi's arms on both sides, entered the freshman teaching building while joking and chatting, and went to class one of the Tianjiaoi class. At the back of the space, the goddess vice president Yun Bing, who was following Xiao Yi, pouted and said depressed lie. "Really? I was fed so much dog food so early in the morning." The student contractors all appear in pairs, and it seems that she is the only single person here. While feeling depressed, Yun Bing felt a bit sour inside, as if he had eaten an unripe lemon, which was both sour and astringent. A freshman class of the day's top students. When Xiao Yi and the other two entered here, they found that the space here was very large, as big as a football field. There are no seats, only a numbered venue and equipment, similar to the college entrance examination site. The three of them seemed to be the last to arrive, as 19 pairs of contractors had already arrived in the class. 19 pairs of contractors formed a big circle. In the center was a class teacher couple wearing tight combat uniforms, and an assistant teacher wearing bold and minimal clothing with animal ears. When Xiao Yi entered here, he attracted everyone in the class, and everyone's eyes suddenly focused on Xiao Yi and the other two. Three top scorers in the college entrance examination. He's the top scorer in the college entrance examination? It's said that he's single and action raised the overall ranking of the base city. The contractor geniuses were whispering to each other, and Xiao Yi didn't know if it was his illusion. He just saw the beautiful girl with animal ears wearing bold and minimal clothing, and she gave him a flirtatious look. Xiao Yi couldn't help but touch his handsome face and thought to himself, "Is he attracted to me?" These are probably the three biggest misconceptions in life. In front of the Tianjiaoi contractor, the class teacher and his wife, who were wearing tight combat uniforms, nodded to Xiao Yi and the other two, and then said, "Now that everyone is here, then the first class officially begins. We are your class teachers. We are SS level lion templates and great masters. We have fought sea beasts and worked as university teachers, but this is our first time as class teachers." A head teacher and his wife introduced themselves in detail, then looked at the assistant teacher with animal ears beside them, showing respect, and said, "This is an assistant professor named Liu Ya. She is actually our senior. 100 years ago, she was the most beautiful female professor in Kunpeng Battle Academy and brought up many great talents in the academy. But one day, her husband died at the claws of a monster. So Professor Li resigned from her professorship. Only at the invitation of the vice president did she continue to teach in the school as an assistant professor." Some students around were whispering, "I know her." At that time, the monsters invaded the Magic City. The incident happened suddenly. Her husband was pierced through the heart by a claw of a top monster when he was out alone. Then, the most beautiful professor of Kunpeng Battle Academy suddenly resigned. Yes, as a native of Shanghai, I have also heard my elders mention it. This incident caused quite a stir back then. The most beautiful professor became a widow and resigned from her job, and many rumors spread. Yes, in everyone's eyes, she is still the most beautiful teaching assistant, and her status is more noble and popular than that of ordinary professors. The most terrifying thing is her network of contacts, the strong people she brought with her all over the country. It is said that wherever she goes, there will be powerful people coming out to greet her. Teaching assistants are equivalent to external staff and are not included in the teaching staff. The Tianjiaoi students looked at the sexy and beautiful assistant teacher Liu Ya with respect. Next to the class teacher, Liu, a girl with two furry ears and cat ears, smiled coquettously, opened her flaming red lips and spoke in a mature young woman's voice, saying, "It is said that the college has recruited 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination this year, and the vice president specially invited me to be the teaching assistant of your Tianjiaoi class 1. Don't underestimate me because I'm just a widow with animal ears. I have rich teaching experience. If you have any questions about your studies, you can ask me during class." Her words excited a group of talented students who had not yet completely shed their immaturity. The boys were excited to receive guidance from the famous and most beautiful teaching assistant. All the girls were excited to receive guidance from a teaching assistant with rich teaching experience. So that's it. Xiao Yi understood the reason why the teaching assistant looked at him was because he was the top scorer in the college entrance examination. He must have seen it wrong. That was not a flirtatious look, but a normal look. In fact, the outfit of this most beautiful teaching assistant is so attractive that it is easy to make people think of something wrong. She was dressed very boldly, wearing a jacket that exposed her belly button and older heart's black leather pants that just covered her buttocks and completely exposed her long white legs. After the assistant teacher, the animal-eared girl Liuya, finished speaking, she threw a coquettish glance at Xiao Yi. This was the second time, and Xiao Yi felt that he was not mistaken. Yun Bing, who was hiding in the dark, raised her eyebrows and muttered, "What kind of look is that?" She felt a sour feeling in her heart. The class passed quickly. After class, the most beautiful teaching assistant came to Xiao Yi and said with a smile under the gaze of everyone, "It's a bit quiet at home. I wonder if the 3 top scholars would be so kind as to come to my house for dinner tonight." Chapter 64, Poison Rose Liuya. The most beautiful teaching assistant Liuya actually invited 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination to her home for dinner. Upon hearing this, all the talented students present were surprised and showed expressions of envy or jealousy. This means that the most beautiful assistant teacher recognizes Xiao Yi and the others and wants to establish a long-term and stable relationship with them. This is not comparable to an ordinary teacher-student relationship. The 2 goddess teens are like the snow lotus on the Tianshan Mountains, which can be admired from afar but not touched under normal circumstances. They cannot be seen at all. But this widow Liuya, who was once the most beautiful professor and is now the most beautiful teaching assistant, is a goddess that can be met every day and a goddess that all men have the opportunity to pursue. In secret, Yun Bing was not surprised by the action of the most beautiful assistant Liuya. After all, she was the one who personally invited Liuya to teach this class. It was understandable that Liuya attached great importance to Xiao Yi and the other 3 top scorers in the college entrance examination. But Xiao Yi's next words broke Yun Bing's defense. Facing the invitation from the most beautiful teaching assistant Liuya, Xiao Yi crossed his arms and smiled. "No problem, TA. Originally I wanted to ask the vice president some questions, but I couldn't find her. I'll ask you next time." The most beautiful teaching assistant Liu Yai's eyes flashed with surprise, and she nodded and said, "Okay. Whether it's about study or life, you can ask me." Xiao Yi's face lit up with joy, and he thanked her. "Thank you very much, assistant teacher." Liu waved her hand to show that you're welcome. A surprised smile appeared on the handsome face of Yun Bing observer Xiao Yi, and his heart involuntarily felt empty. At this moment, she felt like she had lost something important. It made her feel lonely and a little bit bitter. Originally, the 2 had more opportunities to meet, but she personally pushed Xiao Yi to Liuya. Yun Bing didn't know whether this move was right or wrong. The class teacher looked at Xiao Yi and the other 2 in surprise and said with a smile, "Good boy, you can actually be treated like this by Professor Liu. Even I envy you. A realm of the most beautiful assistant teacher Liu is above his." Moreover, in terms of teaching experience, the couple are like younger brothers in front of Liuya. If they had Liuya's training, the growth of Xiao Yi and the other 2 would have been much smoother, and their future would have been limitless. There is only one class a day. A day's class is mainly about getting to know classmates, introducing teachers, and introducing the upcoming course schedule. The courses are nothing more than training and improvement, as well as the cultivation of combat awareness. Xiao Yi's hand was held by the animal-eared girl Liuya, and he felt his palm being scratched a few times. "See you tonight." After saying that, Liuya, the girl with animal ears, walked out of the classroom. No one else noticed this little move. Xiao Yi was a little surprised. Liuya, who was known as the most beautiful teaching assistant, always behaved in such a erratic way. Outside the classroom, by the window, in the corridor, there were many old students waiting there, each of them stretching their necks and looking into the classroom. Goddess teaching assistant, it's really a goddess teaching assistant. She actually came to teach the freshmen. Fuck, these legs are so white and tender. A goddess assistant teacher is still dressed beautifully and sexy as always. That's right, but unfortunately she is a poisonous rose. People will be deeply attracted to her at a glance, but if they want to touch her, they will be poisoned to death. Just look at it. Why? A young man with a blue dragon tattoo among them shouted, "Shut up! Be quiet, everyone! What if we disturb the Tianjiaoi class's studies?" The old students looked at each other, and were all shocked when they saw the young man guarding the door. "Student Union Chairman Chen Yi," someone exclaimed. "No way, he actually asked us not to disturb students' studies? Is this really the overbearing and arrogant student union president? I'm sure he is." The old students' voices became much quieter, facing the whispers of the people around him. Chen Yi put his middle finger in front of his mouth, making a gesture to keep his voice down. Suddenly a girl with cat ears and animal ears, named Liuya, walked out from behind the door beside him. She looked at Cheng Yi in surprise and snorted coldly. I didn't expect you to change your personality and consider others. Cheng Yi smiled awkwardly, raised his hand and scratched his head. And said, Aunt Liu, people always change. I hope you're not a flash in the pan, get out of the way. Assistant Instructor Liuya didn't give Cheng Yi any face at all and snorted coldly. Cheng Yi is the son of the Supreme Being. But he doesn't dare to act presumptuously in front of Liuya. Strangely, he gave way. Only then did Liuya, the girl with cat and animal ears, leave the classroom. Meet Professor Liu. Good afternoon. Professor Liu. Assistant Liu, walk slowly. More than 20 senior students who were waiting in ambush greeted the goddess when she came out. Only after the besteered girl Liuya disappeared did these people leave reluctantly. They all have contractor wives, but how can contractor wives compare to the goddess assistant Liuya? Cheng Yi smiled bitterly and walked into the classroom. He had something to ask Xiao Yi. At this time, Xiao Yi and the other two were surrounded by 19 pairs of new contractors. Xiao Yi and the other two are not only the top scorers in the college entrance examination, but will also be trained by the well-known assistant teacher Liu. They all want to make friends with Xiao Yi and the other two. Everyone wanted to invite Xiao Yi and the other two to dinner, to their homes, or to entertainment clubs where there was revelry every night. Among these people, there are many talented students with prominent family backgrounds, and of course there are also talented students with ordinary backgrounds but great talents. Xiao Yi wanted to leave, but these classmates were too enthusiastic. They were almost about to stuff the crystal core into his mouth, so he couldn't get out at all. At this moment, a rough voice came from outside the crowd. Everyone get out of the way, I need to talk to Xiao Yi. The Tianzhaoias all said distaffingly, give way to us, we have something to do too. That's right. Who are you to be so arrogant? I know this person, he seems to be Brother Cheng, the president of the student union, the son of the Supreme. Fuck, sorry to bother you, I'll get out of the way right away. Me too. These geniuses had long heard about the tyranny of the student union. When they heard that it was the student union president who was looking for them, they hurriedly made way. Xiao Yi pulled the two beautiful girls with animal ears and walked out of the classroom along this path. Cheng Yi came up and said in surprise, that's great, Uncle Xiao. Even the most beautiful teaching assistant thinks so highly of you. Do you know her well? Xiao Yi asked. He was very curious about this most beautiful teaching assistant. Cheng Yi glanced around and then whispered, the most beautiful Professor Liuya. I know her best in the academy. If I say she is second, no one dares to say she is first. Xiao Yi curled his lips. Then tell me in detail about that goddess teaching assistant. Cheng Yi recalled and whispered, Liuya, the number one person under the Supreme. 200 years ago, she and her husband were famous professors at Kunpeng Battle Academy. She has brought up many talented and great people. Ever since her husband died at the hands of a monster 100 years ago, she has remained a widow and worked as an assistant teacher. Xiao Yi nodded and said, also, I have heard this information from others. Cheng Yi narrowed his eyes and looked around when he found that no one heard him. He said mysteriously, actually, my dad pursued her. Xiao Yi was shocked. This news was too explosive. Then what? Chapter 65 Template Defect. Realm Barrier. She and my dad are from the same era. She was my dad's favorite girl at the time he pursued her and wanted to sign a contract with her. But she rejected him later. He signed a contract with my mom. SSS level Phantom Cat Template. Aunt Liu's talent is not inferior to my father's. I'm telling you in secret, he's still secretly in love with Aunt Liu. I just don't know why Aunt Liu has never been able to advance to the Supreme Realm. It's as if that realm barrier is a huge chasm that she can never cross. Originally she was the one most likely to become the 11th Supreme Being of the Demon City. Nangong Xiao and Chengbing, she had the look of spectators. Xiao Yi secretly took note of the matter of the Great Divide Barrier. It is true, but that coward King Kong has been married and has built a career for more than 100 years, but he is still secretly in love with Liuya. He deserves to die. Yun Bing cursed at the back of the space. The 10 Supreme Beings in Demon City are all Supreme Beings from different eras. King Kong Supreme is a Supreme who was promoted in recent times. He ranks at the bottom of the 10 Supremes in terms of combat power and qualifications. As for her, Kunpeng Supreme Yun Bing and Kunpeng Supreme Yun Shi, they were promoted to the Supreme Beings thousands of years ago. They practiced hard in the form of besteered girls and are both ranked among the top 10 Supreme Beings. Although they can use rare treasures to mobilize the power of the template on their own and transform into and summon the Kunpeng Spirit Beast of the Supreme Realm, this kind of rare treasure will become less and less with each use, and she only has one left. Speaking of Liuya's problem, the 10 Supreme Beings in Demon City have all tried to help, but they just can't let Liuya reach the Supreme Realm. Even asking for help from a being above the Supreme Being, there is nothing they can do. This problem has persisted for nearly 100 years. Finally, the existence above the Supreme together with the 10 supremes, came to a conclusion: the limitation of the template, or the problem with the template. Caused Liuya to remain at the 10-star realm of the Great Venerable. Yunbing really had no way to solve the defects of the template, otherwise she would have solved the defects of her own template long ago. Cheng Yi quietly approached Xiao Yi and said, "When you go to Aunt Liu's place tonight, don't mention the word widow, she is very sensitive to this word." Xiao Yi nodded to show his understanding. Whether in the previous life or in the current apocalyptic blue star, the identity of a widow will bring a lot of rumors and troubles to people, especially the most beautiful assistant teacher Liuya, who has been a widow for 100 years. And Cheng Yi asked Xiao Yi as if he was receiving a reward, "Uncle Xiao, the reform of the student union is already on the right track, and I..." Xiao Yi interrupted him and patted his shoulder. "Don't worry, I'm not that stubborn, everyone has seen all this. And I won't complain to your father." Cheng Yi heaved a sigh of relief upon hearing this, then looked at Nangong Xiao and said, "Aunt Nangong, that video? Can it be deleted?" Nangong Xiao shook her head, indicating no. "Okay then." Cheng Yi tactfully asked no more questions. He said hello to Xiao Yi and left. Xiao Yi took the two beautiful animal-eared girls back to Villa 1 in the villa area of the No. 3 Lake Scenic Area to make some preparations, and then went to the most beautiful assistant Liu at night. When visiting a teaching assistant's home, you must prepare gifts and dress appropriately. Nangong Xiao and Chengbing Shi sat on the sofa discussing what gifts to prepare. Xiao Yi went to the bedroom, took off all his clothes, and prepared to change into a handsome set of casual clothes. Xiao Yi is the type of person who looks thin when rest, but has muscles when in rest. What he didn't know was that there was a voyeur goddess, Weisteen Yunbing, secretly following him. Yunbing was very happy at this time, and her excited smile was harder to suppress than a cannon. She kept looking at Xiao Yi, especially his 8-pack ABS and his little brother. Yunbing was very proud, her pretty face slightly blushed as she said, "Ah, I finally got to see it. I didn't expect Xiao Yi to be so handsome. The more I look at him, the more I want to see him." Xiao Yi didn't know all this. Half a minute later, he changed into a more comfortable set of casual clothes. But when Xiao Yi was looking for the black sachet on his old clothes, he discovered that he had lost the black sachet at some point. Xiao Yi looked regretful. This unique Yunbing brand sachet is very popular both for its fragrance and its convenience in carrying. "My Yunbing brand sachet, never mind." And Xiao Yi set off with the two beautiful girls, Nangong Xiao and Chengbing Shi, and the prepared specialties of Mangyuan Base City. A strange look appeared on the delicate face of Yunbing, the charming and domineering sister in the dark. Yunbing brand sachet? The corner of her mouth twitched. What a weird name. It was actually named after her, Yunbing. How bold and outrageous. Yunbing took out a soft black small sachet from his pocket. This so-called sachet was stolen from Xiao Yi's pocket when she was bored. Yunbing brought it close to her white and tall nose and sniffed it. Her face turned red and she said, "Damn. I really don't understand why Xiao Yi, a young man, likes to smell my body fragrance." She opened the black sachet and was stunned. This was actually the stockings that she had improvised and given away. "It's outrageous. Xiao Yi is a pervert," Yunbing cursed. "But I don't know why, I felt a little happy inside." Thinking of Xiao Yi's regretful expression just now, Yunbing wondered if she should return the sachet to him. This pair of stockings is stained with her supreme body fragrance, which will gradually dissipate in at least a month. Now, it has been almost half a month, and the smell is relatively light. So Yunbing looked at the black stockings on her long legs. Then it was taken off by some mysterious force, and after a minute of processing, it was made into a brand new Yunbing brand original black sachet. I put it close to my nose and smelled it, and it was really fragrant, a very unique fragrance, one of a kind. Yunbing felt very strange inside, like a pervert. How could he smell himself like this? Yunbing's defense was broken. And, he said angrily, "Oh no, Xiao Yi has led me astray, and I have become a pervert. That's not right, I'm not the pervert, Xiao Yi is." She wanted to find an opportunity to put this new Yunbing brand original flavor sachet into Xiao Yi's pocket. Thinking about the scene where Xiao Yi always kept her things with him, Yunbing somehow felt happy and excited. The students of the academy did not know what the goddess Supreme Dean was thinking. And neither did Xiao Yi at this time. He and the two principals came to the door of Villa No. 10 in the villa area of Lake No. 3 Scenic Area. Xiao Yi was a little surprised. He didn't expect that his residence and assistant instructor Yuya's residence were both in the No. 3 Lakeview Villa District. Only a few hundred meters apart. Ding dong. After the doorbell rang, the door opened, and a beautiful widow assistant teacher Liuya, dressed boldly, appeared in front of Xiao Yi and the others. Chapter 66 Liuya. Please fix the defect for me. Her 3,000 black hair were scattered on her shoulders. She wore a small off-shoulder camisolo top and black leather pants that only covered her buttocks. At first glance, it will attract people's attention. She has long white legs, a graceful figure and unique temperament that is full of charm. A smile appeared on Liu Yi's fair oval face, and she welcomed Xiao Yi and the other two in. The decoration style is Syrian style. A huge living room is as simple and rough as a scene of a war with foreign races. Xiao Yi smacked his lips. The teaching assistant's preferences were really unique. After sitting down on the broken stone chairs, Liu Yi brought out a variety of delicious and steaming dishes, and also prepared a pot of strong liquor, pouring a glass for each person. When the two foodie girls, Nangong Xiao and Cheng Bingxi, saw the table full of dishes, their eyes lit up and they started eating without any hesitation. In less than 10 seconds, their little mouths were covered with oil and filled with food. Xiao Yi smiled bitterly. Eat slowly. Don't choke. The two girls' mouths were stuffed with food and they couldn't speak clearly. Liu Yi, who was sitting opposite, chuckled. It's okay. Eat whatever you want. Liu Yi lifted up her long white legs, drank the strong liquor in one gulp, leaned back on the stone chair, squinted her eyes and looked at Xiao Yi and said, "Student Xiao Yi, I heard that you can cure physical defects?" Xiao Yi raised his eyebrows and said in surprise, "Assistant, I do know a massage technique passed down from my ancestors that can solve human body defects." Liu Yi's eyes revealed a look of joy. "Really? The vice president mentioned it to me,